Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Thursday night Nerd Rage Gaming Challenge. My name is Brian DeVeza, and I'm here with my good buddy Mo, fresh
Don't
off of.
don't use my name.
Don't
Bro.
use your name.
Don't use my name. I'm too cool.
He's too cool.
Good.
He's too good.
Too easy.
Dude, fresh off of what is it, 19th place
It was 19th place.
at Monterey.
It's my second top 32 finish at a regional, but it's my first regional playing of the season. It's my only regional playing of the season. I didn't register for anything else because it sold out. So I'll be spectating my student tour in Milwaukee, but that's something for a later talk. And yeah, so I'm too good.
You too good.
Too good. Too
Yeah.
easy.
I mean, best finish from the team this season. Can't forget about that.
Man.
So we'll definitely go through all that in a little bit. We're very excited though because we got a great turnout for the challenge here right before Milwaukee Regionals. So every player here is just really trying to come out. They're trying to get some league points. They're trying to get their auto qualification and just trying to get some reps in before the tournament. So really excited to be here today to do all of this. And for our round one, we have Ben and Larry. Ben is playing Roaring Moon. Larry playing Raging Bolt. And Mo, what do you think of this matchup? Who do you think is typically favored?
Well, judging by the fact that it's the single prize Roaring Moon, I think that it's going to prove to be a little difficult for the Raging Bolt deck.
Yeah.
You can see that if Ben's able to get a lot of Ancients in the discard pile right away, then, okay, he can take a knockout on this Slitherwing right away, or take a knockout on, let's just say, a Fan Rotom that if Larry's eyeing it up, or Hoot Hoot Noctowl, whatever it may be. So he can take the easy one prize, and then Larry can only take one prize back.
Yeah.
So we could see that happening, but then again, we could also see a Roaring Moon come down, but I think Ben's smart enough to only bench it when he's going to take two prizes off of that Roaring Moon EX. So we'll go ahead and see what's going to happen. I think the single prize Roaring Moon, though, the one that's in the active spot right now on Ben's side, I think that'll be the primary attacker in this matchup, as long as he's able to get those Ancients in the discard pile.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this deck definitely trades up really well just because it is a one prizer and is capable of taking knockouts high enough to take out two prizers, kind of like that Squawkabilly. So we'll kind of see where Larry will go from there.
Oh, and
Squawk
we're
and
seeing
Squeeze
this
comes out
Squawk
here.
go down, bro. The Squawk is just a free two prizer.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even have. You're comparing 160 HP to 240. I'd much rather go for that 160. So if Ben only has the option, so he has a boss's orders in hand, so he can go like boss knock out the Squawk instead of going, all right, I'm going to go ahead and try to build up to that 240 or 210 for the Ogremons. But yeah, the 160 is way easier. It's, 5 less ancient cards, and that could be the difference because we've seen it in the past where it's 1 less ancient is the make or break. So 5 less is that's you're handicapping yourself by benching it. But you need it to play the game.
Most definitely. And yeah, Larry's definitely setting down a lot of two prize liabilities on this board, so it's definitely something to look through. And Kat saying Shift Gear listener. Both of us are Shift Gear listeners.
Shift Gear listener.
Mo just
I'm the
happens to
Shift
be
Gear #1 fan, baby.
Mo just happens to be the biggest fan of Shift Gear. He was even featured on Shift Gear, so
pause.
Yeah.
Maybe allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Watch this week's Shift Gear episode, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But yeah,
not
we love
to leak anything.
Yeah, but we love the Shift Gear guys. They're good buddies of the team. So
yeah, Kieran also making day 2 at the Monterrey Regional Championship. Anil wasn't there, but it's okay because he was there in spirit.
Yeah, definitely.
And we see, 1 Grass Energy go on the Ogremon with the ability Teal Dance, 1 Fighting Energy attached per turn. So we could see a turn to attack if he finds the other Fighting Energy. It's just an Earthen Vessel away or a Natural Draw away. And I don't think there's something like Badoo in this deck to really stop.
Let me double check.
Bro, if he's playing Badoo in a Roaring Moon deck, then the world's ending because
no Badoo.
Yeah, there's no
No
Badoo in
Badoo,
this
no
deck.
Badoo.
He does play the Buddy Poffins.
Yeah.
But I think that's just about it.
Yes,
and
I believe it is the Roaring Moon done list from Monterey.
Yeah, it should be the 10th place list. I know someone else in the room, Eli, is also playing it. So
what's going on, Arctic? How you doing today?
We're seeing Buddy Poffin for Fan Rotom to Dunsparce, and yeah, being able to grab like your whole engine is pretty silly.
Yeah,
you can play the 4/4 lineup to Dunsparce.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben's price checking. You only have 16 Pokemon I think in the list.
Something like that. Let's see.
We're going
16.
4, 8, 12, 16. Yep.
Yep.
Only 16 Pokemon in the deck. Let's go ahead and read off this list. It's 2 cards, 4 cards, 3 cards, 1 card, 4
Yep.
card. I cannot tell you exactly what it is, but it's probably pretty close to the list that topped in Mexico and got 10th place.
Yeah.
I think the guy was only like 1 tie away from making cut, but he ended up losing like 2 in a row after a hot start.
Yeah.
Which,
Definitely.
still $2,000 richer,
Oh yeah.
2 booster boxes, and a lot of memories too,
Yeah.
which is
Absolutely.
important. Plus, if you're going for your Worlds invite, getting some points is important. I'm personally not, so my goal was to win the event or go home, and
Yeah.
I went home with $1,000 more.
Yeah. And 2 booster boxes.
Yes, I did trade away with the booster boxes because I just wanted to come home with as many cool cards as
Yeah.
possible.
Definitely. Were they
And
Spanish booster boxes?
they were in English.
Oh, cool.
I ended up getting, well, for the event, I got an Altar Clefairy.
Oh yeah.
And I got it in Spanish to play the event, and an Altar Fez
Yeah.
that I just traded with the locals, and it was super awesome.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. And Murray, thank you for coming through to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, and we have a good game here going up. So 2 turbo decks, and I think a lot of the prize trade kind of just depends on who kind of takes the first 2 prizes. That's going to be like really who takes the tempo here, and we're not really seeing that so far.
Yeah,
I'm wondering, yeah,
it has to be 2 prizes versus, but it's a 1 prize board state, dude.
yeah,
And Ben can always go attach the fan rotom, boss up the fan call, boss up the, what is it, the other fan call rotom, right? And then
yeah,
if there's a stadium in play, he just knocks it out, and then still takes that 1 prize. Ben doesn't care if he takes 1 or 2 prizes because he has a 1 prize board state. Plus, Ben is playing the. He's not playing the Dunsparce EX. I would love to see it in this list, to be
oh
honest.
yeah, definitely,
Because that would obliterate this board state. He's already hitting for 180. If another EX comes down, that's 240. That's enough to knock out a Raging Bolt.
definitely.
The 180 would be enough to knock out the Squawk ability, which I mentioned is kind of a liability.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think Larry's going to be looking to keep this Slitherwing in the active here, but good that you mentioned the Dunsparce EX, just because I feel like it trades into a lot of other decks pretty well. Stuff that have Cornerstone in them, anything that allows you to kind of take a knockout without having to, put yourself to 200 damage right away with Frenzy Gouging. So super solid attacker there.
Yeah, I do think that the Dunsparce EX is probably one of my favorite cards from this new Journeys Together
Yeah,
set.
it's a cool card.
The Zoroark EX is an obvious favorite for a lot of players. It's
Yeah.
reminiscent of that Zoroark GX to be able to discard a card, draw 2, and its attack is pretty neat. But I do think the ability just to play a 1/1 line technically, or just to play the EX in your deck that already has the Dunsparce draw engine, it's just such an obvious fit in, but you never know if you would play it or not. Deck
Yeah.
is gas, of course it is.
Yeah,
Cat Morte.
definitely is gas.
And Arctic Ice guy. That's what I played.
What you would have played.
Yeah, the Pult Dengo deck. Yeah, if that's what you would have played, I think that deck is pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good call for the event.
Yeah, I think that all the guys that played it, they're mostly Chicago locals. So, Michael Davidson, Grant Shen, and then a couple of friends of theirs like Caleb Rogerson, they all played it and they said the deck was pretty insane. And look at it. 2 of them made top 8, but they hit each other in top 8, so only one of them moved up to top 4. But I know that the deck was really powerful for the weekend, and their list was, maybe a card off perfect, or it was just perfect for the event.
Definitely. And, kind of like what you mentioned, a lot of Chicago representation during the event. So, our area definitely showed out for the event, and it was, it was super good that all of us kind of played super well.
Definitely, yeah. We saw Tyler Matthews and Grant Chen make top cut, and they both made top 8. And then I got top 32. Michael Davidson also got top 32. He lost his win in for top 8 to the Blissey deck at the hands of the World Championship.
Defending champ.
Exactly. So a lot of great players popped out for that tournament, even if it wasn't the biggest regional of all time. It was the biggest Mexico regional of all time.
Yeah, definitely. And that's super cool to see is a lot more representation in that area. And I know everybody, you were talking about how everybody who went down there just had such a great time there and, really love the area and stuff like that. So hopefully we get more regionals in Mexico in the following years.
I hope so.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be able to play those and it lines up with my work schedule, I'm definitely going to try to go out to each one because it's tied with Japan Worlds, in my opinion, for one of my best tournament experiences and just regional experiences in general. Honestly, it was so
definitely.
fun. The food was great, and the people were so welcoming. Shout out to everyone there. Shout out to Team Lavender Town. They were really welcoming to me, and they even took me out for tacos after winning a local over there.
Nice.
So
That's
yeah,
one of the
shout out.
local like Mexican teams.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
one of the local teams over there, and they were all super welcoming, and they traded me a bunch of cards in Spanish that I ended up using in my deck during the regional. Speaking of trading a bunch of cards, that's the ability from Zork to draw cards,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's in this deck, but we do see the runaway draw from the Dunsparce, and that's what Ben's trying to do this game. He's just trying to draw a bunch of cards, and what's he looking for this turn?
I think he really just wants like a roaring moon, the baby moon again, and to try to get that kind of set up and try to find a way to return and knock out.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Dunsparces definitely do well with allowing Ben to keep his hand at like a very large size and allowing him to keep drawing. So wonder to see what Ben is going to do here next. I'm thinking he might try to bump the stadium here, but it looks like he's just trying to get more ancient cards in the discard and hopefully try to ramp up the damage a little bit more and then try to get a big attack coming in the next turn.
As long as he is able to get that Fan Rotom in the active spot, he does have a Dunsparce off of the Explorer's Guidance. So if he can move that, unless it's the free
That's the free
retreat.
retreat one.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure. So he can free retreat. Sorry, the arcs are a little different. He can free retreat into the Fan Rotom and then actually just use Assault Landing to knock out the active Slitherwing since it
Yeah.
damaged itself through its attack. So he can swing in that other Prizer that he doesn't need to Sadas for.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's just like a really helpful way to make sure that you're on tempo and that your deck is not going to fizzle out because you have to go Sada, but instead you can really use these alternate attackers that come up every once in a while. And using a Fan Rotom for full utility, you used it for its ability, and now you're using it for its attack, which
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Definitely. And we see a lot of searching in the deck going on here as all these great balls are kind of going down and everything like that. So there's a lot of shuffling that goes into this deck, and it's definitely one of those decks that you really have to play in person if it's something that you want to play like at like a major event or something like that, because there's a lot of sequencing stuff and a lot of things you kind of need to do in between. So if you play the deck online, a lot of those actions are kind of done for you. So definitely good to get the reps in person when you're able to.
Exactly. Doing these shortcuts, as in like okay, I'm going back in. So Ben's a seasoned veteran of the game where
Yeah.
he understands, okay, I don't have to shuffle after every action. If I'm going to play Great Ball and then I'm going to play Ultra Ball, well, let me just turn my deck to the side and say I'm going right back
Yeah,
in.
definitely.
And we see Ben does attach the Darkness Energy to the Fan Rotom. So this is hinting that he also sees the line that I just thought of
Yeah.
because I've never actually played the Roaring Moon deck. But yeah, you can attack with Fan Rotom, but it's not even like it's something specifically for this deck. Fan Rotom's in many decks because the Noctowl engine is very good as long as you play a Terra Pokemon. Or just getting out some Dunsparces and Dunsparces.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you're just gonna be drawing pretty much every single turn, so definitely super cool um, engine there. And we see the Artisan coming down here, and good on Larry for taking out two big liabilities on the bench, that Squawkabilly and the Noctowl there. So now one less thing for Larry to kind of worry about.
Yeah, they're a bunch of bench sitters, dude. They don't pay rent.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
they came in, they did what they had to do, and they're getting out of there. They're just resting up, going to the PC, or just going to the discard
Yeah,
pile. And maybe we'll
definitely.
see a Night Stretcher for the Noctowl again. But I think that Squawkabilly has lived its days.
Yeah, definitely got fulfilled its purpose in the deck for this game. And I'm wondering what Larry's going to go in with. I think he's looking at that baby Roaring Moon. I know I was talking with Larry pretty recently. He says he really likes that card in the deck. And if it's not something he's like looking to play, it's probably going to be a heavy inclusion in his list.
Yeah, in the Monterrey regional, I actually stayed with Christian Fontano, and we discussed it because he played it to the Atlanta regional with
Yeah.
All Out Blitzel.
And they had a cool list too.
Yeah, their list was super insane. That's actually when I went the local with
Yeah.
in Mexico. And the Baby Raging Bolt definitely carries its weight. I think that you're able to just snipe these things that otherwise your opponent would think that you have to find a gust for.
Yeah, definitely.
And in a format without Manaphy, you're just able to go, okay, let me go ahead and put an energy turn 1 on it, and now I'm threatening with a Crispin or a Professor Sada's Vitality that I can just knock out something with 90 HP or less,
Yeah.
being Dracloak with the energy attached per turn, a Curlia, or in this case, we could see the free retreat Dunsparce go down, and that would be kind of... I mean, I don't think it's like end-all be-all for Ben, because he could just promote a Dunsparce and then assume he's going to draw into the Dunsparce
Yeah.
with a runaway draw, but it's just proving tricky because if the game goes on longer, then you need that free trader definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Larry's got a pretty big hand here. Looks like he's got the energy retrieval in hand. It's going to look to grab the fighting energy. That will be attachment for turn and hopefully get the knockout on some of the baby Pokemon on the board here. See what chat's kind of saying here. Yeah.
And assuming that Larry's playing 1-for-1 on Christian Fontano's list, he plays one Iono, so he
Mhm.
can Iono Ben and then really try to get him in a sticky situation if he's able to catch him off guard with a board state like this where he doesn't have any energy on his Roaring Moon and he doesn't have any Dunsparce preemptively in play. We can see that happening because Ben does not play any Iono, so he can't disrupt Larry's hand. So Larry can really, you know, churn through his deck and then really find the board state that's nice for him. And yeah, as he's doing it, he's knocking out the Raging Bolt,
Yeah.
or using Raging Bolt to knock out the free retreat Dunsparce.
Definitely. And another big knockout there. It's good that he picked that one just because, those 70 HP Dunsparces are being played just because, Dragapult kind of keeps that Pokemon in check. But now there's like no like guaranteed pivot. Now like Ben's gonna really need to kind of get that the Dunsparce in play in order to be a pivot. And now this Fan Rotom's not even able to trade into it either. So definitely an interesting play here.
Yes, the Fan Rotom is not really going to be able to do much except for put some chip damage, unless he finds, I believe, yeah, he's playing a counter catcher, but Larry's at 4, so he can counter catcher something. I guarantee he'd probably want a counter catcher, maybe the Ogerpon with a bunch of energy on it, and then take that out if he's able to get enough Ancients in the discard pile, which he does draw into the counter
Yeah.
catcher off of the Sada's Vitality.
And then the energy switch as well is a really big draw as well, just because now there's going to be a full attacker powered up as well.
Exactly. Energy switch, Earthen Vessel in the hand, and so if he's down, he plays 6 energies, so we'll see if he's down all of his energies. Otherwise, he can just Earthen Vessel away maybe one of these, maybe the Artizone, or I mean, he plays the full 3, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't need all the Artizones technically, but he could either do that or he can just, did he naturally find it? No, he could get rid of a Buddy Puffin too if he wants. Then again, Buddy Puffin's really good because then you get to get your Dunsparce back up, and it's like your board never went away.
Definitely.
So we'll see what he ends up doing here. Give him a minute, and it looks like Earthen Vessel, possibly away another Earthen Vessel.
Yeah.
That just means instead of Earthen Vessel away something that's not an ancient card, let me just get 2 in the discard,
Yeah,
dude.
definitely.
That's 20 more damage.
Yeah. I was thinking another option could have been to maybe get rid of the Roaring Moon EX that was in hand as well. Get rid of another ancient Pokemon just to keep allowing thinning to kind of happen. But I don't think there's really any sort of, wrong decision here. Let's see what the other card we're going to get rid of here.
Definitely. Getting rid of the Roaring Moon, though, I kind of like that as an answer to the Raging Bolt for the last 2 prizes.
Yeah.
Because if he keeps a single prize board state the whole game, and then at the end game he goes, all right, Roaring Moon, take my last 2,
Yeah.
then it catches Larry off guard. Because I think Larry's going to have to go 2-2-2 unless he's really able to build up this baby Raging Bolt, which you're not too mad about having it.
Yeah.
But this counter catcher plus this Professor Sada makes this turn ideal for Ben. The only thing I'd like to see is maybe, well, he has the Wunda Dunsparce as an insurance policy, but maybe another one would be nice to have. Just the second one. Larry can't target both, and it's more HP for your bench sitters. So the baby Raging Bolt cannot use its attack to snipe around the Dunsparces, since the Dunsparce has 140 HP and not just that measly 70.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what Ben's looking at. He's trying to get the count on every ancient card in his deck right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what's at 130 currently? Exactly. Yep. There we go. And Ben is able to go down to 4 and match Larry in that 4 prize state.
Exactly. And the 130 turns to 140 if the Roaring Moon gets knocked out. And if it doesn't get knocked out, you're able to play cards like the Boss's Orders because you keep your energies in play and keep your Pokemon in play. And Cat Muerte, you said that if Guardy ever actually makes a Guardy, it's the most free 2 prizes for Roaring Moon I've ever seen. Can I interest you in the card Professor Turo's scenario? And that means that if you power up one of your Pokemon, say a Screamtail or something, or a Drifloon, then you're able to Professor Turo up the Guardy EX, and your opponent cannot take 2 prizes on it.
Yeah, definitely. Unless like a jamming tower is kind of in play or anything like that. But it can also be kind of a risky move as well, just because if you don't have like a ready Curlia or like an extra Curlia kind of ready to go, or like a rare candy, it could kind of bite you later on in the game just because you won't have as much energy acceleration. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can definitely play around it
The
though.
line is though, like if you do that and then they don't take care of your attacker, then you can just go ahead and evolve that Curlia again.
Yeah,
But then if they go like knock out your attacker, then you just evolve the Curlia into Gardevoir once again, and then you're still in that even price or
yeah,
that single price trade.
definitely.
Then you're taking 2 for 1. So there's a lot of options with Gardevoir. I'm definitely pretty biased because like if all the best players are
Yeah,
bringing Gardevoir, plus Gardevoir's a deck that I've always resonated with and enjoyed. I don't know. It's hard to talk Gardevoir down, and
yeah,
I'm sorry I've ever doubted it,
yeah,
but it's
definitely,
broken.
definitely is. And yeah, we'll definitely get to talking about the list that you played and all of that stuff. And it's definitely probably my number one pick. Probably what I'll end up playing to
Yeah, bro,
Milwaukee
play it.
too.
Play it. I'll let you borrow my max rarity
Yeah,
cards.
I got some of them already.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let you borrow my stuff
Oh
though.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
The Ultra Balls that are goaded.
Yeah,
And yeah, Moon EX is giving up 2 free prizes. It does, but if you use Moon versus let's just say like a Beat Stick deck like this, then in the end of the game you can use the Moon and you can Frenzy Gouging and it doesn't matter because the game's over.
yeah,
So if you
definitely.
take the last 2 prizes with Moon, it's not a liability. But if you attack with it early, or let's just say, God forbid, but you start it, then yeah, it's looking like a free 2 prizes for
Yeah,
that card.
definitely.
We're seeing Larry bench the forbidden 80 HP, which is definitely very good. It means that the Fan Rotom, its attack can't not knock you out because it's doing 70 HP into an 80 HP Pokemon. If your opponent's playing Dragapult, it's a little harder to knock it out because they cannot go Halucha plus the Dragapult's Phantom Dive, 6 damage counters on the bench to knock you out because that would be 10 plus 70 or 10 plus 60, 70.
Yep.
And if you start it versus Raging Bolt and they attack with their Raging Bolt EX, they need 2 energy to knock you out.
I
So
know.
it's a couple niche situations, but then again, it's 2 retreat, so it's kind of you'd prefer probably not to play it.
Yeah,
But
but yeah,
you always play one.
it's got the niche situations that it's good.
Exactly. If you play all 3 of the 70 HP ones, I know Christian mentioned maybe playing like one of Buddy Poffin.
Yeah,
So then that way you can always Buddy Poffin. It's an extra out for the Fan Rotom, and then that turns into extra outs for like, let's just say the Ditto and other Pokemon. So there's always these niche situations, and it comes down to the last card. And one card that we've discussed going into the Monterrey Regional when I was tempted to play the Raging Bolt deck, we were saying, man, is Slitherwing worth it? And we see right here Larry saying it is, and he's swinging with it. But then again, man, you see the Fan Rotoms in play, and you see the Slitherwing damages itself. So then you can just
yeah.
swing with another Fan
I know. You
Rotom.
just keep trading it out at that point.
Exactly, because soon enough, Ben's going to have the option where he's going to be able to go Counter Catcher or Boss's Order and then knock out one of those 2 prizers on the bench and come back to the prize trade where it's even.
Hmm.
And so we're going to see what happens. He still has the Counter Catcher in hand. He still has or Explorer's Guidance. He has Professor Sada's. He has
Yeah,
a
it's
couple
got energy
bosses.
for the Fan Rotom as well is also good too. So Ben kind of has all the pieces he kind of needs in order to kind of keep trading with Larry.
Exactly. I think at this point he's just looking for cards to discard, and he does find an Ultra Ball plus the Ancient Booster Capsule, so he can make his Roaring Moon a pretty big Pokemon. And it's weak to grass, it's not weak to fighting, so then if he does go boss something up, then the Slitherwing cannot even attack into it,
Hmm.
or else it wouldn't be taking the KO and it would be knocking itself out if the Ancient Booster Capsule is on it. But we're gonna see a send up of the Fan Rotom, which means he's probably just gonna take a knockout with this whole landing, right, Brian?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's a good trade. Kind of keep going. I think what Ben's kind of thinking here for the rest of his game is, as soon as they kind of tie their prizes at 2 apiece, that's going to be when the 2 prize Roaring Moon kind of comes out and finishes the game there.
Exactly. Or ooh,
The neutralization.
what's the pink
zone.
card? What's the pink card?
Neutralization zone.
What it do? What it do?
What is it? No.
Don't discard it, dude. No, I want to see him
Oh
play. No,
no V and EX. I
man.
think. Yeah.
No, I believe it's no rule box Pokemon
Yeah.
can damage your
can
non-rule
damage.
box Pokemon, or it's your non-rule box Pokemon can get damaged by Pokemon EX.
Yeah.
So it effectively turns you into like Safeguard, Mimikyu,
Mhm.
or the Age of Slash, which no one plays, but some people play.
Yeah. Definitely.
Ultra Ball away, 2 ancient cards. So maybe he's going for this counter catcher play on the next turn.
Yeah.
And he's really setting up his board, like I said.
Yeah, and I think what Ben's really looking to do here is just kind of give his board some insurance in case, that late game Iono kind of comes in. So there's always going to be a way for him to either pivot or draw cards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has maybe 6 cards left in the
Yeah.
deck, so if he gets Iono'd, he can draw all 6 with the runaway draw.
Yep.
Go ahead and put that Ancient Booster Capsule on your Roaring Moon.
Yep.
Go ahead
looks
and do it. Do it. Do it.
do
Do
it.
it.
Do it. Do it. Can you
Do
hear
it.
us?
Do it.
Can
Do
you hear
it.
us through the walls?
Do I have to yell again? Here we are. Ben, do it.
All right, there it goes.
Okay, I
Comes
think you heard me now.
down. There's the counter catcher coming out on the fan rotom. Okay.
Taking the prize,
Yeah.
and then also saying, well, if you want to use a Slitherwing, you're going to give me a prize. Do
Yeah.
you know that? Sign the slip.
Yeah.
And
Interesting
so they're
way.
tied at
Yeah.
3-3. He's doing a quick count. We're at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
9, 10.
9, 10.
I think we're just at what, 10 ancients?
I think he
so
skipped over a
170.
Northern Vessel again.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
sure he skipped over a Northern Vessel. So maybe that was.
maybe 18.
It's either 170 or 180 damage
Yeah,
that he's doing
that sounds
right
about
now.
right.
Which seems pretty good because then again, if Larry goes Gust, knock out this Roaring Moon, he's up to either it's 190 or 200 damage, and he just needs one more Ancient card in the discard pile, which he could get
Yep.
pretty easily. I think
Yeah.
he has like maybe one more Ultra Ball in deck. He plays 4 of them. Well, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And looking like we're going with the Raging Bolt here. And interesting way now the 2 prizers are really coming out here. And Larry's going to need to get another fighting energy in order to get this Raging Bolt to attack.
Yeah,
And
I don't even think he has the fighting in the discard pile. He might have the fighting in deck.
Yeah.
We would have to look. It's either in deck or prizes because you only play 3 fighting energies. That's pretty common in
Yeah.
these lists.
Ooh, and the Ursaluna's coming in now.
Blood Moon.
Yeah, the Blood Moon Ursaluna, and it's the really pretty one from the Prismatic Evolution set as well.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
go ahead and see if the higher rarity means that you have a higher chance of winning the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. If I had to pick who won, I think that Ben, he just set up kind of for a checkmate.
Oh, Kev won.
Good job, Kevin. I always knew you could do
Yes.
it.
Wow.
Wow. Good job, Kevin.
All right. So
We'll see.
let's do
Larry's
the-
searching
yeah.
through his deck right now.
Ooh, another
Well, he's
Lagoon.
Nest Ball thinning his deck. Let's go ahead and see if he'll show us his deck. Nope, he won't. I know he has a lightning in there,
Yeah.
but
The neutralization zone's actually in the discard pile now, Jolly Flying Man. It's not there anymore. He discarded it off of what's that card?
the Explorer's Guidance.
Explorer's Guidance. I keep wanting to say Adventurer's Discovery.
I
Yeah.
literally stop myself every single
Yeah.
time. You might have heard me like
Yeah.
stutter a little bit and almost say it, but I don't. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see what he's doing. Energy Switch, Boss's Order. He has like the full house in his
Yeah.
hand of things he can do. Pheasantipity, that's
Fez
easy
too.
pickings.
Yeah.
Then
A lot of-
again, I
all
mean,
the two
so
prize
is the
liabilities.
Ogremon. Like,
Yeah.
it's all 210 HP Pokemon.
Kev is now playing Guardy.
The day that Kevin plays Guard is the day that like
Yeah.
every other deck rotates from
Yeah.
the format because he refuses to play Guard,
Yeah.
I think. Ooh, and we're seeing the one of Iono come down.
Yeah, and this is why Ben put down the 2 Dunsparces on the board, is because for situations like this.
Yeah, Ben's gonna get Iono to 3, draw for turn, go to 4. He's gonna run away, draw, and then go to. He's gonna go to 7.
Yep.
Then he's gonna run away, draw, and go to 10-card scene in the next turn. Which, that's pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah.
And Larry's going Iono to 3. Pheasantipity, flip the script for 3 more. I see 6 cards. And now if I have a Noctowl out in hand, which he has double Ultra Ball, he can go Ultra Ball for that Noctowl.
Yep.
And funny story is that those reverse hollow Ultra Balls from some Plasma set are actually Ultra Balls that I gave Larry.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I
the prime
said,
catcher's
here you go,
coming out
dude.
here.
Stay in school.
Yeah,
Give him those
stay in
cards.
school.
Dude, you're bringing up the Ogre Pond.
Oh, man.
No. Like, sure, you're taking the knockout, but you give up the free prizes.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that it has 30 less HP, and honestly, in this situation, it does make a difference. Okay.
Oh.
Artisan. Play
Ooh, do
it.
we play the Artisan now?
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like isn't like your next win condition you want to take out like the Slitherwing.
Nah, bro, you got Sada in hand. You're
Yeah.
chilling. You have Sada in hand, you have like 4 bosses, and there's a Fan Rotom in play. So if he doesn't get rid of this, he should have probably gotten rid of this Fan Rotom right
yeah,
here.
that's what I was
because
thinking.
This
There's-
is an easy prizes. So now Ben's going to go. He can opt to keep the energy. Well, the Fan Rotom probably stays. It loses the energy right now after you
Yeah.
retreat. But he's going to go Sada's Vitality, attach the energy to the Roaring Moon, attach from hand, And then he just needs. Well, when you play the Sada, then you go one more card in the discard. So assuming that he's at, I think he's at 13 now before the Sada, so he may be at 14. It's
Yeah.
either he's at 12 or 13 played. So we'll go ahead and see what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I think I counted.
No.
It's like a little more than 11, I think.
Maybe, bro. I started counting
Yeah.
halfway through.
Yeah.
I don't even know. We're gonna see if they could put some dice out there. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But we're gonna see off this run rate
Ooh,
draw
we're
what
gonna
he's
go-
getting. 1, 2, 3. Energy switch. Sada energy. That's all right.
I think
Another
what
one
we
rate
need to
runaway
get-
draw would be
yeah.
fine too, because you know your opponent only plays maximum 1 Iono, and so you think you're pretty safe from another Iono disruption. So
Yep. Looks like we're grabbing.
I would have maybe liked to runaway draw before that, because if you get
Yeah.
another Roaring Moon, getting that extra energy down is so huge.
Yeah, it's definitely like trying to optimize like your sequencing there. Try to get the most out of your your play. You want to get everything on the board there. At least we have another attacker kind of set up here.
And he could also use an Earthen Vessel.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's see how many cards that was. Count it one more time, dude. It was
14.
14.
Oh,
Thank
thanks,
you, Bryce.
Bryce. Wow,
Shout out to
Bryce,
Bryce for
MVP.
knowing how to count, because
Yeah, because
I've got 10
clearly
fingers and I stop at 10.
yeah, because clearly the two of us don't know how to count.
Yeah, we've got a doctor and a school teacher.
Yeah,
That's pretty bad. Yeah. Shout out to the nurses around the world. Shout out to the
Yes.
teachers around the world.
Shout out to everybody.
But okay, we need to watch a little more Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
yeah, if we
okay.
have 14, that's a perfect 210. Now, Ben's probably thinking there might be a chance for another Iono, but I think you're safe. I would personally have liked to see the other runaway draw, holy moly,
Yeah.
to see that maybe he's going to be able to find a Night Stretcher or find some other out to getting the other Pokemon.
Yeah,
Just in case.
Definitely. It looks like we're gonna get the Blood Moon Ursaluna in here.
Blood Moon with that 260 HP.
Yeah.
But if this Roaring Moon gets knocked out,
Yeah.
I mean, that's one more Pokemon. That's 15.
Yeah,
And he's at
definitely.
220, and he only needs 3 cards in the discard pile. So that could be like the Earthen Vessel, one of the other ancients, and then the Professor Sada's Vitality. Or, on the other hand, he can just bench the Roaring Moon EX and go, I don't care about counting.
Yep.
The only thing I'm going to count is the one prize card I'm taking right now. And someone get off that light
Yep.
switch. You don't pay the bills, get off the light
yeah,
switch.
get off the switch.
Yeah. Speaking of Switch, how about that Switch too? Eh?
You know, this morning I actually went to GameStop to try to secure a pre-order.
Brother.
I wasn't able to secure one because they ran out of consoles. Like the manager came out and said, "We got 5 consoles left," and I was 7th in line, so I just missed it.
Yeah, my newest Switch system is I have a Wii U.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's the extent of my gaming prowess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really play video games.
Yeah.
I play Pokemon. Play Pokemon cards a
Yeah,
lot.
I feel like you need to have one expensive hobby.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta pick
And
cards or games.
yeah, it's either I play video games or I go to Mexico for
Yeah.
a regional, and I'd rather go to Mexico.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we're gonna see the Latias come down. Just means he can retreat to things.
Yeah. Kat, congrats on getting your pre-order.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I know. I'll try to secure mine eventually.
Yeah. Plus, like, it could be like a PS5 situation where there's no good games on it
Yeah.
until like 6 months down the line or a year
Yeah.
down the line. So that doesn't really matter. But going back to this game, we're seeing some drawing happen. He's deck thinning, and okay, he has a boss's order.
Ooh,
He's
looking to get the Dunsparce here.
I mean,
That's a
if
good-
that's your only option, you probably just get rid of
Yeah.
it. But Ben, do you have the Sada's Vitality, bro? Tell me you're the GOAT. All right, Blood
Ooh.
Moon. And what do we see off the top? I think he just promotes. He might have it right here, too.
Yeah.
He can go bench the Roaring Moon EX, or, well, promote the Baby Roaring Moon, bench the Roaring Moon EX, and then play Sada. So then he has 3 energy on the active.
Yep.
He retreats it, and then he also goes. What else? And then he also goes energy switch attach, and then he has
Yeah.
knockout. So Ben, you have it in hand. You literally have it in hand.
Yep. You're just gonna see him sequence it out here.
He just needs to Sada into Super Rod. That's the thing he's trying to Sada into. So then he can get more energy and Earthen Vessel for those. So he thinned his deck by 1. I think he has 5 cards in deck.
Yep.
I would say. And yeah, it looks like 5. It looks like 5 cards. So it's
Yep.
likely you
go.
probably. I mean, you gotta rip it. Come on, flip it, flip it, flip it.
Rip.
Show us, show us. Let's see what
Okay.
he's doing. Okay,
Draw.
boss. Not.
Oh,
Oh, feels
so
bad.
close. Is there
On
any
the
way else you
other
can draw out of
hand,
this?
let's see. Oh, dude, feels
15. I think he's like just short.
bad. Card got knocked out. He has double earthen vessel in hand, I believe. Or is that just one earthen
I
vessel?
think it's
Let's
just
see.
one.
Fan the hand.
But
Let's see.
he can also like discard like use the earthen vessel to discard like the booster capsule.
Yeah, so he can discard 2 more. So
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that he's missing. He's like 10 damage off if he does that
Yeah.
play. Double energy switch. Does he have a Lottie SEX of his own to retreat for free?
Yeah.
That's just a little unfortunate. He can go manually retreat, put up Roaring Moon, and then, I mean, put the booster capsule on it, but still,
Yeah.
with the Lottie S in play and the 5 energy in play,
Oh,
that's
all he needed was the super rod.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's 350 damage, though, with the Raging Bolt's attack. The Bellowing Thunder.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
All
it looks
right.
like Larry scrapes it out.
Yep.
Just
Barely.
barely,
Just
yeah.
barely.
So,
Super close game though.
I'm not going to say I was right,
Yeah.
but I do think that it was probably correct to, after the Iono, to just go and rip the double the Dunsparce run early
Yeah.
draw. So then that way you give yourself the option to go, okay, I'm going to +6, and then every time I play Sada, that's +3 more, and I
Yep.
know my opponent's not going to disrupt my hand.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. So great way to start the day. I mean, that's actually a more intricate matchup than kind of expect because people just think, oh, these are just 2 beat stick decks that kind of like bash their heads into each other. But there's actually a lot of really intricate lines in this deck that that you kind of have to do. And yeah, that is the guy that got top 32. Wow Wow Crew in the house here.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
W, wow.
Wow Wow. So
So I do have my deck with
yeah,
me.
he does have it, and
Let's
I
go
think
ahead.
we have. Do we have the picture of the list to put on as well?
Nah, bro, we're doing it live.
Okay, we could do
We're
it
doing
live.
it live.
All right.
Sorry, Bryce. We're doing it live. I've got 1 Ralt,
Yep.
2 Ralts,
Ooh.
3 Ralts. I've got 2 of the Shiny Curlia because
Those are pretty
I don't
cards.
own the regular one.
Yeah.
And my LGS had like 4 shiny ones, and I was like, yo, let me buy them just in
Oh,
case Guardy's
nice.
good. This was like
Yeah.
2 months ago. And so I bought 2 of the Shiny Curlias and the alternate art Gardevoir
Those are the
EXs.
classics. You've always been using those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I actually got my World's Invite in 2023 with these
Yeah.
at the Fresno Regional Championship. Oh, it's caught in the green screen a little
Yep.
bit. So 2 of the alternate arts. I picked up a 3rd in trade in Mexico.
Oh,
A 3rd
nice.
English one.
Oh,
So
you
I
have a
have
third
that-
English. Oh,
so
nice.
I have that just in case. And I have Zorua de N. So
Yeah,
I have it
Zorua
in
de N.
Spanish. I opened some packs. Pack Fiend. So I opened some packs. I got that. And then I got 1 Zorak. I traded for 1 of these, and I pulled 1 from the prizing at the local that I won in
Nice.
Mexico.
Nice.
So I have 2 Zorak EX. Those are both in English. I have 1 Monkey, 2 Monkey. Monkey's broken.
Yeah,
helps you.
definitely.
And then my new prize possession, I have an alternate art. The green screen's catching
Yeah.
it, but it's the Clefairy EX de Lily.
The
So
Lily.
yeah, it's in Spanish. I did it in a trade. I traded so many cards for this, but I got it for basically free.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an alternate art Clefairy.
It's such a pretty card too.
And then in another trade, I got a Spanish Alt Art Fezandipity EX. This card's broken. And then I got a Mew EX play stamp. I traded for this one as well with the locals. This card was broken, and it's in
Yep.
Spanish. I have Screamtail. It's non-foil. It's normal English.
Yep.
Drifloon, non-foil, normal.
Oh,
Badoo, bro, with the green.
yo,
Cursed Badoo.
Yeah.
Cursed Badoo.
The
Oh
see-through
my God.
Badoo.
Yo, max rarity Badoo. Yeah, this is actually a ghost rarity.
Ghost foil rare.
Bro, Cursed Badoo. All right,
so
maybe we
funny.
could make this like an emote, like Cursed
Yeah.
Badoo. Let's just get the
Yeah.
thumbnail. Let's smile. Okay,
Yeah,
there's
thumbnail.
the
Thumbnail for the
Cursed
video.
Badoo.
Yeah.
And then best card in the world, bro. We got Enigma. So this is the Spanish Iono. I
That's
have
such
it.
a
Oop,
cool-
I almost bent Cursed Badoo.
That's such a cool like
Oopsies.
translation.
Yeah. So this is Iono. I have 2. So I have 1 full art in Spanish. I have 1 play pack non-foil in Spanish, and then I have the full art that Dan Hugar got his invite with
Oh,
in
nice.
2024. So last year.
Was that the one he played at Portland?
Yeah, he borrowed my 1 full art. So
Yeah.
this is my 1 full art. I play if I ever have a 1 of Iono.
Yeah.
It's gonna be full art. Or if I do it just because like the lore, you know. Danny got his
Yeah.
invite with it. And then
Yeah.
I have the one non-foil English prize pack one.
Nice.
And then I also have the full art researchers that I put in my Lugia deck. So
Was that the one you got 10th in at Milwaukee?
yeah,
That
I
is.
use these like the whole format. I love
Yeah.
Professor Oak. It's
Yeah.
lit. And then I have my Morty's Conviction. This card is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I have the two
The
Jacques.
one of Morty that Michael Davidson told you to play instead.
He did. He told me
Yeah.
that switch. I have two of Jacques. And then I have two Professor Tarot. This card is pretty broken as well.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I have
Ooh, some more
Cursed
see-through.
Buddy
Curse.
Poffin.
Or Bravery
Or
Charm.
Bravery Charm. Yeah.
Cursed
Card's
Bravery
broken.
Charm.
And then Rescue Board. It's in Spanish. Artizone, double Artizone. We're gonna
There
go a
we
little
go.
faster. I have 7 energies that are in English, and they're prize pack non-foils.
Nice.
And they're psychics, and then I have 2 darks. Pretty good, pretty good. And then I have my 3. What are they? The Pocuchos Gemelos.
There we
Pocuchos
go.
Gemelos. They're in Spanish. They're Buddy Puffins. I have my 2 Ultra Balls of my 4 gold Ultra Balls. These are the ones I used from Fort Wayne on. So I've used these for like 2 years now, and I love these
Nice.
Ultra Balls. Tons of points with them and pricing. Whoa!
Cursed Nest Ball.
Cursed Nest Ball.
Cursed Nest
Cursed Nest
Ball.
Ball. Okay, so these are Needle Ball, and it's in Spanish. I traded with the locals for them. They're non-foil, of course.
Yep.
2 Earthen Vessel.
That's
but
so
these
weird.
are
Yeah, those ones actually don't like mess with the green screen.
yeah, Vasija Terrestre.
Terrestre.
Yeah, I haven't ever actually pronounced it. I just said
Yeah.
Earthen Vessel the whole time. Or Vasija, which is vessel. My 2 rare candies, I bought 8 of these, and these 2 came in, and I think I have like 6 more.
Oh, there we go.
But they're somewhere. I couldn't find them, but I found these 2, and I put them in my deck. And then I have a double counter catcher from back when I played in the back in the day during Sun and Moon era. 2 Night Stretcher, lit. The best card in the deck, Secret Box. This
Yep.
card's really good. And then I have 1 old Super Rod in case I need a prize check. And it helps with like looking through for the borders, and like that way I can like know what's prize checked with my old candies. You know, my researches that are full art, like just being able to, because like, dude, I can't like put my deck in order like these top players do
Yeah.
and like really understand what's missing, but it does help when I'm like, oh, I'm missing my card that's like a really old border, or I'm missing like my pink card, you know? And I know where, you know, now I know that my secret box is priced because I haven't seen it, or my old counter catchers. Okay, yellow borders, looking for those.
Yeah, definitely.
Looking for the HESS borders. So giving myself the best chance, you know, trying to acknowledge the fact that I'm not a supercomputer like some of these players, but, you know, giving myself the best chance to prize check in a way that doesn't, you know, or giving myself a clutch. And we're going to see if we have any
Yeah,
of these
we got our next.
rounds going up.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got a little energy-friendly fire
Ooh.
here. We got Kevin Rafal.
Uh-oh, we're going to see Kevin versus Rafal. It's
And
Wow Bao
Wow,
versus
NRG.
the best Polish player on NRG.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Rafal for being bilingual.
Yeah. And, you know, he also got a top 64 finish in Atlanta as well. So, huge shout out to Rafal.
Shout out
The
to
second
Rafal.
highest Terra Box player
Ooh.
at Atlanta.
Yeah, second highest Terra Box player.
Yeah.
Hopefully at Milwaukee, we'll see what he brings.
Yeah,
I imagine it's
definitely.
going to be Terra Box, but we'll see how he does. Hopefully he's the first high, or the single highest Terra Box player at
Yeah.
Atlanta, and you know, hopefully he catches this event in top 8s and does great things. I want nothing but the best for my teammates and
Yeah.
for people from Chicago. So
Definitely.
seeing Chicago players do well at Monterrey, like honestly, it was in itself it was a reward, but then also doing well, I just like I couldn't make up the situation to be any better, except for the fact that like if I won, right? Like
Yeah.
obviously that'd be great, but like seeing my friends do well is awesome.
Oh,
and
yeah.
seeing Chicago do well, like I do have a lot of pride with the Chicago players
Yeah.
in Chicagoland,
Definitely.
just in terms of like we have such a great community over here. So seeing people do well and get rewarded for practicing, it's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to see Rafal here getting a pretty nice start here, grabbing the Fan Rotom to get 2 Hoot Hoots and the
Ooh.
Ditto, actually.
The
So,
Splup dude.
yeah, the Splup Ditto.
Yeah, the shiny Ditto's definitely pretty cool. I did trade one of those away.
Yeah.
I had it and I traded it away for some cards in Spanish because like I was like, man, I could always get a Ditto, but I can't always
Yeah.
get a card in Spanish.
Definitely.
So someone wanted it and I gave it away. Shout out to Jason from the Lavender Town team.
Nice.
Jason was
nice.
a super nice guy. Took me out for tacos. That was actually the guy that took me out for tacos.
There we go.
Jason, I believe Dante, and I forgot the other guy's name, but it's okay. They were awesome guys. Shout out to
Yep.
them.
And looks like we're going to get the Latias here to grab the Ditto, put it in the active, and now we're getting the Cornerstone in
Oh
the active here.
no, the big bad.
Yeah, and the attachment for turn, and Rafal passing it over.
Rafal doesn't want to play honest Pokemon. Rafal
Yeah.
wants to go and play some stinky Pokemon.
Yeah, he's on Demon Time right now, trying to get that Cornerstone going
Bro,
right away.
Rafal's being a sweat right
Yeah.
now, bro.
Yeah, but we definitely need it because, we got a lot on the line here. We've got, league points for our invitational happening in the summer, as well as the auto invite for whoever gets top 4.
Yeah, I guess he wants to get that, but come on, bro.
Yeah.
But there's a chance with this continuous coin toss that he hits heads
Yes.
at exactly 11 times in a row.
Yep, that could happen too.
There's 6 prizes on the bench. Yeah, but he also plays, I believe he plays a Turo in his deck too. So, Ray Solis with saying that Rafal punted by benching 6 prizes.
Kevin
guess he could,
4
but-
Gusts. I think Kev only plays 2.
Yeah.
Oh, we just conveniently have his list on the very top here.
Conveniently.
Conveniently. So he plays 2 boss. I don't see it. Oh, and 1 counter catcher. So only 3 Gust.
Bro, but he's hitting 11 heads in a row,
Yeah,
dude.
definitely.
Does he play the Strike It Rich Goldingo? I know the Canadian players that played it.
No, he's not playing it.
Oh well, the Canadian players that played it. Oh man, what's their podcast called? The Drew Too Many podcast.
Oh, okay.
When they mentioned it, because Trevor Reed shot out to him, he got top 8 at Vancouver. He got top 8 at Vancouver with it, and they were just saying on the podcast every time they mentioned it, they're like, "There's gold in those hills."
Yes.
And every time they said it, just cracked me up. So shout out to their podcast. Go give it a listen.
Yeah, definitely.
But speaking of podcasts and listening, hopefully Kevin's able to listen up to what some people say in this matchup. It's winnable, but it's difficult. You just have to get, those Dragapults up and running and try to deal with these cornerstones. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yo, does that evolve? Wait. Whoa. Does Gimmighoul evolve into Dragcloak?
No, he made sure to get the switch.
Oh, wait. Middle Pult.
Yeah,
My bad.
Middle
Pult.
Middle Pult.
Dan Hugar would hate me if I actually said its correct name. Middle Pult. But yeah, so yeah, no. Gimmighoul does not evolve into Middle Pult. And likewise, the Dreepy does not evolve into the Goldingo EX.
Yeah.
But we do see a Goldingo EX. We see a Dracloak in play or Middle Pult in play.
Yep, and this Cornerstone allowing the Jewel Seeker ability to become active is going to be grabbing a Sparkling Crystal and an Area 0 for Rafal. And that Sparkling Crystal is going to allow the Cornerstone to start attacking.
Bro, Kevin, whip out the Canceling Cologne,
Yep.
bro.
The Canceling Cologne.
I allow it.
Or the Path of the Peak.
Patalapic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he's no fun. This guy sweats.
Wow.
Man, he's too good.
So now...
He top decked the energy too.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's good, because
Yeah.
beforehand he had the Noctowl plus Research in hand, and he top decked energy. He just had to have it. So, I mean, right here, he's just looking at his opponent and he's like, "Hey, dog, you get an answer for this? Because
Yeah.
this Cornerstone might just send us into game 2. We've got a backup game, right,
Yep.
Bryce? Because we might need this."
Yeah, we might need one.
But, I mean, we're going to see what happens. If he's... I mean, we'll see what he has. Does he have the Crispin? If he has the Crispin in his deck, that's a pretty good option for Kevin, because he can go, like, Crispin onto the Dracloak at the double energy.
no
down.
Crispin.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no Crispin. So,
Tragic.
yeah, I mean, the Dragapult, as well as, the Pult line being a good draw support, also helps with this Cornerstone in situations like this, because the Dragapult EX does not have an ability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it allows you to hit through this Cornerstone. I would have... No, this is definitely getting greedy, but I was like, even if you, like, continuous coin toss and hit heads on the first one, the 20 damage matters.
Yeah.
Because then you can go for that 2-hit KO, but you can also do, like, a Vengeful Punch on the active, I guess. Or... Well, the Genesect doesn't matter anymore. The E-Search Pro is pretty good. You can search out your energies and start attaching.
Yeah.
But you only want to do that if you're able to attach and then evolve to a Dragapult EX. Because if you don't evolve to a Dragapult EX, that's a wasted energy attachment. Because Rafal just can go Noctowl, Dual Seeker, search out Boss's Order, and bring up that Pokemon with the energy on it.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely important to kind of get started with those attachments, just because, yeah, it's like what you were saying. Don't want to fall too far behind. And, Rafal is able to kind of turbo his deck and get a lot of pieces that he just needs at the right moment. And looking at this counter catcher is pretty interesting as well, because being able to just gust up the Noctowl, install that, could buy Kev another turn if he needs it.
Exactly. Or you Cypher Maniac, put the, I think it's Eastern Pro Counter Catcher on
Yeah,
top, right?
I think
So
so.
then he can actually go for a knockout on this Latias right here, which means no, but then he's 1 energy attached behind.
Yeah,
Dude, it just feels bad.
I
Like you
know.
want to deal with it right away, but then to be honest, maybe the strat is to always just go for, all right, I'm gonna Latias, I'm gonna knock out Latias, take 2 prizes, and then from there I'm gonna deal with something else. Having the Darkness energy for the Monkey Dory is also pretty good because once your Goldango takes some damage, you can go your Goldango takes damage, and then hopefully if you find energy attached to your Dracloak on bench or your Dragapult if you evolve it. No, but then you can't Monkey Dory.
Yeah,
Dude, this is just so bad. This
I
is
know.
mental gymnastics. I know that Michael Davidson will like scream at me and be like, "Dude, you're playing it wrong. You're
Yeah,
commentating it wrong." But like, I don't play this matchup,
I
dude.
know.
I don't play either of these decks. I'm new to this game. I mean, man, you just having the one of Crispin. I know Caleb Rogerson mentioned, I believe it was him or someone else. They mentioned that like they were contemplating the one of Crispin because it allows you to do things where like you can Crispin attach to Dragapult and then attach a Darkness Energy to Monkey Dory or attach twice to Dragapult and get it up and running, and then you don't care about this cornerstone. You can just deal with it and then do a 200 to it
Yeah,
and then gust something up and then take
definitely.
4 prizes. But man, any commentator,
Yeah, it's gonna catch the
any
hands.
commentator hater is gonna catch these hands. They can catch these iron
Yeah,
hands.
definitely. Ooh,
Uh,
and the Latias is getting gusted up now, and now Kev's gonna be able to take the 2 prize knockout here as well.
yeah, make it rain, dude.
Yes, Make It Rain is gonna be coming out here. I think
I would like to
the
see,
Fez coming down.
dude. Ideally, I would like to see the Fez for another Dracloak, but we don't see a Dracloak, man. That's so rough
Yeah,
because now it's like if Rafal has boss, knock out the Dracloak. He doesn't care.
yeah, and
Man,
now this
so
Cornerstone can kind of just keep putting in work.
all right, he just needs to discard 5 energy, do 250 damage.
Ooh, and looks
Discarding the
like
darkness,
yeah,
bro. I'm okay. Okay, fan the energy
yeah,
out. You know
fan it
you're
out.
probably gonna lose this game, but you're gonna see what happens. Okay, that Latias is spazzing out,
Yep.
but oh man, dude, this is rough. You have to hope something happens. I hope he prize checked for the fire and psychic energy. I think he already revealed those. I hope he prize checked for the Dragapult EX.
Ooh, and
And that
there's the
Draco. Oh, there
fire.
was that. No, that wasn't off the prizes, right? Fire psychic.
I don't think so. I think he had those
No
already.
chance. Okay, I was gonna say I was like, bro.
I'm pretty sure he searched out one of every energy from the eSearch
Okay,
Pro. Yeah.
yeah, because that's also a tell too. If you energy search pro and then you don't have them, and then your opponent sees that, they're like, "Oh, this game's chalked.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna knock out around it." But
definitely.
I think Rafal is probably gonna go like, just bosses order the Dracloak, because if you're able to double gust the Dracloaks, the game is effectively over.
Yeah.
Because your opponent literally has no way to deal with it unless they're gonna continuous coin toss, and that was kind of a meme. For all seriousness, that is not the correct way to go about it. But you play to your outs. If you have to do it, you do it. But oh man, we'll see what happens.
So Roth here is looking to just get the Fez started.
Yeah, if he draws into boss, he has the Ultra Ball for Noctowl. But if he just raw draws into boss, that's
Oh
really
yeah, it's
good.
so much better. Just
I
because
say
you can
1,
just use
2,
the
and
Noctowl to grab other
3.
stuff. Ooh, it doesn't look like
Dude,
it's a boss.
that's not a boss. It's another
Yeah.
Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, and Area Zero under depths. So you can Nest Ball here. The boss. Funny enough, the boss is on the bottom of the deck.
Yeah.
So
Such a broken cut from Kev.
I
Ooh,
mean,
looks like he's grabbing the Pika here.
you grab the Pika, you attach 1 energy to it, and then you can always have it as a response to something like
Yeah.
this Dragapult EX if it ever comes down. But you also play something like the Lily's Clefairy EX. So, man, I just don't know what Kevin's gonna do in this situation. The
Yeah.
matchup does seem a little chalked, but like I said, you're playing your outs, and with the Fezandipity being benched, that does mean that Kevin can just knock out Fezandipity, knock out Pikachu. Vegetable Punch is not in play, so
Yeah.
that kind of affects Rafal too. I think Rafal,
Yeah, I think that's why Kev kind of
he's
like held the Vengeful Punch, is just because he's trying to time it to where, for a Pikachu knockout.
yeah, definitely. But then again, like you need your opponent to knock into it. So
Yep.
if Rafal attacks and then
Arctic went
so if
3-0 with
Rafal,
Terrorbox.
yeah, if
Nice.
Rafal goes like Ultra Ball for Noctowl and then attacks into like something like the benched Dracloak, then the Vengeful Punch doesn't really come up because it could be on something else.
Yeah.
But we do see there's two prizes that are not Pikachu, so they don't have that ability where I believe it's Resolute Heart, or maybe it's not that.
Yep.
It's Resolute Heart.
Yes.
Is that the Charizard one though? That's Excited Heart.
No,
Resolute
Excited
Heart
Heart,
is
yeah.
Pikachu's. Okay, good. So we do see that the Resolute Heart ability would carry for Pikachu.
Yep.
The energy switch off the active. Is he just gonna attack with Pikachu?
Yeah,
right
I think he's
now?
just going to get the Pikachu knockout now just to force a response out of Kev here. And honestly, I'm not too mad at that. Kind of going with that big knockout and then trying to secure the last 3 prizes elsewhere.
I mean, so the counter catcher's played, but we could see a boss being played here if he draws into it.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask for to have double, because he only has the double boss, right? He doesn't have double CC. So
Just 1 CC. Yeah,
one
2
CC,
boss.
2 boss. So yeah, if he goes like, he needs double gust here, which is huge. But then again, Roth also just needs to power up more Pokemon, because Roth either finds boss's orders onto a single prizer next turn with the cornerstone to attack, or well, he can't really power up another Pikachu. That's kind of,
Yeah, it's a little tough to do that.
well, it's also impossible.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have any grass, lightning, or metal energy in play already, so he can't energy switch those unless he goes like the one of Cornerstone or Orcapon route, and that would be kind of hard.
Yep. Oh, there's that Dragapult. And also getting the Vessel and the Superior Energy Retrieval is also huge pickups here as well.
Yeah, we see those, but we don't see a boss's orders. Do we see boss here? We see Nest Ball.
Just Nest Ball and Switch.
That's not it. Okay, we're gonna have to see the Dracloak here. If the Dracloak can hit boss's orders, that's pretty huge for this prize trade. You can always bring up the Pheasantipity and knock that out to give Rafal effectively 3 less cards next turn off of the Flip the Script ability if a knockout's taken. Let's see, boss or boss? No.
Ooh, no.
So you either have Superior Energy Retrieval or Discard Fodder in that TM evolution.
Yeah, that's like one of the big things with this deck is there's no extra draw, some like support like the Radiant Greninja or anything like that to kind of rely on. So now,
okay,
whatever's on board is what Kev has to rely on.
I don't hate this here, but he can go for just attaching an energy and then evolving into his Dragapult EX. It is giving a liability though, because then if Rafal finds like boss's orders, energy switch, Lily's Clefairy, then he's
He has boss in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Raf or Kevin has?
Kev has.
Oh.
Wait, no, is that his deck? No, that's
That's
his
his
deck.
deck.
That's his deck.
That's his deck, yeah. His hand
Okay.
had like Arven, Cypher Maniac, but it did not have boss's
Yeah.
orders. Yeah, double Arven Cypher in hand, so we don't see boss. I think he also had
Yep.
a Turo in hand, so the Turo could come up. Oh, he literally has every other supporter.
Yeah, every
except
supporter besides
for
it.
Turo and boss.
Yeah, I was like wondering when I was looking through 'em, like looking through the whole thing, and it's like, wait, there's a boss, there's a Pokegear. Just some extra pieces to search out the supporters for the next turn here, and the Vengeful Punch. Part of me feels like it's a little too late right now, but at this point, I feel like it's still got some utility that can be used in this game.
Exactly. I think that we can see an energy come down onto that Dracloak, and if he chooses to evolve it, that's up to him. I think that you know your opponent is more than capable of getting boss's orders plus energy, but I don't know if they're able to get boss's order energy switch onto Clefairy plus energy. But I mean, I think it's a safe turn to put down that energy onto the Dracloak, and you're able to attach the fire or the psychic energy. So we'll see what he ends up choosing. Otherwise, he's probably going to attack into this Pikachu
Yep.
for 190, and then it also sets it up to where a Dragapult can take a knockout later, and you'll take your 4 prizes. But
Yep. And do you think, from Kev's perspective here, that if you are going to punch into this Pikachu, that you're going to use discard 1 energy, or are you like discarding more energies?
I think you have to discard the 4 energy, so then that way you do 190 damage to it. Because of its ability to trigger, you would do 200, but then it lives with 10 HP.
Yep.
And then that allows you to knock it out later on with like a Dragapult snipe attack.
Yeah.
So then you're able to knock something out like, well, man, it feels bad because eventually you're gonna have to go and put one more damage counter onto the Pheasantipity or the Latias. And that's easy to do with Monkey Dory's Adrenabrain, but that's one more energy you have to attach manually, so it's
Yep.
at least 3 turns from now.
And it also relies on having damage being put into play on your board as well.
Yeah, well, if Cornerstone's attacking into like a Goldango or a Dragapult EX,
Yep.
even the Fez, then it's going to do, only that 100, and I believe it's 140 with Demolish. And so it's not going to be enough to knock out any Pokemon.
Yeah.
So unless it's knocking out a single prize attacker, and that would give Rafal in the even prize trade back again. So I feel like Rafal's in the driver's seat still, especially
yeah,
because he has
definitely.
that Cornerstone Dragapult, but he doesn't really have a lot of energy in play. A simple Crispin would change that up.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why he goes with such a high count. If this is anything like his Atlanta list, they did go with the 4 Crispin in that list.
Exactly. I think the 4 Crispin seems really nice.
Yeah,
It's just
definitely.
even we see the Miraidon deck playing the 4 Crispin instead of playing Electric Generator now because
Yeah.
Crispin's
Oh,
just
the
such a good
Joltik, the
card.
new
Yeah,
Joltik box.
the
Yeah.
Joltik Miraidon deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could see what's happening on our fall side. Ooh, Lily's Fairy.
Ooh, that's looking to come down as
Preemptively benching
well.
it, but that is a card that can get knocked out by Dragapult
Yeah.
with no modifiers. So then you do 200 damage to the Lily's Fairy, and then 10 damage off the Phantom Dive 6 damage counters. You do one of those damage counters goes onto Pikachu, and there you go. You take
Yeah.
4 prizes and win the game.
Well, looks like we're grabbing another Noctowl here.
I think having the Noctowl here means a couple things. It means that you can go for a boss's order onto
Yeah.
the Dracloak, and
Definitely.
then attack with Demolish, and force Kevin to have an answer to something. But we're really going to see what happens. I'm really caught up. I'm tunnel visioning on knocking out this Dracloak
Yeah.
because it sets Kevin back a couple turns that he can't attack into this Cornerstone. And who knows if he's able to find boss's orders, given he does have the Poke Gear in hand, so you kind of know what he's going for.
Yep. And I mean, this Cornerstone at the end of the day, that's why it came up so quickly in the game, is because it's really going to be Rafal's main win condition to winning the game. And I think this Cornerstone's really going to need to not only stay on the board, but be able to start taking some knockouts soon as well. So it looks like Raf is still looking for his Jewel Seeker picks here. I see an E-Switch, and I'm wondering what the other card he's looking at is. It seems like Nest Ball maybe. Oh, Turo. Turo's also a solid pick as well. You know, if you play the Turo, you can get the Pikachu out of play, or you can take one of the Noctowls out of play as well. There's a lot you can kind of do with that. We have 0 viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, Mo?
Off the Jewel Seeker, he searched out the Crispin.
And now Raf only needs 1 prize left in order to win this game. Many pieces. It just shows how good. Raf only needs 1 prize left in order to win this game. Many pieces. It just shows how good this Terrabox. Many pieces. It just shows how good this Terrabox deck is as it keeps going in and out. As it keeps going in and out.
Or I can go in the chat and tell them.
Oh yeah, you could probably do that too. Yeah.
But currently we're not online.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead to following Energy Store,
Yep.
monthly.
We're trying to kind of work around these technical difficulties here as well. Seems like it's been something that's been kind of going on.
I got an ad. So
Yeah, you got an ad.
I got hit with the ad.
Yes, some tech issues here. Looks like when we're looking at the game here too, I think we're stabilizing.
All
here.
right, Moo,
Okay.
I'm Mo. There's no
I
refund. You didn't
want
pay
my
for
refund.
anything. Oh my goodness. I get too much power being
I
my
know.
phone back here.
Yeah.
All right, so
Ooh, going into
the
fan
rundown
rotom
we
here.
saw.
Yeah, and I think we're doing okay now. I think stream has kind of been stable for about a minute or so, so I think we're kind of getting back into the swing of things here. Thank you for staying with us here. Okay, so Raf's kind of figuring out how to close out this game here. Yeah, we should be good. Thank you, Bryce, for working around it.
Yeah, as long as Raw finds boss energy here, then he's
Yeah.
in there to take a knockout on this Jaripia with 70 HP or the Gimme Ghoul. And if he whiffs the knockout, then it just seems quite evident that Kevin should have it, as long as
Yeah.
there's not going to be an Iono. we'll see. We see a nest ball from Rafal.
See what the nest ball is going to grab
It's the
here.
second time that the boss's order's been on the bottom,
Yeah.
taunting Rafal. He's still, from what I see, he has 2 left in deck.
Yep.
And he just wants to draw into that card. And he's just like, dude, why are you looking at me so menacingly? But it is.
Ooh, the Ogre
It's-
Pawn.
All right.
Ogre
Dig
Pawn's
one.
good. Yep, going to get some more.
Dig one.
Yep.
Let's see.
Go search a little bit more into the deck here.
All right. Let's see. Come on, Rafal. Shuffle it up.
Yep.
I'm on the edge of my seat, man.
Yeah, this is getting a little intense here.
To think that Kevin fought his way back and there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a chance he could just still lose.
Oh, man.
Oh man, is Roth emoting
I
right
want to
now?
see it. Can we get a judge shuffle?
Yep.
Give the people what they
Yep.
want. A judge shuffle for the 1 card. Flip it over. Flip it over. Flip it over. Please.
Oh, let's see what
Rafal,
it is.
stop
oh,
it.
There's so much tension here.
Slam the boss's order. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
is
it's
that it?
boss.
Ooh,
Is there energy?
I don't know. Is there an energy?
Oh, but the energy went on the ogre.
Oh.
pawn.
Oh
He can't
man.
corner. He can't. Oh man.
I mean-
Rafal. I guess you can put cornerstone up and
Yeah.
pray, but he can boss up like Pheasantipity.
Yeah.
Pheasantipity has
Or
like
like the
1 retreat, so then the energy actually goes nowhere relevant, so it's 1 less energy.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see like boss Fez here. But then if you boss Fez, it's 1 less energy you have, dude. Or 1 less boss you have.
Yeah.
Boss Fez, force the most amount of cards for your opponent. It's the last turn of the game if your opponent wins, but you can make it 1 turn longer if your opponent needs more cards
Yeah.
to win. So always force the resources.
This is so tragic here. He got the
Always
card
force
he
the
needed.
resources, dude.
Yeah. Oh man, this game is so intense. Mo even got out of his seat.
I have to use the restroom.
Oh, okay.
So
Go.
I'm standing up.
Yeah. Go ahead. Well,
I want to see this game finish.
Yeah.
No, you always.
Oh,
maybe you
man.
don't always boss up Fez.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Oh.
Draclo can evolve to Dragapult.
Yeah.
I guess that's correct, because then you force your opponent to find
I mean, he's
way
got
to
the
switch.
oh,
but he has
he's
that.
got
he
the
has
boss.
boss's order.
he's got the
And
attachment.
come on, show
he's
me
got
the
attachment.
energies. Show me the 2.
Oh,
And
there we
he
go.
knocked it
Kev.
out, dude.
Kev with the big dub here.
How did Kevin come back? How did Kevin come back?
Yeah, he came back like the stream came back.
Dude, shout out to the stream.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bryce for fixing this.
Yeah.
But like, I thought Kevin went out of that.
Yeah,
I
he was
like, okay,
definitely like. I mean, it was like a 4-1 prize lead, like prize exchange at the point. And I mean, Ralph just needed 1 more prize to close it out, but wasn't able to do it. And Kev was able to take 2 big knockouts in a row and was able to take the game from there. So
Kev going
super,
a 2-0.
yeah, super big. He's 2-0 right now, and closer to getting to that auto invite for the next for our invitational this summer.
Yeah, inviting out to getting invited out for the tournament coming to NRG. And one of the amazing things we have is a restroom here. I'm gonna go ahead and use that.
Go ahead.
Let's
do your
go ahead
thing.
and use the restroom.
Bryce, do you have a list we can kind of throw up or something like that while Mo's out to kind of go over with chat here? Let's see what we can throw on here. Oh, perfect. Gardevoir. All right. So this Gardevoir list is, I think, what Orlando played to top 8 at the Atlanta Regional. And this was kind of like what people were initially thinking Gardevoir would be played like, just because it played the Brilliant Blender, it had heavy Bravery Charm Count, and made you rely on your Drifloon and your Screamtail as like the main attackers in the deck. So yeah, very solid attackers. No bench barrier right now, so Screamtail is a super strong card. And it's just a much faster deck than Gardevoir has been in the previous formats, using that 3-2-2 line and playing 3 rare candy in this list. I feel like 2 is kind of the standard. And as well as this one's actually still playing Arven in the list as well. I know some lists have kind of strayed away from using Arven just because of the strength of Badoo needing like higher draw supporters, higher counts of draw supporters in the list, which is why we have 4 Iona. I feel like 4 Iona should be a standard in like a majority of lists, just because you do need a lot of draw power towards the early game and a lot of disruption towards the end of the game. So super strong card. I mean, I wonder what life is going to look like once Iona rotates. It's going to be so crazy to think about, life without that card. The Mew EX and the Clefairy combo is super cool as well, just because you're able to copy stuff with the genome hacking, kind of like um, the the Dragapult attack, the Phantom Dive, and you're able to kind of return knockout with Phantom Dive. You can take out Raging Bolt really easily. I mean, there's so many opportunities you can kind of take advantage of with Gardevoir, and it's such a strong deck. So I think it's going to be one of the big picks going into Milwaukee, and I think it's going to be my number one pick going in. And I feel like either this version, the Zoroark version, or the one that Brent Honnison recently won Monterey with, are all fine decks and definitely take advantage of all the good pieces here. And I feel like more of the Gardevoir lists are actually going to favor the Three Monkey Dory as well, just because I feel like a lot of mirror matches are going to be being played. So Three Monkey Dory definitely favors that. So definitely got to play it a little bit differently now. So yeah, I think Gardevoir is like definitely a big one here. Bryce, do you think we have another one that we can kind of throw up as well? Let's see what else we can kind of throw. Okay, we got some Dragapult here. I think this is the Drixty that Andrew Hedrick got second place finish at Atlanta Regionals with. And Dragapult's still super strong, I think. I mean, it's occupied a lot of the top 8 in the last couple of tournaments, either this version with the Dusknoir line or the one that Tanner Hurley's been playing lately that has like the slower version of Dragapult that plays the Genesect with the tool to prevent A-Spec use, and plays Luminous Energy as well, which is super cool to take advantage of Monkey Dory. So Dragapult's still super strong. Phantom Dive is a super, super broken attack, being able to do 200 damage to the active and spread 6 damage counters onto the bench any way you'd like. And I think Dragapult is the deck that takes advantage of Badoo the best because, I mean, you are a slow deck. You want to kind of ramp up your damage very slowly, and being able to item lock your opponent for a few turns while you are getting your board set up is a super strong way to go about your game plan. So kind of going about that. Pokemon line is very standard at that point. 4-4-3 Dragapult line. I think I would rather like to have a higher Dusknoir count. More Dusknoir is more Duskulls, but it's a little hard to fit it. List is super tight, but still super solid. And it's kind of like what we were talking about earlier with the higher draw support count. So being able to have the 4 Iona, the 2 research are super, super important. And the 2 Jacques are also really good too, kind of getting those middle evolutions going. Welcome back, Mo.
Yeah, I got to
Yeah.
use the luxury services
Yeah.
of that Nerd Rage Gaming.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
definitely.
toilet, as
Yeah,
some say.
toilet.
Additionally, I got to catch Rafal and Kevin talking,
Yeah.
and they were just speaking in terms of, okay, what should Rafal have actually gone for? And I was like, dude, like you probably should just like spawn trap the Dracloaks.
Yeah.
And especially because Kevin prized the other Dracloak, which even if you don't know your opponent prized it or not, but if they only get one out, then you're able to just say, okay, let me knock out the one you do have in play, and then if you evolve into another Dracloak on the second Dreepy, if I can find boss knock it out, I will. Otherwise, you still don't have energy on it, so you just set your opponent back more turns. And with your cornerstone being your primary attacker, you know that your opponent doesn't play like Rare Candy Crispin.
Yeah.
But if they do have the Wonder Cloak in play, you probably just prioritize that, especially if they fail to get the second one in play. It's kind of a tell that either it's in the deck and they can't search for it yet, or it might be prized, which I wouldn't bank on the prizing, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, definitely. So, Dragapult's still super solid pick. If you were to give me like 3 decks to kind of look out for going into Milwaukee, Mo, like what do you think are like the top 3?
I think the obvious picks are going to be Dragapult and Gardevoir. At least at the upper echelon of play, you're going to see players like Henry Chow, Andrew Hedrick, the 2 finalists from the last NA regional.
Yeah.
Or well, the last U.S. and Canada regional.
Oh, Connor, Kevin won.
Yes, Kevin did win that round.
With the Pengo.
Yes, Pengu. But like I was saying, you see the finalists from the last event bring Dragapult and Gardevoir, and then you see at Monterrey Regional, okay, well, Brent Tonneson, Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305,
Mr. Worldwide.
He's bringing his iteration of the Gardevoir deck with no Zoroark in there, but still he's bringing Gardevoir, so you should probably plan to beat Gardevoir and then beat Dragapult.
Mm-hmm.
As for the third deck, I think it could be a toss-up, but I do think that maybe it's going to be like one of those beat stick decks.
Yeah,
So either it's
definitely.
going to be the new Joltik deck, if that gets enough traction, or you're going to see something like people bringing Raging Bolt, and it's just a comfort pick. It's a deck that's pretty simple to play, or it's something that's going to be a little more in depth when you get into those games that are a little awkward. But
Yeah,
it's also just those 2/2/2 decks.
definitely. And
Um,
Quinn, thanks for popping into the
what is
stream.
up?
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
And I think we're getting set up for our round 3 right
ooh,
now.
I'm excited.
Ooh, so we got Martin and Dan here.
Yeah, Martin looking
Yeah.
like he got a fresh cut, and I know
Yeah.
Dan did get a fresh cut because
Yeah.
before I picked him up today, he got a fresh cut.
Yeah, definitely. So Dan playing the other iteration of Gardevoir, the Zoroark version, and Martin's playing Terapagos. So, both these players, I know they really like their bling. So there's gonna
They
be a
are
lot.
some
There's
blingers.
gonna be a lot of shiny cards on this board here.
Yeah, some Goldango fans over here, even though they're not playing Goldango, but they
Yeah.
are a fan of gold.
Yep. Oh
Martin
man.
restarting for 2, using that bubble Mew that all
Yeah.
these collectors would go crazy
I
for
know.
until they see the condition of Martin's
Yeah.
bubble Mew. He has no problem riffle shuffling
Yeah.
it, and I admire that
Yeah.
because cards are meant to be played with.
They're meant 100%. 100% agree with
I
you.
will riffle shuffle my deck. I don't care how much it costs. If
Yeah.
it's all my cards, it's all getting riffled.
Yeah.
A
They're
funny story.
They're all gonna be loved.
I've told a couple people, but a funny story of me getting the Alter Clefairy in Spanish. The guy that gave it to me, I gave him back the sleeve for it because I
Yeah.
always do that in trades. And then the guy was like, "No, you keep it." And I said, "Nah, bro, it's getting folded."
Yeah.
So yeah, that card is I mean, it doesn't have any damage on it because it was
Yeah.
only for one tournament. But if I was to ever play like locals that are unsanctioned,
Yeah.
I'm definitely using the Alter Clefairy, or I'm just gonna put it in my personal binder.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Definitely.
all my cards are getting folded. They're also getting folded back because I riffle and I bridge.
Yep.
I don't just riffle. If you just riffle, your cards are going to get warped. If you riffle and bridge, your cards are fine.
Yeah. Definitely.
But we're going to see the secret box happening. Get rid of the energy. You love to see it. Get rid of the Iono. It's all right. You play 4.
Yeah. You play 4 of them, but you kind of want to have like consistent draw.
And getting rid of the second dark, I think it's fine just because you only ever... I feel like getting one Monkey Door is pretty important, but
Yeah.
as long as you don't prize the other dark, then it's fine. Additionally, you play Night Stretcher, so you can record those energies that are in the discard pile, especially the dark energies. You're seldomly going to actually get the Psychic Spec in hand to mainly attach or something, but yeah, so we're seeing a couple of these
Yep.
bonkers cards go up.
Yeah, and that beautiful Enzora coming down as well with that Ralts as well. Super pretty deck.
Yeah, Dan has the Zoroark EX already in hand. I think he has a Candy in hand, but does he have a Gardevoir as well? Yeah, he has
Yeah,
the
he
Alternator
does.
Gardevoir.
Yeah.
So his next turn is gonna go ballistic.
Yeah, he's gonna go crazy. So
Ideally he's gonna go Rare Candy, Gardevoir, evolve to Zoroark, and then from there he gets to do whatever he wants. He also started the Drifloon. That's a really good card in this matchup. Your opponent's Terapagos is at effectively 310 right now HP. 310 HP, but you can bring them down with the Monkey Dory, Adrena Brain.
And Martin getting this really big top deck with the Nox Howl, so he's going to be able to Jewel Seeker right now and hopefully get something like a Crispin or something else to kind of get a stronger board here. So it looks like the Jewel Seeker's coming out. Let's see what we're searching out here.
I think personally, if your opponent secret boxes for like 4 cards and doesn't, or the secret box for 4 cards, one of each trainer, and then they only play like one of them. In this case, he only played the Buddy Poffin. I think you want to disrupt that hand.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
definitely.
he's going to research those cards in hand, and you don't know what he has.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. It's like I think the most rewarding instance where you're kind of like doing something like a disruption is when a Goldango player will preemptively play the E-Search Pro, and then you just Iono all those energies to the bottom of the deck.
I'll do you one better.
Yeah.
Over the weekend at Monterrey, a lot of people, since they saw I was playing Gardevoir, they assume I'm playing Badoo, and I was. But I would always watch them E-Search Pro, and in my hand I have like Buddy Puffin, Iono, or a way to get to it. Or like even Iono, and then I assume I'm going to hit a basic search off of it. And I'll just Iono all those energies.
Yeah.
And then also hit him with Itchy Pollen.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, buddy, well, it's at the bottom of your deck, so have fun shuffling your deck without items.
Yeah.
And in that, I might forgo like playing down like Artisan, so then that way they can shuffle.
Yeah.
It was dirty work, but it's a
Yeah.
part of the deck and it's a part
Yeah.
of the standard format.
Yeah, and it just shows like how that small little intricacy of your sequencing kind of changes the game from there, and it could really put your opponent in like a really tough situation. So it looks like they're trying to figure out how many cards in hand here, and I think Martin's potentially looking for that Iono like we were kind of talking about.
Definitely, you have to eye up the Iono.
Yeah,
Just-
Iono, and hopefully draw into another energy so this Terapagos can start going with the unified beatdown.
Ooh.
Oh, it looks like he's going
And
for
we're
the
gonna
pink
see
card.
Prime Catcher. I guess it's gonna be Prime Catcher, maybe on Zorua.
Yeah, that's
Just
not a
because
bad
there's
idea.
double Ralts down. Then again, if you do take out one of the Ralts, and your opponent doesn't get another one, then you can hopefully find a boss and then boss
Yeah.
up the second Ralt. So yeah,
looks like we're going with that.
we're gonna see the rush down of these Ralts, and
Yep, and the Iono's coming
Iono.
out here.
he just needs energy and to announce attack.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see what happens off of this. He literally just needs an energy card.
Oh, there's the
He hits
energy.
the fighting. Okay, fighting's also not really big in this matchup. I know sometimes having like the dark on his Terapagos is kind of iffy
Yeah.
because he wants to be able to use Monkey Dory, but having the fighting doesn't really matter because Cornerstone's pretty bad in this matchup, as you
Yeah.
can see the Drifloom on the bench.
All right, the unified beatdown getting the first prize of the game here. And, ooh, Dan's hand is not looking too good here. I mean, there's not much he can really grab here.
He has the Night Stretcher for the Zoroark EX.
Yeah, which is really solid as well. But, it's nothing compared to that last hand that had the rare candy
Yeah.
Gardevoir and all of that stuff. So,
That hand was pretty
Yeah.
crazy. If he had a way to search basics, honestly, I would probably hold the.
yeah.
I would have held the secret box and just
Yep.
told my opponent, like, hey, bro, you don't want to iron out this hand. I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, going with the trade
Ooh.
here.
Okay, he can Itchy Paul in this turn. That's pretty interesting, too. He can stop his opponent from maybe playing another Ultra Ball or something.
Yeah.
So, well, Ultra Ball wouldn't really matter. There's no Hoot Hoots in play for a Noctowl. But yeah, he can Itchy Paul in over here and then try to set up for a play where, like, maybe next turn he finds a rare candy off of the trade. So he can go attach energy to active, retreat to the Badoo, but we'll see what he has. Or he
Yeah.
just has the Badoo prized. Oh, no. That's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely is.
Personally, I wouldn't have prized it. Even
Yeah.
though during the tournament,
Even though you can't control it.
yeah, exactly. To recall my tournament run, I did prize the one of Zorua and Zorua. I prized it like I think like 8 or 9 games,
Oh,
which was
man.
pretty unfortunate. It
Yeah.
sucked, and then like 2 of the other games, I also prized Badoo. It was like 2 or 3 of those games. So I was like, man, this is pretty rough. But thankfully, I never prized double Guardy.
Yeah.
Prizing double Guardy sucks. That's
Yeah,
probably
that's probably the worst
case.
one. I was very grateful that during my EUIC run I never prized double Guardy.
You just hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Prizing double Guardy means like, oh, man, it just sucks.
Yeah.
You have to do so much to like try to play something.
Yeah.
Just do Sweet and Heavy Ball. Yeah. Unfortunately, I would get DQ'd. If
Yeah.
I did.
And it looks like the unified beatdown is getting another knockout here. And we're gonna see another trade coming out.
All right.
Ooh,
Candy. Let's go.
Oh, rare
Candy.
candy
I don't know.
Gardevoir.
This deck's broken.
Oh man, this deck is crazy.
Oh my goodness. And he's gonna get free damage because he's
Yeah.
just gonna be able to go. All right.
Does
Let's
Dan
go
have
put
another
40 damage on my active.
Yeah, and I think he has. Does he have another Night Stretcher to grab the
Yes.
the Drifloon?
So now all he needs here is he needs to go like play the Artisan down, Night Stretcher for Drifloom. No, dude, don't do that. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
you can technically also just put the
You could like do Monkey Dory, put that in play, and you can
knock out the Mew.
yeah, you can knock out the Mew. I feel like that's also a solid plan as well.
Yeah, it's either knock out Mew with the Screamtail. It also doesn't put you in range of something like the Jamming Tower
Yeah.
in case Martin's playing such things. But I do like just dealing with a Terapagos right here because if you go like Iono, knock out Terapagos, then that's pretty solid. Then again, he's using the Night Stretcher for the Dark Energy, saying, I might not be able to find it off of the Iono 6, which it's completely reasonable since he's down double Earthen Vessel, and I think he only plays the pair. He might play the third one, but the odds of finding it are pretty low. Sports
Yeah.
jersey from Peru.
Yes,
Um,
Martin is from Peru. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well-
I do remember I like to talk a little football with Martin every once in a while. I know he's a big Arsenal guy too, so hopefully got some football fans in the building too.
Well, I did go to a game out
Yeah,
there. I
that's
went
why I
to
was
the
hoping you were gonna talk about a
yeah,
little
I
bit.
went
Yeah,
to the Tigres versus Pumas game,
yeah,
and it was insane. Like, it was
yeah,
one of my favorite experiences,
yeah.
honestly, in life. Seeing how excited everyone got for the game it was just unreal.
Oh yeah.
Dude, there's probably like 10,000, 15,000 people in that stadium, and it was uh, man, I don't know. I can't talk about it. I literally took videos of the whole thing because I was just like, I won't be able to recollect everything that's happening right now because I'm so excited for the game. And they're chanting in Spanish and they're saying things for Tigres because I was on the side of Tigres,
Yeah,
and I'm over there trying to keep on beat with the rhythm, and I'm over there clapping and everything.
yeah,
But man, it's electric in there, and yeah, I got to go there with some of my locals,
yeah.
Gigi and Felipe. So shout out to them because they offered to buy the tickets, and then let me third wheel with them. But
Nice,
it was my little bro date with Felipe, and Gigi was the third wheel. So
nice, nice.
yeah, it was such an unreal experience. Speaking
Oh
of
yeah.
unreal, for Dan to hit that rare candy and to be able to draw into
Yeah,
a way to evolve this Gardevoir just off of a measly trade, bro. Two
yeah,
cards getting you into Gardevoir Iono, probably like rare candy Iono, probably the two best cards you can have. Night Stretcher for Dark Energy, Monkey Dory, using Adrenabrain to move 30 from the Gardevoir that retreated, putting onto the Mew EX, and man, that Scream Tail, dude.
I know. Ooh,
Yeah,
looking for another Iono here
Roaring
potentially.
Scream, 20 damage for each damage counter on this active Pokemon, or on this Pokemon, and with the Psychic Embrace, it's goes hand in hand. It's like they
Yeah,
invented these cards together,
definitely.
and yeah, being able to do 160 damage, healing the 30 off, and then that really allows you to go and hit for 190 base. So it's the bread and butter of this deck, being able
Yeah,
to Scream Tail or being able to use the Drifloom. So we might see an attack from Drifloom at a later time, given that the Drifloom's in the discard pile. It's a little rough, but we'll go ahead and see what that third recovery card is. It's either a Super Rod or a Night Stretcher.
yep.
So if Dan can find it, then Dan can use it.
Yeah, and super good sequencing on Martin's side here. He's able to find a way to get, the area zero to expand the bench. He was able to get the Fez down and get himself all the way down to one card so he can Iono to grab four more.
Yeah, to be fair, if there's a knockout taken and Dan finds counter catcher or boss's orders, whether he chooses to play the boss or not, I know a lot of people are foregoing it, but if Dan's able to use if he's gonna be able to go counter catcher and then Adrenaline Brain put some damage onto the Pheasantipity, he can also just take the knockout with something like the Gardevoir EX, and then that way he's gonna be able to just go ahead and
Yeah, gets the
um
knockout here.
yeah, exactly, like he'll go ahead and be able to take a return knockout. So yeah, the prize count, it's 3 to 4. Dan has more prizes remaining. That means he'd be able to use something like the counter catcher, like I mentioned.
Yeah. And I think on Dan's side, he actually has like a few good outs here. Like now that the counter catcher is active, he can target stuff like the Latias and the Pheasantipity as the two prize liabilities on the bench and kind of take those out because the Terrapagos is like super, super tanky now because the two Bouffalants are in play. So being able to take out those are super good.
Arctic Ice Guy saying that Pengu takes a good
Yeah.
Gardevoir matchup. I'd beg to differ. I've never played I've never played the matchup. I played Gildango into Gardevoir, but I don't know. I would tell you otherwise just so I could get to play it.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Dan with these trades,
The
bro.
trades, the trades are
Counter
crazy.
catcher Iono. This Iono is like glue to Dan's hand.
Yeah,
Always
really
finding
is.
it off the Zoroark. I guess it's just, Dan was a Zoroark GX player back in the day,
Yeah.
and I guess it's just the fact that you know, ends, not ends because well, it was finding N off of trade. So N was effectively Iono, but you would shuffle your hand into your deck and
Yeah.
then draw for each prize card remaining. So being able to find Iono, it's just like, come on, some things don't change,
Yeah,
Dan.
definitely. And I remember when we were in Toronto, Dan was telling me all about like the whole Zoroark meta and stuff like that because I wasn't playing during that time, so he's definitely giving me some good education about, how times were in the
Oh,
Pokemon trading card
yeah,
game.
Dan loves Zoroark GX. That might
Yeah.
be one of his favorite cards
Yeah.
ever. When I went to LAIC, I also got him a Portuguese Rainbow Rare
Yep.
Zoroark, and so hopefully he likes that.
Yeah.
Version of Guardian. So I did. When I played to Monterrey, I did play the Henry version. With one card change, it was the -1 Morty for +1 Jacques. But I did speak with Brent on Sunday night of the tournament, and he was explaining it. Honestly, both versions are really, really good. It's just, do you want a more aggressive version? And the Brent version is just a little more aggressive in terms of draw support. So I would argue that both of them are really solid plays. I might run maybe something like the Brent version to like a League Cup or Challenge if I get the chance to, just so that way I can try to practice with both of them. But I mean, I have to go with the Zorak one since, you know, Henry's won so many regionals this
Yeah.
year. So like he's the Guardy Whisperer, but also Brent's really good at the game. I mean, I think he has his World's Invite locked up since he won a regional plus got second in an IC.
Yeah.
So both versions are really good. I wish I could enter a tournament with both of them, but I would have to lock in Henry. But both of them, like I said, they're both extremely good plays.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I was gonna definitely try to make a section where we kind of talked about it too, because, I'm trying to play a Gardevoir for the event too, so trying to figure out which version to play. And I know you're the Guardy guy, so it's definitely a good segment that we can have in the stream to kind of talk about, which version to play, pros and cons of both, and all of that. So we'll definitely try to do that in between rounds. Yeah.
Okay, Arctic Sky. One time, funny story. One time, Brent destroyed you at a league challenge
Yeah.
with Guardy with Mew EX when you were playing Lost in
Oh
Box.
wow. Yeah.
Ooh.
Mew EX in Guardy is so good. I like it.
Mew EX is a very good card. It allows
Yeah.
you to copy things like, like you can copy random things. I know
Yeah.
Josh Frink mentioned in his run at Atlanta, he put some damage onto a Joltik versus the Joltik Maraudon deck. He put 30 damage on it, knocked it out, and then he also like preemptively damaged an Iron Hands, and then Mew EX copied Ampu very much
Yeah.
for 3 prizes on it to close out the game. So Mew EX allows for some random gameplays. I've copied like a Raging Bolt attack over the weekend
Yeah.
with it. I've copied Steel Mask Pond's attack. Copying Dragapult EX is like obviously the most value out of it if you have
Yeah.
a benched Lose Clefairy, but Lose Clefairy EX because of the Psychic Zone ability, but there or Fairy Zone ability,
Yeah.
not Psychic
Fairy
Zone.
Zone.
Fairy
Yeah.
Zone ability, but yeah, there's so many use cases for it. We'll see if Dan's going to utilize it. Then again, we'll see what Martin gets to do because Martin finally got stuff onto. He got that energy onto the Monkey Dory,
Yeah.
so he's gonna be able to.
He can start moving that damage on the Terrapagos somewhere else.
Yeah, they're gonna start playing badminton with these damage
Yeah.
counters and just start sending 30 over,
Yeah.
30 back, 30 forth, and let's go ahead and see what happens with it. Yeah, I guess Mew
Yeah.
X copying Badu Arctic Ice Guy would be pretty
Yeah.
funny. It is pretty cool, but then again, if you leave a Mew EX active and your opponent knocks it out, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
The Badu wars go for a couple turns, so I think it gives your opponent enough time to deal with the Mew EX
Definitely.
and value off of the turns you give them. And we're
Okay.
gonna go ahead and see Monkey Dory Adrenabrain 3 damage counters
Those are
onto
some
the Zorak EX.
big Terrapagos.
Yeah. Some might say that is a tanky Terrapagos.
Yeah, it's a
as the deck.
big turtle.
The deck could be named that, with the Boufflants. And we would like to see Dan use the
Yeah,
Stream Dice. Let
it's
me go ahead
alright.
and, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and use our eyes. We
Yeah.
see, I believe that's 180 plus 70. We're looking at
250.
250?
Yeah.
Yeah.
250.
As long as
looks
it's the 180.
Yeah. Dan always has some pretty decks.
Dan blings for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he's playing the 2/2 Zork line. You devious dude.
Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna see
Ooh,
Scream
the
Tail
Scream
come
Tail
out.
coming out.
It could just be a knockout on the Pheasantipity.
Oh, but the Fez has the Bravery Charms, so that's definitely something to kind of look at.
Yeah. If he finds his own Bravery Charm, he can get
Yeah.
the knockout on it. Otherwise, he'll just get the knockout on the Latias.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and see what he's doing here.
Click trade away.
Trade, and I think that's just about it. He keeps himself out of range of anything like double monkey.
Yeah.
Or as long as he
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
give
I
his
think you can just
opponent,
knock out the Latias to win the game, right? Double
Yeah.
monkey.
as long as he doesn't give his opponent damage counters.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Scream Tail onto the Latias with double Adrenabrains onto the Latias.
Yep.
That's 60 damage plus 160 with the Scream Tail. That is game.
Yeah, that's game. There we go. And Dan Ibarra pulling out the Dubski against Martin here. And I mean, to be fair, this is a pretty rough matchup for Terrapagos. I know the last time I was playing in the league, I played Terrapagos, and my only loss was to Gardevoir, just because it's a pretty hard matchup to kind of get over. I mean, they up trade against you super well, and we got our boy Trev here playing Mo's 60.
Oh,
Going against Goldango.
really?
I remember I was talking to Trev as soon as he
Ooh.
came here, and he handed me the deck list, and he says, "It's the Mo 60."
It's the Mo 60.
Yeah,
It's not my 60.
yeah.
It's the Henry 60. It's the Henry and Bradner 60
No,
minus
no,
one
no.
plus one
It's the
card.
Mo 60 because the one card change makes a world's difference. So now it is the Mo 60.
True. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember playing like Reagan Redslav's
Yeah.
single strike Lugia list,
Yeah.
and it was literally the only difference was like instead of playing a Yveltal Dark Attacker, I just played another Stone Journer, and
Yeah.
then I played Great Balls
Yeah,
instead of
Stony
Nest
J was
Balls.
my favorite card in that whole
Oh
deck.
man,
I
Stony
miss
J was
I miss
lit.
yeah, I miss Stony J.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
I played Great Balls and then one extra Stony J,
Yeah.
and so I ended up hitting. I was the best placing Lugia that tournament at Milwaukee, and then the
Yeah.
following weekend at Fresno, I lost to my own 60
Yeah.
because the guy started playing on Great Balls, and I was like, oh dude. After the round, I was like, oh, just curious, which list is this? And he
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's just whichever one from Milwaukee. And I was like, oh bro, that's my deck.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't my deck, it was just Reagan's minus a couple cards and adding
Yeah.
Great Balls because it was honestly like
Yeah.
I don't know. I preferred Great Balls as an extender, but
Yeah.
that's its own debacle.
Yeah, and
And that's
Murray,
its
it's
own
funny that
thing.
you mentioned the change to one card, so your limitless is the only name on it.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
that's
see
a
though.
base take.
There's a possibility that like people are gonna say like, oh man, I want to play Gardevoir Zoroark, and there's a chance that mine would be the first entry because this is the change they said they would make to it.
Yeah,
So technically speaking, that's the newest list going forward. So let's see if my list, my in quotations, I'm definitely doing
Yeah.
air quotes. My list is the one to get more entries after.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe I might even run it.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know. I just want to play more Pokemon.
Yeah.
Honestly, being over here is nice, watching games and talking about it, and it just makes you want to play more Pokemon.
Yeah.
And man, after a tournament run that I had, I just want to play more Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Gardevoir is such a sick deck.
Yeah, definitely is. And it's like, times like that where I wish I picked up the deck sooner, because I feel like that Shining Arcana version, with the reversals,
Oh man.
it's like the most disgusting version of the deck.
Yeah, back in the day, I played the deck before Reversal Energy came out. Well, I think it was before Reversal
Yeah.
Energy came out, or before it was popularized. But I played it back when you would play like
When
the
you play
Rare Candy,
the one of Judge.
Arcana, the one of Judge, the one of Miriam.
Yeah, and then the
it
one
was,
Roxanne.
It was so silly. Yeah, the one of Roxanne.
Yeah. I remember the one of supporters. Like, the deck was so
It
weird.
was
It played the
so
Zacian V.
goofy, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Zacian
The
V.
Zacian V, the 4 Seal Stone, or the
Yeah.
Sky Seal Stone.
Yeah,
I played a 1/1 Espeon VMAX line to beat
Yeah.
Lost Zone.
yeah,
Because you would put on your Manaphy, and then I also played a one of Thornton to
Yeah.
recur because it was the best recovery outside of Miriam
yeah,
because you couldn't play like Ordinary Rod rotated, so you couldn't play that.
definitely.
So man, it was so goofy, but like
Yeah.
I ended up I played that, got top 32 again with Gardevoir. So every time I play Gardevoir, I get top 32. So maybe I should just play Gardevoir
Yeah,
and
definitely.
secure some cash. Back then I got $250 and now I got 1,000. So
Nice.
the times 4 is really
Yeah,
crazy.
the times have changed a lot.
Yeah, only 2 years ago, but it multiplied by 4 for the prize, which is pretty cool. Gardevoir never really changed though because you always had your Shining Arcana was definitely your big beat stick Pokemon, and you would swing for big numbers. And now we just have Drifloon with that Bravery Charm that swings for big numbers. So we see that Trevor. Oh, he's going for that Mind
Ooh,
Bend.
is this a mind bend? Oh wait, no, it looks like he's retreating.
Or retreating.
Oh, retreating into the
Oh yeah,
Drifloon
he's
here.
going into his big beat stick Pokemon.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and see that Bravery Charm too. Unless he doesn't have it, and then he's just gonna swing for 180 damage.
Yeah, I
Which-
don't think he could because there's Jamming Tower in play, but he does have Artisan, so
Dude, yeah, I believe. Maybe. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and see 190 damage on it.
yeah.
Unless he puts Artisan plus Bravery Charm, but I guess he's just gonna go for the 190.
Yeah.
It just seems a little sus though to me because then your opponent can go like Darkness. Since you don't take a knockout, they go like
Yeah.
Darkness Energy onto Monkey Dory, and then
Yeah,
they're gonna
just
be
move
able
it back.
to move it. Yeah. So I personally like not putting damage in play for them, but we're gonna go ahead and see what happens.
Yeah.
I believe
So-
I owned his opponent to low as well.
Yeah,
But
it
we're
never
gonna
feels
see.
good though because against Goldengo they draw so many cards anyways. So
Yeah, as long
yeah,
as if he finds like boss's order on a two prizer plus the darkness energy, which I mean he's that's an SER in hand, so
yeah,
he just needs the boss.
and
Pheasantipity doesn't activate, but he still gets to draw one more card
yep.
with coin bonus,
Oh,
and
it's a
then
cipher.
two more. Okay, let's go. Draw two.
Crispin and
No boss's
Is that
order.
Alicia's appeal?
I don't even know what it does, to be honest.
That's a gust card. It gusts up a basic and it confuses them.
Oh, dude.
Dude, that's
He got
crazy.
rid of it. No.
Oh my.
He got rid of it.
Oh my.
No, you definitely. Oh, he could have won.
Yeah, I
He
feel like.
could have won.
Oh, is he realizing it? Is he realizing it now?
The post discard regret. Oh
Yeah.
no, dude.
Oh no.
You could have made it happen. It's okay.
Yeah, that's why we do this. At the end of the day, um, you can definitely. Oh, okay. So it looks like we're doing the Monkey Dory.
He takes the knockout with Monkey Dory, so he goes down.
Yep.
He's gonna go down to 160 damage on his active. And I'm gonna be so happy if I lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I lost
Alicia's
Alicia's
appeal.
appeal, I would
Yeah,
probably.
that's gonna be the new boss.
I
When
would just
boss
drop from the
rotates.
tournament, to be
Yeah,
honest. But
that's the new boss.
funny enough, on my win in for day 2, my opponent was playing Dragapult Pidgeot, and they used double boss, and then
Yeah.
they hit me with a rhyme, and they drew 3 cards, and they said, "All right, switch your active," and I was like, "Oh dang, bro, you got it." And I was like, "Who do you want in the active spot?" He was like, "No, you pick." And I like picked up his card, and it was in English too, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
Oh.
I'll bring up my other Gardevoir
Yeah.
with 1 damage counter on it, so it's 300." And Dragapult cannot hit 300 damage
Yeah.
when they don't have Dusknoir in play.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Here you go, big dog." And he was like, "Yep, you got it." And I was like, "All right, did you want me to bring up like another Pokemon?" Like,
Yeah.
because I'm not doing it. So it definitely caught me off guard. It was just like, "Oh no, what does this card do?" I
Yeah.
remember it gusts or something. So yeah, Alicia's appeal, dude, could have won him the game.
Yeah. Definitely.
What could it have? He needed.
Well, cause like you Licia up the Pheasantipity, you
Yeah,
Monkey Dory, and then
but
you.
the monkey, the superior energy.
Oh wait,
he
he's got another one.
plays 2.
He's got another one.
He plays 2,
He's got another one.
brother.
Oh man.
Oh no.
What?
He
What?
plays
What?
2.
He plays 2.
I'll give this man.
Oh,
Somebody get this man some
let him
boss's
cook.
orders.
Let him cook.
Oh, it's confused.
Oh.
It's confused, bro. He didn't confuse
Oh,
it. Oh my god,
man.
Trevor breaking the rules.
Oh man.
Bro, he plays 2 of those.
2 of them. 2 Licia's appeal.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow.
What?
I never expected that. That's an interesting. Wait,
Oh
let
my
me
god.
let me find his.
He discarded one of them
Yeah.
and said, "Nah, bro, I'm
Yeah,
using
yeah,
the
yeah,
alternate
I'm gonna
art."
use-
He
I'm gonna
said-
use the nice one. Oh, now I
my
need to. Now I
gosh.
really need to see what.
I need to buy some Lucia's appeals now. Apparently,
Yeah, I guess.
apparently the
I
card
mean,
is cracked.
I pulled the SIR out of my booster
Oh,
box.
we're gonna see if he runs
Yeah.
boss's orders.
Okay, so 2
Um,
Licia's appeal. No no bots. This is crazy. Wait, so this is such a teched out list because I mean, he plays Badoo, he plays 4/4 Goldengo line, he plays the single prizer Goldengo,
there's gold in those hills.
Yep. and then plays
No bosses
Cornerstone as
insane.
well.
Brother.
This
Hey.
is crazy. 4 Cypher Maniac,
And what's
2
their-
Crispin, 2
their-
Licia's appeal.
They're
Yeah.
2-1 now. They're
Oh,
going for the
man.
auto invite.
Yeah,
There's 2 more rounds, I believe.
this is such a crazy list.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Wow. Bow.
Wow, bow. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is.
That was
hey, if you want to play the alt-art cards you pull, by all means,
yeah.
this is a reason to come to our locals. We
Yeah.
let you play your cards.
Yeah.
And then when we're preparing for future formats, or if it's just a locals, we allow for proxies to
Yeah.
be played because sometimes you don't know if you want to buy the.
Or commit to a deck,
Yeah, you don't know if you want to commit to a full deck. Gardevoir's been out for ages, so there's 40 themed decks on Gardevoir,
Yeah.
40 played League Battle decks. But for decks like Terapagos,
hmm
I mean, that card also has 40 million printings.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you don't want to commit to buying, the whole Ends Zork deck.
mhm,
But you can proxy it at our locals as long as it's not like a League Challenge or a League Cup.
Yeah.
But, hey, you don't need to proxy the Altar Licia's appeal
Yeah.
when you have them. Am I right?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
So,
you're right.
Shout
you're
out
right.
to them.
Yeah.
How
That's
much-
a crazy list.
Man,
Yeah.
Can we see how many rounds or how many games they're still playing? Because
Yeah.
if we can, oh man, I was gonna say if we can get an interview going
Yeah.
and see the thought process behind
Yeah.
Alicia's appeal and see why Luis
Yeah,
only
we
plays.
checked. He does not run boss.
There's no
There's
bosses
no
or
boss. He plays
orders.
the two Gust are the
We
two Licia's appeal and a one of counter catcher.
we stand Alicia in
Yeah.
this household, in this
Yeah.
establishment.
I know it's crazy.
Zerokin 96. Oh, TJ, yo. TJ VGC TJ. Hey yo. We're making it big to the TGC to the VGC
the VG community.
the TGC.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty sick. But man, dude, I'm discombobulated because of
Yeah.
Alicia's
the
appeal.
Licia's appeal.
I
Licia's
mean-
appeal is living in my head right now.
Okay, this was also another thought, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking if I went to a regional and
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I know my 59, I need another card. I was checking the legality of the Pikachu with the gray felt hat
Yeah.
and seeing if like, okay, maybe I could like slot this into my deck and then get a limitless page for that card. And if I could get a day 2 with it, and then I was like, man, I really want to do this. But then I was also like, man, I really want to do well at a tournament. And
Yeah.
if I start this card, it sucks
I
because it
know.
doesn't like it. The effect of the attack is search your deck for a Pikachu, so you can't even search for something like Flying Pikachu VMAX when it existed. It has
Yeah.
to be a Pikachu.
Pikachu
not-
EX.
No, Pikachu.
Just regular
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
It has to be able to evolve into Raichu.
Oh wow.
Like it has to be Pikachu. It cannot be like Red's Pikachu. It cannot be like Pikachu EX. It cannot be Flying Pikachu V. It cannot be
Wow.
Surfing Pikachu V Max. It has to be Pikachu. The card is literally unplayable, and I was like, if there's some way to use this card, I will. I also think the card might have rotated now. It's been about 2 years since the card came out.
The Gray Felt Hat?
Yeah.
No, I think it's still in play for. I think this is the last year it's in play for.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I make my way to a regional
Mhm.
and play the Great Felt Hat Pikachu. I did not register for the
What's the retreat
remaining
cost on
regional?
it,
It's
Bryce?
one retreat.
One retreat.
It's one retreat, but yeah, it's attack for one lightning. It searches for a Pikachu, and man, I want to play that card so bad. I just want to. Maybe I get some points with it, but to be fair though, like then I would
Yeah.
have to take it. I would have to like open the card, and it's already wrapped, and
Yeah.
like it
Well,
loses
you
so
can
much
always just get the
value.
one that we have in the Nerd Rage gaming case.
I have some credit.
Yeah, you
Do I
have
do
some
it?
credit.
The card's
I
like
mean,
$300 though.
Yeah, it's an expensive card.
It would be an expensive card to try and get points with, but I don't have all my league challenge points, so
Yeah,
I think I'd be the first person to ever get points with that card.
that'd be funny.
Yeah, I just like it'd be so silly to do it, but then someone's gonna be like, "Oh, you got league challenge points with it? Well, I want a league cup with it," and I'd be like, "Oh, bro,
Yeah.
please have mercy."
And then you're gonna have to one up them by day 2ing a regional with it.
Yeah, but then
And
I
then
have to
someone
day
else
two
is
a
gonna
regional,
do
right?
it.
Bro, and then I have to day 2 a regional, and I suck at this
Yeah.
game. I can only play Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have it in me to day 2 with the Pikachu, the Pikachu with the Great Fell hat.
Yeah.
But it'd be so sick, dude.
Definitely.
And then you get to play a Great Fell hat. You get to wear one
Yeah.
too.
I don't know about
then
if
if
I
you-
go that
And
far.
then- no, dude. It's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
You play the you play the Pikachu with the Great Felt hat. You wear a Great Felt hat, and then you play Alicia's Appeal.
Man.
You bring up a basic Pokemon, you confuse them, and then you use the attack and search out a Pikachu, and then
Oh,
your opponent
man.
goes, "What?" and then they're like, "Are you okay?"
And then
And then you
that's-
play
yeah.
like your full and Zorak deck, or like your full like Dragapult deck, and you're like, "Yeah, bro, that's all I can do."
Yeah, and then you both laugh because you're both at the bottom tables at that point of the day.
Dude, okay. I mean, let's see if we can maybe for like our fundraiser.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
Maybe if we hit a certain threshold at our fundraiser, that's gonna be on July 20th, by the way.
Yeah.
If we hit a certain threshold, then I will enter a regional with the Pikachu with the Gray Felt hat. And
That's such a good idea.
that's-
That's a good incentive.
that would have to be like
Yeah.
we raise like $6,000. Like
Yeah.
I'm not playing that for like $100. It
No.
would definitely have to be like something. I can also probably convince like one of the top players coming to do it. I don't think I can convince like Henry Chow because he'd be like that's not optimal.
Yeah.
But I think I could convince like one of them
Mhm.
maybe, or there's the Professor Cup. I can convince someone like I'd 1,000,000% I could convince a judge to do it at the
Yeah.
Professor Cup.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. For those that are unaware, if you're a professor of Pokemon, I believe it's the Fridays before the regional. You can actually play the Professor's Cup, and then there's the certain rules that it might be like a Chaos Cup or a Chaos tournament where like at some point in the match you switch hands with your opponent, you switch decks with your opponent, you shuffle your discard pile back into your deck, you, I don't know, put your prizes face up or something randomly, right? So
Yeah, and it's a cool thing that lets the staff still get their play because I know a lot of them still probably have like a really high, competitive drive and want to, compete, but, they also find a lot of fulfillment in like, running the events and stuff like that too. So it's a cool opportunity to allow them to play too. Yeah,
exactly.
I definitely like that for them.
Yeah, I would love to play on one of those, or at least like even if we have a day designated like once every month or once every like 2 months or something. If we do something with like those kinds of rules, like I also saw that LDF posted at his local before rotation. It was
Oh yeah, the one with the multiple ace spec.
yeah,
Yeah, that one's
exactly.
super cool. That's a cool idea
So that
too.
one was really sick,
Yeah,
and
shout out to LDF. He's a cool guy.
yeah, shout out to Matthew.
Yeah,
Matthew's lit.
I played him at Toronto,
Ooh.
and I got completely sacked.
Well, he had the terrain boost,
Yeah, he
right?
definitely had terrain
There's like the
boost.
psychic terrain BG. There's the
Yeah,
electric terrain. There's the grassy terrain,
yeah, and then
and
there's
then there's the
Canadian.
LDF
Yeah,
terrain.
the Canadian
Yeah,
terrain.
it's just no.
Yeah, that's so
No, no,
funny.
no, not to be mean to the
Yeah,
Canadians because I
yeah.
know that like Kieran Fair is a really big advocate for like actually understanding the Canadian players in a bigger sense
Oh
than
yeah, and I
oh
mean he
maple
had a
syrup.
crazy run that tournament too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think
Kieran is always
yeah,
always doing
he's
well.
such a good player.
Kieran's really good at Pokemon.
Yeah.
Kieran played the oh my goodness, it was the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck.
Oh, to Monterey.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah. The night before, I went to go give him a gift, to secure my spot as the #1 fan,
yeah,
and I gave him a gift for himself and Anil, and then he, yes, he is very
yeah,
tall, Murray.
yeah,
But I went to go give him a gift, and he's playtesting this Frostlass Punky Dory deck, and I go, well, bro, please tell me you're playing it. This deck is crazy. You need to play it. And he locked it in.
yeah,
He made day 2, and he got top 64 with the deck, which,
yeah. Solid
shout out
placement.
to that deck because
Yeah,
that deck's crazy.
yeah, that's a
Like,
cool deck.
you just love to see like a it's not even like a silly deck because it's pretty like viable.
Yeah,
If you don't really respect it, and during the match, if you're like willy nilly benching everything, especially things with abilities, then some damage is gonna rack up, and then from there you're gonna be like, oh wow, my opponent actually won.
yeah,
They scraped it
definitely.
out. Oh, they played Blood Moon or something in their deck. What?
Yeah. It's a
So
cool deck, and I think it's one of those decks where like Badu like really pushed it over the top kind of thing.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Badu really helped because they play a whopping 3 Badu. That's almost the playset, but it's not
yeah,
quite. But you still play Night Stretcher, you still play recovery options, and you just make it so that your deck is as annoying as possible for your opponent. And the only time they get items is probably turn 1.
yeah,
Otherwise,
definitely.
you're just putting those darkness energies on your Monkey Dories, racking up some damage on your own Pokemon, and then moving that damage. And from there, you're
Yeah,
making your opponent question what they're doing.
perfect.
And we do see that our next round is about a pair up, but in between, then what do we want to see on stream?
Yeah,
I think we've gotten a good variety of a lot of the
definitely.
great decks.
Yeah.
I will take this moment. I don't think Bryce has the matchup yet. Let's go ahead and do, I guess, that flavor text.
Oh yeah, let's do one real quick. Do you think we got time for one, Bryce? All right,
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
cool. Let's do
Let's
it.
go, let's go, let's go. I
Yeah.
fat thumbed and just put guess
Yeah.
on Google. Okay.
All right, let me add it.
Ready,
I'm ready.
steady,
Yep.
go. By dislocating its jaw, it can swallow prey larger than itself. After a meal, it curls up and rests. Sounds
Oh,
like
wow.
me eating a lot of good food in
Yeah.
Mexico. Not dislocating my jaw though. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Can't do that.
Would you like a set?
I think we need a set.
All right. I already know what it would be. Hidden Fates.
Hidden Fates. Okay, I wasn't playing around that time, but don't really know that
Ooh,
set
I know it.
too.
I know it.
All right.
Can
What
I,
are the other?
Can I just say my guess, bro?
Yeah. What do you
Okay.
think?
Okay.
Well, let me take one.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Um.
I'm gonna lock in mentally what it is.
Yeah. You
Right.
said like it dislocates its jaw.
Yes. By dislocating his jaw, it can swallow prey larger than itself.
That's so
After a
weird.
meal, it curls up and rests.
Curls up and rests. Oh man.
There's some lore to my answer if it's
Yeah.
correct.
It's got to be like I'm thinking like a water Pokemon, like a Whiscash or something like that. Do you have like a
Mm.
stage?
I can give you a stage. It's a
Yeah,
basic.
it's a basic. No, it's not. It's
Ooh,
not Whiscash
I'm
then.
locking it in, man.
Oh, how about a what's the last one I can get?
An attack. Would you
Attack.
like an attack?
Yeah,
Well, the attack is Tail Whip,
Tail Whip.
and I think I still have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess Wishy Washy.
Okay, let me guess. My guess,
Yeah,
because I think I'm correct.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Seviper.
It's a Viper.
And wrong
Okay.
guess. Did I spell it wrong? Show answer. Oh,
Oh, is that Ekans?
dude.
Oh
Oh my god. Okay,
wow.
okay, okay. Hear
Cat
me
got
out.
it. Cat got it.
Oh my god. Okay, so my reasoning was there's a shiny Seviper from Hidden Fates.
Yeah.
At least I think it's no, it's Dragon's Majesty maybe, or Hidden Fates. So basically, I was thinking that the Seviper was the one that did 10 more damage when your opponent's active is poisoned. And I specifically
Oh.
remember that card because a lot of people played like the turn 1 donk deck
Yeah.
and expanded, and back then you had to use the poison Seviper to turn 1 donk somebody, or there was a really cheap. I mean, the deck was like $30 at the time, back when every deck played like 4 Tapu Lele. And back then, every deck was like $200, $300
Yeah.
because of the Tapu Leles and everything else, every other staple. But this deck played Vipers, it played Poison Barbs, I think, and then you
Mhm.
played like the Flying Flip Tapu Koko, which just did 20 to everything for a double colorless energy. And yeah, I just vaguely remember that, but I also have one in my binder, a shiny one, because like,
Yeah.
it's a snake, dude, and
Oh,
it's pretty
cool.
cool.
I don't know why I was thinking of like fish. I was thinking of like I think the other one I was thinking, what was that eel? I think it's electric.
Electric,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was thinking about that too. And then I was just thinking of like large like fish. That's why I kind of thought of like Wishy Washy because I know Wishy Washy got like a art rare where it's like all gathered together.
Mm.
Yeah. So we got Lane and John. So this is our first Dragapult, like straight Dragapult here. So
People play that?
yeah, I guess people are.
Wait, Dragapult EX
Yeah.
with a Mew EX in the deck?
Or this might be. This is definitely. This got to be Terrabox. I
This
don't know.
has to be
No, this
Terrabox.
got to no. This got to be Raging Bolt actually. Yeah.
Oh, Raging Bolt.
Yeah. This has got to
So
be
I
Raging
think,
Bolt.
yeah, Raging Bolt
Yeah.
and Dragapult.
Yeah. Do you want to go
Sound
over the
pretty
two
similar.
decks, Mo, real quick while I try to make a little restroom stop?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
who even does that during
Yeah.
the run? Yeah, I think so. Basically, we're looking at Gardevoir because there's a Ralts down, so it can only be one deck because Ralts evolves into Gardevoir unless there's a Glade I don't know about. But the Gardevoir versus Raging Bolt matchup seems pretty in favor of Gardevoir as long as you don't overextend and your opponent really gets off the ability to bump your Bravery Charm with something like the likes of the oh my goodness, what's the stadium? The Jamming Tower. I'm always saying like Lysander Labs because that's the old iteration of it. But so as long as you're not able to take a multi-prize turn with the Jamming Tower, in addition with using something like the non-EX Raging Bolt, like the Baby Raging Bolt, if they're not able to do that, then I think you're smooth sailing because you can always use Screamtail to knock out a bench sitter like Mew EX, Pheasantipity, or even using your Lily's Clefairy EX to use one of your many Psychic Pokemon to knock out a Raging Bolt EX. In addition, the Teal Mask Ogerpon also gets knocked out if you put some damage on it. So you put damage on your own Pokemon with Psychic Embrace, you Monkey Dory, you Adrenaline Brains, 3 damage counters. It just has to be 2, but you usually just do 3 to heal more. You use that to put damage onto the Teal Mask Ogerpon, and then you knock it out with Miracle Force with your Gardevoir EX. So there's a lot of ways to take the prizes, but it just depends what you're going to do. And if you don't want to put Bravery Charms in play, you can also just put 3 energy onto a Drifloon, and that'll bring it up to 6 damage counters, and that's 180 damage. You can still Adrenaline Brain from somewhere else onto the Teal Mask Ogerpon and hit that 210. It doesn't have to be a Teal Mask Ogerpon. It can also be Cornerstone. It could also be the Water Pond. It can also be a Pheasantipity, Latias. It doesn't matter. It's 210 damage. That's all that matters. And so we see a pretty solid turn right here. John going through all of their items, and they're going to be able to just put up that Baby Raging Bolt with an energy on it, and that's pretty menacing. Oh, but double Sada going down is pretty rough. All right, we see item, 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 item energy, and item. Okay, one playable card in the hand. It's an item, and well, it's an energy, and then there's 5 more items. All right, welcome back, Brian. So what we saw, the
All
baby
right.
bolt was put into the active spot
Yeah, the baby bolt's been putting in work.
with 1 energy, and then lane, they go, all right, bench monkey Dory, Iono. Now John has energy, item, 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 item. That was
Okay.
5 items, 1
Yeah.
energy. Let's see what happens from here. He needs a top deck of a century. He needs something like, I'd like to say a Crispin.
Yeah.
I'd like to say a Noctowl because he has a Terra Pokemon in play. But other than that, he needs a Miracle.
Yeah, definitely. And shout out to all the support that Lane's getting in the chat here too. So super excited to see,
Definitely.
a lot of support here.
Yeah, Lane's just price checking right now,
Yeah.
seeing if they have enough resources to really go and find things off of the secret box. But it's no secret that they are loved by people in the community.
Yeah.
They have a lot of friends in the chat, and
Yeah.
it's awesome to see people either at the store or hoping that their friends get on stream and supporting their friends. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about.
I know. That's what it's all about.
Nerd Gaming is super community driven.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of love for Lane. I don't think I've ever interacted with Lane, but
Yeah.
first time for everything because it's awesome to see new faces here.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, the league has definitely kind of contributed
oh
to
yeah,
that. Yeah.
dude. A lot of people are coming out here that just want to get invited out to the league,
Yeah.
especially a league challenge as well. So a league challenge, the leaderboard, and the auto qualifications through the league challenges means that a lot of people can come out here and try to strike it rich, as the Golden Goes
Yeah.
would say,
Definitely.
and get some a lot of store credit and play for the bigger goal of getting invited out to the invitational at the end of the season.
Definitely. Definitely. 13 degrees. I'm cheering for Lane.
I always bet
Playing a
on
Bolt
winning
player.
horses, as you say.
Yeah.
Win a world.
Based. Crazy.
Oh my goodness. I'm cheering for Lane because she's
Yeah.
not a Bolt player. Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
Okay, put some respect on Raging Bolt.
Yeah.
Raging Bolt's sick.
All
You
right.
know?
So we see the attachment going on, and then the itchy pollen.
Itchy Pollen. Let's
On-
see. Crispin right
yeah.
here off the top. John, show me the card,
Yeah.
dude. Oh, it was Grass Energy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Grass
so you
Energy,
got the-
Crispin, Noctowl. That's all we need. It was an S-Ball. And that is not a card that you can play because Itchy Pollen reads that you cannot use item cards.
Yeah.
Now,
No nest
we
ball.
can even see the retreat because there's no Latias
No
to
prime
play.
catcher. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use your prime catcher.
There's no middle
Alright.
pulse, so I gotta cheer for someone.
Listen here, 8 degrees.
Yeah.
What? Those are fighting words. Put them up. Put them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna see the
Okay,
pass
see the
right
pass
here.
over back to lane here.
All right, you're taking
Draw
one
for
turn off.
turn.
Now, if your opponent doesn't really have a follow-up, that's good for you.
Yeah.
We do see that lane has the artisans in place, so you can always.
Ooh, attaching for turn here.
I would personally like to see the
Yeah.
research of that. Probably play the artisan for a
Yeah.
Pokemon. Ooh.
Bravery charm going down here. Research. And I would have liked to see that energy go into the discard pile. But that's just
Definitely.
a very minuscule thing.
I would like to see energy in the
Yeah.
discard pile, and then maybe artisan for the Drifloom or Screamtail, and then
Yeah.
attach that bravery charm to
Yeah.
it. Definitely because like the Badoo having bravery charm doesn't really keep it out of range of many things. It keeps
Yeah.
it out of range of the Rotom's attack, but it doesn't keep it out of range of the Raging Bolt's attack if it gets the energy it requires, which is just that lightning left.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and see what happens here. Double energy off the Earthen Vessel, discarding what looks to be another research.
Okay. Ultra Ball.
Ultra Ball, double energy.
It's
You're
like,
good at Pokemon.
yeah. It brings back the memories of an Ultra Ball double chops in the good old
Oh
days.
man, maybe that's why I played the Gardevoir deck over the
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
I think I got the Ultra Ball away double energy like once.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that man, you do it once and that's all that matters.
Definitely.
Ooh, Gardevoir here. Let's
Okay.
see. Okay.
Okay. Artisan going for a second Monkey Dory here.
Getting out the monkeys. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And okay.
For Lugia. Oh man, some choice words for our one of our favorite Pokemon.
All right, you're talking to 2 Lugia bots
Yeah.
here. And I don't even know the VGC typing for Lugia. I think we went over this last
We
time.
definitely went over this last time.
It's
It's got to be
Can we
like
get a fact check, Bryce? I think it's still
it's
flying
like flying
psychic.
psychic or
It's
something like
flying
that.
psychic in the sea. I need to like, enough repetition and I can get this
Yeah.
down. We've got time because John just drew
Yeah.
an unplayable card.
Psychic flying.
Psychic flying. Okay,
Yeah.
Lugia pop off. Lugia double Ultra Ball double arc caps
Yep.
in a psychic deck
Oh
that's
yeah.
reminiscent of that. Ultra Ball double energy. It's just
Ooh,
a thing
and
you want to
another
discard to bring
pass.
onto your board.
Another pass here going on for John.
Yeah, John drew Teal Mask Ogre. He's not doing anything right
Yeah.
now. So on his turn, we have some downtime.
Yeah.
We can do another Guess That Flavor text if this game really goes long. But John has a
Yeah.
lot of playables.
So I'm wondering what Lane is gonna look to do here because has a interesting, way to
Lane-
approach the game now. Just because the Itchy Pollens have been very effective here. Has a Gardevoir EX that can attack now, and it's just interesting to see now what do we do.
Lane wants to set up their board.
Yep.
And get a bunch of good stuff in play.
Yeah.
So
Screamtail's kind of going up here. Ooh, okay.
okay, pop
Okay.
off.
Ooh, we might try to see.
We could see this Screamtail
Yeah.
just go ahead and take the knockout on the active. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Or just take the knockout in one hoot hoot. But all right, I think we're gonna go ahead and see 160 damage done
Yeah.
to the Mew EX on the bench. Still bench locking your opponent. But
Yeah.
I mean, if John's not playing cards, you imagine he has item cards in that hand, and it's not just supporters or energies. So we're gonna go ahead and see what Lane does. Where is that 160 damage going?
Yeah.
It's fine everywhere except for probably Fan Rotom, and especially not that
Yeah.
Ogerpon because the Ogerpon has that
And looks like
Terrasilize ability.
It
But
looks like Lane went over to the Mew EX here. Solid because I mean a Monkey Dory, Adrenabrain could change the outcome of that and end up with an extra 2 prizes for Lane. Yeah. So let's see what ends up happening on this next turn here, and it's not looking too good for John right now. Wonder if he's gonna put a 4th Grass Energy on this Ogerpon here.
okay, so I think putting 160 on the Mew is also pretty fine.
Yeah.
Just because if you put 160 on the Mew, you can, if your opponent takes a knockout, you can
Yeah.
eventually go counter catcher, bring up the Ogerpon or another Pokemon if it comes down with obviously with the stadium coming down.
Yeah.
But then you get to bring up that Pokemon with the counter catcher. You then use Monkey Dory to put damage counters onto the Mew to clean it up, and then you get to knock out the Pokemon that you brought up with counter catcher.
Yep.
It's a lot to have, and it's requiring your opponent to have more, but it's just saying that you give yourself the 2 prizes later.
Yeah.
You're saving it for later. You know that this deck doesn't play Turo. There's no switch card in the format. That doesn't exist anymore. It rotated. And in order for your opponent to bump the Area 0 underlaps, they need to play it, and you can't play 2 stadiums in a turn. So you're just preparing yourself to have more prizes later, as long as if Area 0 comes down, then you knock out the Mew before it goes away. So
Definitely.
I do like seeing the damage there. I am also a little skeptical of seeing what John has to offer.
Yeah.
It's nothing that he's doing wrong. It's just the fact that, dude, he has all the wrong items in his hand.
I know.
Double Night Stretcher is brutal. The Jamming Tower kind of matters. Doesn't really. All right, John. I guess you play it down just to stop Artizone.
Yeah.
But, man,
don't
not
know.
really much else.
Yeah, not too much you can really do.
So maybe what you can do if you're John, you could also see him go for a Prime Catcher onto the Gardevoir EX. Bring it up because there's not another energy in play.
Yep.
But I wouldn't really bank on energy being in play. And now, ooh. We do see Counter Catcher in the hand. So we could see Counter Catcher Ogerpon.
Yeah.
Retreat one of the energies off. As long as you can find one more energy, then you can go for the play where you go use some of the Monkey Dory damage onto the Ogerpon, use some of it onto the Mew, and then just clean up the Mew and the Ogerpon.
Yep.
But you also don't have to clean up the Mew right now since there's not an Area 0 in play. It's just a matter of when the Area 0 comes down, then you need to take care of the Mew before it gets bumped the following turn.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, if you study the lists for Raging Bolt, and if you don't bump the stadium with your own R-Zone, then the Area 0 stays in play. If you study the lists for Raging Bolt, you know that they only play the one stadium bump in that Jamming Tower, and it's already in play. So that just means that your opponent can't really do much to bump their own stadium. But that's assuming that they draw it, and John's drawing unplayable right now.
Okay, and then looks like Lane will be taking the knockout on the baby Raging Bolt as well, with the Roaring Scream doing 120 damage.
Exactly. So now they're going to 3 prizes left to John's 5. For John to mount a comeback, he probably needs a lot
Yeah,
to go his way, but you're staring on a Gardevoir, you're staring on a Monkey Dory that already has a darkness on it. So all it takes is like one more darkness energy to really seal up the deal, and maybe an Artizone or something else to search out some more Pokemon. But yeah, it's an uphill battle for John for sure. Huge play from
yeah,
Lane
Lane Nation.
Nation. Yes, that is a huge play from Lane Nation and Roadkill 42. That's Brian Oakery. So, Brian, chill out, man. It's not torture. Maybe if you're the Raging Bolt player, it
Yeah,
sucks because, uh, Itchy Pollen
yeah,
stops most of your deck, but hey, that's the name of the game.
tough.
Buddy is a broken card, or
Yeah,
as Jesper Erickson would say, voodoo.
yes. So the Jewel Seeker's coming out here now, and what do you think John is looking for here?
Literally anything playable.
Yeah,
I think he's I don't know, man. You
yeah,
either bypass this Screamtail, so you can go like prime. Okay, I'm trying to think. Yeah, he has a prime catcher in hand. He can go like um bench a Raging Bolt, prime catcher up the Gardevoir EX, and then knock it out, forcing Lane to have Candy Guardy. So then that would actually be a pretty huge play. But we're gonna go ahead and see if he finds the cards for that. I think he has to search his deck for a few more cards. Yep, he has Nest Ball. Do we see a Raging Bolt come down? That's the name of the deck. Let's see if
yep.
it comes
There
out.
we
Okay,
go.
Raging Bolt.
Raging
There you are,
Bolt.
buddy. And maybe he's gonna Night Stretcher for the other Raging Bolt, just so that way he gets the utilization of the out of the Sada's Vitality, and he gets to get 2 energy out of that. So then it'll be 2 energy from Sada, the 3 already in play, and then presumably 1 attached for a turn, so he can actually use Belling Thunder. That's 6 energy, and he just needs to find one more. No, 5 energy is enough.
Yeah, five
Sorry, I
energies
was doing
enough. No,
Goldingo
you're
math.
good.
Doing Goldingo math.
I
But
know.
yeah,
The
the 5
70,
energy is enough.
yeah, the 70s is big, and plus you got the Prime Catcher as well, which is super huge here.
Yeah, so if he does Night Stretcher for the other Goldingo, or holy moly, if he Night Stretchers for the other Raging Bolt,
Yep.
then he's going to be able to use Sada on it, and then that can be the energy that he actually keeps in play. So then that way next turn he can go Sada or Crispin, another one to the baby Raging Bolt, and then attach for a turn, and then he's able to do 90 somewhere else, and then
Yep.
take another, you know, take a prize, and then go back to 2 prizes left. So this turn he wants to go Prime Catcher, knock out Gardevoir, take 2 prizes, go down to 3, and then next turn he can go Baby Raging Bolt, knock out something on the bench, and especially if it's going to be a Kirlia. If
Yeah.
Lane misses this Rare Candy Gardevoir in the following turn, that's huge for John.
Yeah, definitely.
So come on, John, grab that Raging
Grab it.
Bolt.
Let's see it.
Come
There we
on,
go.
man.
There we go.
It's not just a thing of the past because it's an ancient Pokemon. Bring it back to the present. And Sada's Vitality to it. Mew, get back in that discard pile. Know your place.
Yep. And then the draw 3 is going to come in.
Draw 3. 1, 2, 3, and let's
Have an
go.
Ogre
Prime
Pond.
Catcher. Attach for turn. And knock out that Gardevoir EX.
Yep. It's going to be a huge play here for John because, I mean, the Gardevoir EX is the heart and the soul of this deck, so being able to take that out is really huge.
Yeah, especially since the Screamtail has 4 energy on it, and you did have to Adrenaline Brain. Lane did have to Adrenaline Brain 2 of the damage counters onto the Mew, or 3 of the damage counters onto the Mew X last turn. So we're
Yep.
gonna go ahead and see what happens.
Okay, see the...
Or just 2 into the Mew X. My bad.
Yeah.
2 to bring it to 180. I'm thinking about 190. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and see what's happening over here. The knockout on the Gardevoir EX is pretty huge. I would probably just go 4 off the bench Ogre Pond, and then 1 on the active, or double on the active, 3 on the bench Ogre Pond. You always keep that energy onto the Raging Bolt. Because if your opponent ends up getting a knockout on your Raging Bolt, you have bigger problems.
Yeah, definitely.
So
looks
yeah,
like
you
there's the
you probably just
5.
go all 4 off the bench Ogre Pond, and then 1 off the active.
Yeah.
But for sure, you keep the one energy onto the Raging Bolt on the bench, because that one can snipe around the active. Lane, you probably promote the Screamtail for sure, just because that's the one you want the energy off anyways.
Definitely.
All you care about is the damage counters on, and you always want to be able to retreat the energies. Plus, if you retreat the energies and have something like a Night Stretcher, you can always go back into the Monkey Dory for a Mind Bend play. But it's the fact that now if you're retreating the Darkness energy.
Yep.
So even if it's something to the point where like you find a nest ball for a Clefairy and then evolve to your. If you go like nest ball for Lily's Clefairy for the Fairy Zone ability to make the um to make the Raging Bolt EX weak to Fairy now
Hmm.
or weak to Psychic now. Holy moly! So you make it weak to Psychic. You can knock it out with the Scream Tail, and then do 120, and then times it by 2. That's 240. That's enough to knock it out. You can also evolve to a Curlia manually.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, right here you need to be able to find like the Lily's Clefairy, and then
Yeah,
that would be pretty much a threat.
definitely.
So we can maybe find Lily's Clefairy plus energy attached to the Clefairy. That would be pretty huge as well. Do we see it? Do we see it? Lane, show us what it is. Show us what it
Do we
is.
see the Clefairy?
If there's no Clefairy, then I think the game here swings toward.
Oh, there's
Yep,
a
we
Clefairy.
see Lily's Clefairy. Ready for action. If
Yep.
we see energy on Lily's Clefairy, then that's kind of checkmating the deal right here, because then John cannot really go ahead and take care of this Curlia since there's the Clefairy on the board. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see what happens.
Yeah.
The energy on the Clefairy is really big.
Oh
Though.
yeah, definitely. And that's definitely like a line that I didn't see myself, um, because going the 2 energy on the Clefairies is like, I always think that you kind of need to have that Gardevoir EX in play, right?
Nah.
But no, it's one of those instances where it's like not really necessary.
Yeah, as long as you get the energy down on the Clefairy, then you're chilling because you
Yeah,
can manually attach to it. I
definitely.
found myself manually attaching to the Clefairy a lot, just as a threat. Even though I would probably like, go for like the turn 2 buddy, Itchy Pollen, but still, when you get the luxury of attaching an extra energy and it's not on Monkey Dory for the Darkness energy, then you're definitely gonna try to attach to the Clefairy. And
Yep.
yes, that's 240
Yes.
damage with the Fairy Zone
The fairy zone,
ability.
but looks like there's no energy in play, right? Next to extra energy or the extra energy that you were talking about. So,
Yeah, it's not
um,
super huge
yeah.
because if you get a Gardevoir next turn, you can also use the Gardevoir to
Yep.
attack into anything, just because you can't take care of Clefairy and Curlia this turn,
Yeah.
and the Scream Tail, so it's basically checkmate. But it's just a matter of being able to make it as much checkmate as possible and make your opponent's chance as slim as possible.
Yeah.
Chance to win as slim as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of things that John kind of needs to do, right? He needs to take care of this Screamtail first. Also needs to worry about, the Curlia becoming a Gardevoir.
Yeah,
Um,
there's so many threats on board. It's
yeah, the
effectively
Clefairy
checkmate.
is still a threat too. So there's so many things that John kind of has to worry about here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John's playing to his outs, but it's just a matter of, um, you know, Lane being able to see that line where you do knock out with the Scream Tail. That was pretty huge.
Yeah. And
And
to address Kat's message, I think technically you are supposed to have it like straight, like up and
yeah,
down. I don't think a lot of people really like care about it, but I know like judges will walk around and will kind of tell you to. So I think it's kind of just safer if you just kept it,
keep it vertical.
yeah, vertical. I was thinking about the right way to say it, but yeah,
Yeah, you always keep your deck and your discard vertical. I even had some judges. I usually put my psychic energies to the side in my
yeah,
discard pile. I had judges tell me it has to be in my discard pile, either at the top, bottom, in the middle, whatever. But it has to be in my discard pile, so I couldn't even have it on the side. Um, some judges are sticklers about it, but definitely for someone having their opponent or their deck vertically, I usually
yeah,
prefer my opponent keeps it vertical. It's just you mitigate a lot of things.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, always keep your deck vertical when you play.
yeah. It looks like
It
we're getting the
prevents judges from talking and
yeah.
saying some other things to you, but
Yeah, and pace of play is super important too. I remember when I was at UIC, I was surrounded by Gardevoir players, and I was playing Gardevoir too. And one of the judges actually like timed the entire turn of the player next to me, and I was like, "Oh man, I need to really pick up my pace of play here because they really are willing to just like tell you like, hey, like this is how long you took for your turn. Like you need to like pick it up, buddy," kind
yeah,
of
you
thing.
took
Yeah,
a 3 minute turn, 4 minute turn to do
yeah,
two actions, which I like seeing that. I want the
yeah.
judges to hold players accountable, just so that
Absolutely,
way
I
you
agree.
get to play the most amount of honest Pokemon that
Yeah,
possible. Even though with the Gardevoir deck you're breaking the rules and attaching extra energies, but
yeah,
that's at least you breaking the rules with the deck and not you breaking the rules in other ways.
yep, definitely. So
And we're
judge
seeing the
giving
judge
four
here.
four cards
All
for each
right, Lane,
player.
show us the hand. Is
Show us
there
the
a
hand.
Gardevoir there?
Is there a Gardevoir?
If there's a Gardevoir, Ultra Ball, Pheasantipity, Research, Jacques, I mean, the judge has to be like the most
Um, Curly's
terrible
going into
unplayable
the active
cards.
here, so it looks like we might. Oh, there we
Night
go.
Stretcher,
Night Stretcher,
Gardevoir,
Gardevoir,
and yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. As long as you can put 3 energy onto your active, assuming that you want to use
Yeah.
the same ability you've used all game, you should be pretty good. And just using Miracle Force to take it on knockout. Do we
Yeah.
have a backup game now, Bryce? Well,
Oh,
it
look
looks
at
like our
that.
backup game is finishing up.
Yeah, Hydreigon versus Dragapult. Interesting.
Yeah, Jonathan has 1 prize left.
What there's just the
And
4 energy doing on the Fezandipity.
bro, you never know. Sometimes,
Yeah.
what if he has like energy switch into Hydreigon and like I don't know Grand Tree, bro? Like
Yeah.
his ace spec could be, bro.
Oh man.
Oh, I feel
Oh
bad.
wow.
Sorry, Bryce. Bryce had to sit there watching it. You know the horror in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's seen better days, but you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
The 4 energy on Fez, I don't know, bro. Maybe you're gonna like retreat and then play Poppy, but still you would have 3 energy total
Yeah.
for that to happen. So, I don't know. Bro's playing around the oh, what is it? There's a stadium, dude. What's the stadium that makes you attack for 1 more? The
Oh,
headquarters.
headquarters. League
Yeah.
headquarters.
So maybe there was a headquarters that came down.
Yeah.
There was no headquarters that came down. Bryce
Yeah.
is
Bryce.
confirming.
Yeah.
Well, it's always a possibility. You can always play around the headquarters if you attach 4 energy to your Fezandipity. So take it as you will. The situation has probably come up to where someone's done that, but
Yep.
we're seeing the voodoo and all right,
Oh,
Pidgeot
Pidgeotto.
and
Itchy Pollen.
okay, Jonathan.
Okay.
Itchy Pollen. You stop your opponent from using Switch, so they have to have a Turo,
Yep.
and that's actually pretty good.
Ooh, okay.
Can Jonathan win this game? Can okay.
Let's see what we can do here.
Dude, the Fez going down sucks because
Yeah.
now you can't even flip the script.
I know. He's gonna need like imagine getting like research off the top here. That'd be crazy.
That would be that's for the highlight reel, bro.
Yeah, for real.
That's why we're keeping it. Unless it's
Yeah.
Iono off the top and you only draw 1.
Oh, the
Not
boss
the
onto the
Dino,
onto the
no. Is it Dino or
Dino.
Dino?
Dino.
Okay. Not to the mini
Yeah.
Hydreigon, no. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man. Looks
All
like we're
right.
getting the pass here. Oh, the Turo.
Turo off the top.
Oh, it's all.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Pollen again.
Bro, just itchy pollens. No, but
Oh,
Blood Moon.
Blood Moon's active again.
No, not the Dino.
Oh man.
So long, Badoo. It was nice knowing you.
Ooh, this is tough. All right, so another.
You put up the free retreat Pidgeotto, okay.
Yes. Oh no.
Or the vessel off the top.
He's gonna have to pass here probably, right?
All right. Oh, sitting up in your chair, you have the sauce.
Yeah, he's
you
locked
know.
in. He's locked in.
He just says, "Okay, bro. You don't.
Oh.
You're not nice like me.
Another boss coming in.
There's no switch, bro." Okay, Night Stretcher is
Night
probably
Stretcher.
gonna be for.
Dracloak.
I'd assume for Dracloak. Come on, show us the Dracloak. Show us
Yep.
the Turo off of the Recon Directive. We want to see it. Come on, right
See
here.
it.
Big draws, big draws.
Or no draw?
No, come on, bro. I'll go out there and tell him,
Yeah. Make sure you draw.
bro, use your ability, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna see. I'm a fan of just showing my opponent what it is.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, we're doing this together. It's a group
Yeah.
activity.
It's a group activity. That's the teacher in you.
Yeah. All right, gather around for circle time. We're
Yeah.
gonna see what I draw off of this Recon Directive.
Yeah.
Bro, the bravery
Oh
charm.
man, the bravery charm.
Okay. What about
Okay.
the other cards?
Let's see.
2
what else.
prizes left, and it's so funny because Jonathan doesn't have a 2-prizer in play, so like you have to Blood Moon 3 individual times, or 4 individual times, because he Blood Mooned the Fez to take 2 prizes. He Blood Mooned the Badoo, and let's go ahead and
Yeah.
see what's happening. Yeah,
Deck
deck
is-
size.
Yeah,
I'd
deck is
imagine it's like
pretty thin.
minimum, maybe like 6 cards.
Yeah.
No, bro, use your ability, please.
Oh,
I want to see
no.
what there is. I want to see what there is. Come on, bro. Ultra
Oh,
Ball.
no. Come on.
Itchy Pollen's not for the game. It's for the turn. Use it.
Oh man.
Unless he just knows he doesn't have it. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Oh, the counter catcher,
counter
the
catcher.
big brain plays.
That's interesting. Interesting decision here. There's no way he's thinking about the Halucha here.
Okay, he's using the
Okay.
ability. Oh,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see. 1 and 2. What is it? What is it? What is it?
Yeah.
I think we see Zedden. Ooh.
Arvin.
Arvin and what was the other one?
Yeah.
We don't see the other one. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Flip the deck over. Let's see what the card was. It was Arvin or Dragapult EX. I do
oh.
like Dragapult EX.
It's the
Switch. All right, we can go switch
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Oh,
Switch, retreat.
All right. Well, let Wilson play his deck.
Yep.
You know, sometimes it's people's only time coming out for League.
Yeah.
Oh, Genesec's coming out with the rescue board. Oh my
And
goodness.
how many Never Pro says how many rounds? I think we have 6 rounds today. We got a long one today.
We've got a
We
lot
got a
of
long
players
night.
here.
We got a lot of people who came out today for the challenge. Yeah.
Okay, Earthen Vessel. Oh wait, the energy. Do we see? Is that a flap or peck? What's the attack on the Pidgeot or Pidgeot? It's 20. I think it's 30 damage for one because it knocks out.
Yeah,
But
I think it's Peck.
Peck.
Peck
Okay.
Yeah.
We could see that good chip.
Yeah.
Okay. If he goes Peck here, and then his opponent goes pass, and Wilson
Oh,
goes
20.
pass.
Just 20?
Oh, 20 damage, bro.
Yeah.
Measly numbers. If
Yeah.
it was 30, it would set up for the 2-shot, bro.
Yeah,
Bro, am I really
Luminous.
doing Peck math?
Yeah.
Okay, honestly.
Imagine just get
Okay, dude, a top deck. Okay, it would
Yeah.
actually be huge. No, don't do it. No, come on,
Oh
man.
man.
Nah, use the Blood Moon, dude. I don't
Wait,
think it's
I
a way
don't
to
think
move
I
it.
don't think the Blood Moon's active right now. Right? Because didn't he Blood Moon last turn?
Yeah, he can't.
Oh,
bro.
switch.
He's in there. Oh, the switch.
Yeah,
Move
yeah,
it to the
it's got-
bench. Move it to the.
Yeah,
Oh, Cristiano
nothing.
Ronaldo from the corner.
Oh.
Oh my God. He scooped it up.
And scooped it up.
All right, good job, Wilson.
Yep.
If I'm
All
Jonathan, I'm making sure Wilson knows how to announce Blood Moon.
Yeah.
He announced it the last like 4 turns.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a chance that he doesn't announce it and he just says, "Your go."
Yeah.
Because if I'm Wilson there too, I'm like, can my opponent do a win next turn? Let me just like
Yeah.
pass. Like,
Yeah.
you know, start
Definitely.
manually attaching to it. Start
Yeah.
doing fun stuff.
So we're at the halfway point, and we've seen a lot of deck diversity here. We're kind of looking at our pairings here. We see a lot of familiar names here, and we're playing for a lot on the line here today. We have our league auto invite for top 4, as well as just points in general for our league. So a lot of cool stuff that we're kind of playing for tonight, as well as trying to just get reps in before Milwaukee. You know, Milwaukee's coming up next weekend, so we just want to have our players, you know, getting as much practice as they can before the event.
Exactly. And I mean, we could talk about the metagame,
Yeah.
but everybody's talking about the metagame. Man.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody's talking about the metagame. What do you want to talk about though? Do you want
I
to do
don't
some
know.
more guess that flavor text?
Yeah, we can do some.
Bro, I don't know.
I
man.
have so much fun
my,
doing them.
my blood is going.
Yeah.
Let
Let's see. Let's get another one.
Let me get it going. Alrighty. Well, actually, here you go.
Oh, okay.
Because I
Yeah,
asked
he
the
did the last
last
one.
and you
All
know,
right.
I want to guess, dude. I
Yeah.
know about like maybe 150 Pokemon total
Yeah, definitely.
out of the 1,200 there are or something.
Yeah. So this one says eats bugs in grassy areas, has to flap its short wings at high speeds to stay airborne.
I'm thinking watch roll, bro.
Watch roll. I don't know
Can
why.
can I get a stage?
Yeah, because like my initial was
Eats bugs.
a Murkrow. It's a basic.
Ooh.
I was thinking Murkrow initially for some reason.
Instead of, let me get a set, bro.
Let's get a set.
Sparrow's
Base
good.
set 2. This is an early one. Maybe like Pidgey,
Okay.
Spearow.
This
What
is
other birds were there back then?
Wait, this is such a bad question. I promise you, I love Pokemon. Hi, Nick. This is Stu or Ficknolts? I think it's Stu because Stu is NIC. Really stupid question.
I think it's far-fetched.
No, wait.
I think
wait.
far-fetched.
Is base set 2? That's not Gen 2, right? That's just reprint of base set,
I think
right?
I think it's like I think base and yeah.
Okay. I got confirmation. I phoned a friend and I
Yeah.
asked.
Should we do the attack?
Yeah, let's do the attack.
Peck.
Okay.
I kind of like the Spearow.
Nah, bro, that's Pidgey, bro. All
Pidgey.
day.
All right, Pidgey.
We saw Pidgeotto on stream. That's Pidgey right
Pidgey.
there.
All right,
Lock in my boy.
Pidgey.
Let's see.
Wrong guess.
Huh?
Oh, it was Spearow.
What? Man.
I was thinking far-fetched for some reason.
Nah, bro, this game is glitched, bro.
Yeah.
I was right.
Yeah.
In a different world, I was right.
Definitely.
It's still first gen. Okay, my bad. I promise you, I know a lot of random facts about Pokemon, but I
Yeah.
don't know like specific Pokemon.
It's because the only reason why we got it wrong is because it wasn't Rowlet related.
bro.
Yeah.
If it was Sun and Moon base,
Yeah.
that's Rowlet.
Yeah.
But Rowlet's attack is actually Leafage. It's not.
Mm.
It's not
See,
Peck.
that's real Rowlet
I
fans would
love
know.
Rowlet, bro.
Yeah.
Rowlet's lit. Next flavor text. It's highly skilled at tap dancing. Okay, well,
Dancing.
it's highly skilled at tap dancing. I already know it.
Is it
Well, there's more, but I already
Uh.
know it. Its waves can cane. Wait, it waves its cane of ice in time with its graceful movements, brother.
Oh man, is this Mr. Rhyme?
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like Mr. Rhyme.
I was going Delibird.
Yeah.
I thought it was Delibird. It's an iceberg,
Bryce, can
dude.
you scroll down on the chat a little bit? It says we have new messages. So
Bro,
I just
it's
want to make sure we
Delibird.
see everything.
I thought,
Yeah.
my bad.
Oh, it's my girlfriend.
Oh,
Hi,
hello.
Koi.
Hi. I stole your boyfriend. I'm
Hello.
sorry. I bet he doesn't do guess that flavor text with
Oh,
you.
Yeah. She doesn't really know too much about the
You're
Pokemon.
eating my cards next time you see. No,
Yeah.
but I have my altar
Yeah,
cards.
not my alt
Not my
arts.
Spanish cards. I traded for those.
Wait, so is it actually? Do we have an answer? yet?
Wait. Okay, wait. Show the set. Darkness of Blade. Aw, man, it's Mr. Rhyme.
It's got to be Mr. Right. I thought Quacklevolt as
It's
well.
the Mad Party Glory
Mad
Mr.
Party.
Rhyme. It's not Delibird.
It's not Delibird, bro.
I'm crying. I thought it was Delibird.
No, because I thought dancing too initially, and I thought it was supposed to be Quacklevolt because I know that one dances.
Oh
But then
my
he
God.
said Kane, and I was like, yeah, this has got to be Mr. Rhyme.
Bro, it could be Delibird.
Does Delibird dance?
No. I thought it was Delibird. Why am I crying? I wanted it to be Delibird.
Oh, you're turning red now.
It's a lot of big emotions. Just
Yeah.
breathe. I thought it was
Oh, man.
Delibird.
Wait, let's do one more before we get the next round going on. We got
Oh my God.
dude, Colin and Ryan are on table one, our goats.
Okay. Okay, read it.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
Oh man.
Oh my God, I'm such an ugly crier
This
too.
is such a bird thing. This is a bird kind of day. It says it
Oh my
spends
gosh.
its entire life inside an apple. It hides from its natural enemies, bird Pokemon, by pretending it's an apple and nothing more. Is
Oh,
this Applin?
I'm
Is
a
Applin?
failure.
Is this Applin?
Dude, I was gonna say Wormy, but Wormy's not a Pokemon. There's no Pokemon called Wormy. Oh my gosh,
Oh man.
dude,
Is this one Applin?
it's the Pokemon from Gen 9, Wormy.
Wormy.
Oh man.
All right, I'll read it again.
Oh my
It spends
gosh.
its entire life inside an apple. It hides from its natural enemies, bird Pokemon, by pretending it's an apple and nothing more.
Oh, I can't read. Wait, I can't read. I don't have my glasses. I'm crying.
Makorama. This guy got 19.
Bro,
So get him
chill
outta
out.
here.
Chill out. I got my deck right here, bro.
Someone already tweeted at you. I think
I'm leaving.
someone tweeted at you already. A viewer tweeted at you.
Chill out. Wait, what? Tap Yo, chill.
Chill. Wait, we need to figure out what the flavor text is. Unlock your phone.
It's saying the face is not recognized. Okay, he got it. He got it.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
let's go
gosh.
for a set first. This one's Rebel Clash.
Okay.
So it's wait, is it Applin?
No.
Is Applin a
No,
sorted?
it's what's that Pokemon? What's three-headed apple? Hydrangea?
No,
No,
that's
Hydrapple?
Hydrapple. I don't know if I think Hydrapple's
What's
new.
this- What?
Appleton. I'll give you stage.
What's
It's
the
a basic.
stage?
It's got to be Applin.
Ah, brother.
It's got to be.
No, it could be anything.
It's got to be Applin.
No,
All right,
it
I'm gonna
could
do
be
the attack
anything.
too. Continuous tumble.
It's Applin.
Applin.
It's Applin.
I'm right.
Nah.
Let's go.
Okay, if there's something to note, if there's trivia, do not get me on your team. I'm god awful at trivia. I'm like okay at playing Pokemon, but like
The trivia.
I know what cards do.
Yeah. It's just because
Aw.
it's not Rowlet trivia. That's all.
I would literally. I don't even know like Rowlet's like a foot tall. I know that. Maybe Rowlet's a foot
Mhm.
tall. I don't know, man. I'm questioning my life. Wormy.
Wormy.
Wormy. The Gen 9 worm
The Gen-
Pokemon.
Oh
There's
man.
gotta be a worm Pokemon.
Yeah.
Earthworm.
Orthworm.
Oh, I
Ooh.
could have gotten it, bro.
Yeah.
If oh, then that's okay.
All
New
right.
sleeves do that,
We
where they
got
fall off the top of the
we
deck.
got Ryan
Okay, my
and
bread and
Colin.
butter, talking about Pokemon cards and not actually cards that I don't know. So we see Colin with the only deck he had sleeved up, which was the Ends Zoric deck, because he told me, he was like, bro, can I borrow your Gardevoir deck? And I
Yeah.
was like, you can't, bud. It's
Yeah.
in Spanish.
It's in Spanish.
Yeah, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
And so he's versing Ryan's blinged out
Yeah.
Carabox
It's
deck.
funny because I remember the last time we played League, at the league here, I was using the Portuguese Ultra Balls you got me from LAIC, and I totally forgot to change them out.
Well, I think like no one.
I don't think anyone
no.
noticed.
I don't think anyone's gonna care if it's like at league,
Yeah.
like at a locals, but like if it's at a sanctioned event, like
Yeah.
well, locals are sanctioned, but if it's at a league cup or a league
Yeah.
challenge, then like it's more. You actually cannot do that, but if it's
Yeah.
at like a locals, dude, like I don't think anyone's doing that.
Yeah.
'Cause we're allowing proxies, right?
Yeah. I think
Like-
it's just funny.
Yeah, I'm definitely using my deck in Spanish next local,
Yeah.
but man. Oh man, I'm getting cooked, bro.
Yeah.
I'm getting cooked in the comments.
The deli bird is getting you riled up right now. Who tweeted
I
at
was-
you?
It was Alex Vega.
Oh, Alex Vega. Shout out to Alex.
Chill out.
Shout out Alex.
Okay, I don't know.
Call it out, Mo.
I literally don't know Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm like the fact that like Iron Bundle is so close to Delibird that
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, that Pokemon's fresh in my mind. Like
Yeah.
I like think that people like don't know that Delibird is related to like Iron Bundle.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I bet you didn't know this. But then people are like, yeah, we knew that. And I'm like, oh, my bad.
Yep.
Like, I think I'm like so quirky for knowing this. And I'm like, oh, I bet you didn't know this about this Pokemon. And I bet you
Ooh,
didn't know that Colin doesn't have a
Colin.
playable
Oh
hand.
man, Colin.
All right.
It's not it.
He's
buddy.
got to live for one turn. He can play the Ends
Yeah.
Castle and retreat to the Pheasantipity, which I don't know if it's really important. I think you might do it to preserve. No, you don't even want to
No,
preserve
I don't
the
even
energy.
think you. Oh, do you really? Oh wow. Okay.
I guess
looks
you-
Like he passes
I
it
guess you
over.
technically do it because if the Pheasantipity gets knocked out, then you can dig for reversal energy and then hopefully find like reversal energy, Darumaka, and then like attack with it. But additionally, it's also something that you have to evolve. You can
Yeah.
always Night Searcher for Pheasantipity. That's the real reason why,
Mhm.
is that you have to evolve this Pokemon and you don't have to evolve Fez. So Fez is easier to get back. But to be fair, there's not even one Zorua in play, so you're gonna have to wait a turn anyways. But we're gonna have to see what happens. I know Colin is living his best life over there
Definitely.
with no Pokemon in play besides his Pheasantipity and Darumaka.
Yep. Ooh, and Ryan here is going for the Crispin here, trying to attach 2 extra energy onto this cornerstone Ogerpon, so he can get an attack off.
I think the Psychic's the correct one, just because, the Psychic Energy is probably never going to come up. You're never really going to attack with Clefairy. So let's go ahead and see the Demolish. Yeah. I think it's Demolish. Probably
Yeah.
Demolish.
Probably.
It's not Wormy.
No, it's not Wormy for sure.
Yeah, unless, if there is ever a Pokemon Wormy,
Yeah.
I will for sure have to make it like,
Yeah.
you know, that I prophesized Wormy being
Yeah.
a thing. You know.
Okay, looks like we're gonna get the attack here. It's like what, 140 damage?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
then you hit through all effects and resistances.
Yep.
And it doesn't attack for weakness. If it attacks for weakness, that would be pretty broken.
Yeah, that would be pretty broken.
But yeah, just the 140 is pretty good.
All right, and Colin
Off the
here
top.
getting the Iono. I feel like you just played the Arvin here, right? Guaranteed
Definitely.
the Enzorwas.
You
on
play the
board.
Arvin. If you have an energy in hand, then you play the TM Evolution if you play that card. So let's go ahead and see what Colin's playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gets the Evo
TM
here.
Evolution.
Does he have the energy for?
If he has the energy, he just goes for the TM Evo.
Yeah.
Ooh. Looks like he might not have
He
the
might
energy.
not.
Oh, Colin.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa. Colin,
I told him
whoa,
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin usually plays max rarity, but now
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, dude, you gotta start playing like common so you can reverse
Yeah.
your deck. Or so you can riffle your
Yeah.
deck.
Riffle. I was like, oh, I
So
wasn't
let's
ready
go
for
ahead
that
and
one.
See what he's doing. Nah, I've been ready. Because I told him, I said, you gotta fold your cards if you want to draw good
Yeah.
cards. You just gotta go ahead, riffle your cards, bridge your cards, and
Yep.
shuffle your deck the whole way. You know, overhands can only get you so far.
Definitely. So the nest ball's coming down here.
Because at the end of the
grabbing
day, right?
Over.
Cards are meant to be played with. Just like
meant to
these
be played with.
league promo nest balls. I know
Yes.
they fetch for a pretty penny, but what do you think Ryan's trying to get off these league promo nest balls?
Well, definitely the grass Ogremon
Ogremon.
is definitely something to grab here because when you have the grass energies, you want to get more cards with them. Hopefully draw into stuff like Noctowls so you can get, more trainers into play and stuff like that. So definitely like that idea. Or we can go for, something like the Latias. Not always a bad idea because you all have like full basics on your bench. But I think Ryan's just really trying to look at what options he has, a little more extra price checking, see what's going on.
And honestly,
Yeah.
attacking with this is not that bad.
Yeah, the
Because
cornerstone
Zorak
is
can't
so
even hit
good.
your cornerstone.
Yeah, I feel like in this matchup, that's why they're playing the Okie Dogie EX in this deck
They
is to get around
do?
cornerstone. Yeah,
Oh
because
my
that's the only dark
goodness.
Pokemon that has no ability that's actually kind of relevant.
Or Roaring Moon EX is pretty
Yeah.
good. But does Okidogi attack for double dark? I can't say that I've ever read the
I don't
card.
know actually. That's a good question.
I think I've
just know.
lost. I've lost to Okidogi before. If you know, you
Yeah,
know. I have lost to Okidogi one time.
yeah. Oh man. So looks like we
So
just get. Do we just get the demolish for the knockout here on the Pheasantipity?
yeah,
Looks like it, and
because
Ryan
you know
gets
your
an
opponent doesn't have a
E-switch.
response.
Yeah,
They can't really go like, you know, evolve to Zoroark and then
yeah.
respond into it.
Okay, looks like we
So
get a Zoroark in the active here.
all right, trade away
Yep,
trade away energy.
trade.
Hopefully draw into something, or
Ooh,
maybe. I mean, do you ever just go like attach energy to bench play Iono?
ooh, trades away the Arvin. Gets Cypher and Nest Ball. Not terrible.
Well, considering that you have Super Rod in hand, you can Super Rod for the Fez, play Nest Ball, and then play Cypher,
Yeah,
and then that way you can
you can.
grab the Fez and Deputy and basically just handpick whatever you want. Um,
Ooh, ooh, looks like he's just going for a TM Evo play here.
TM
Maybe to get
Evo.
double Zoroark on the bench.
I don't hate it either, but if you're playing the Hyper Aroma as well, you could also just like Hyper Aroma for like your whole deck.
Yeah. Or it looks like, yeah, we're just going to get a Darmanitan and a Zoroark here.
I guess he can't really Cypher for.
Ooh,
Okay, yeah,
I
we're
don't
gonna see
know.
the Iona then.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I guess since you got rid of the oh Zorak, who needs TM Evo anyways?
Yeah. Oh, it looks like he
Oh,
doesn't even need the TM Evo because both cards are coming out.
yeah, I was gonna say, so like since he got rid of the Arvin, he can't go Arvin for the Hyper Aroma to grab the Stage 2 Pokemon or to grab the Stage 1
Yep.
Pokemon, but now he can go Iono and then draw some cards, and then if he needs to TM Evo, he can TM Evo, especially since he's taking a turn off.
Yep.
So we're gonna go ahead and see
Ooh, get the Budu here.
Voodoo. Okay. Now the Ends Castle's in play. Colin can retreat his active into the Badoo, attack into the Cornerstone Orgapon for 20 damage because of weakness, and from there stop his opponent from having items.
Yeah, not too bad of a
So
play here.
yeah, Iono your opponent to 4 and stop them from having items is pretty neat.
Okay, grabbing the Fez back, putting that back in. Flip the script.
I guess additionally what this does is that Colin can play for the reversal out too. So then if Badu gets knocked out, he can go reversal energy onto Darmanitan
Yep.
and then hit for 90 onto the active and then hit for, I don't know, 90 onto one of the Hoot Hoots
Yeah.
that doesn't evolve into a Noctowl. But then again, it doesn't, man, you need a damage buff though because 90 plus 90 is 180 plus the
Yeah.
20 from Badu is only 200 damage total, and 210 is that sweet spot that you're aiming for.
I know.
So if you're able to
yeah.
get like the Defiance band, which I know Colin plays because I saw him play it when he looked through his deck on that search, then that would be pretty important. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and see what's happening.
Another play we can kind of see is hopefully find like a Gust and then, which he just draws into. And did he draw into it? No, I don't think so.
It looked like a boss's orders.
Yeah, looks like it.
Maybe it was just an Ends Castle.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of have similar looking art. So we get another trade here.
He also does have like counter catchers in his deck,
Yeah.
right? Like the Zorak deck definitely assumes that you're gonna get
Yeah.
at least
I think you want to play from behind with that deck, don't you?
exactly, especially within Team Evo build. Yeah, so we could see. All right, reversal energy plus. What is it going to be? Reversal energy plus Defiance
Ooh, double
Band?
reversal?
Yeah, double reversal plus Defiance Band would be pretty solid.
Yeah.
I like to see the Defiance Band. I really like to see
Yeah.
that because the Defiance Band gets the damage onto the cornerstone and then means that you can get that preemptive Defiance Band just in case your opponent's going to disrupt your hand or
Yeah.
stop you from getting anything else. So, yeah. All right. Draw 2 off Fez and then draw
Yep,
1 random
draw
card.
third.
Never punished
Ooh,
because you
never
already
punished.
grabbed that anyways. Oh my god.
Okay, got another Darmanitan. Free retreat as well. Ooh, get
Whoa.
another
Evolved our
Zorak.
Manitan
Yeah.
to Zorak EX.
Oh man.
Crazy deck.
Third trade.
You did not have this ability.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and see what Colin's about to
Yep.
do.
Okay, gonna take out the reversal.
I see Colin has 3 fire energy on his active because he's behind on the prizes,
Yep.
and that's what reversal energy does. And now he has no energy on his active because of the effect
Yep.
of Darmanic Cannon. That's the original translation, so that's what I'm gonna call
That's
it.
the one that we have to stick to. That's definitely the better name for it too.
Yeah, I don't want to hear some
Flame body cannon.
Flame Body Cannon is
No.
not as cool as Darmanic Cannon,
Yeah.
and I feel like if you say Darmanic Cannon, then it shows that you're cultured.
Yeah. So going back to Ryan's turn here, looks like the cornerstone is still in the active here.
It is, and it can take a knockout on Darmanitan, and he probably will take a knockout on Darmanitan, but then Colin will just need to look for the other reversal
Oh,
energy.
looks like he's going with the Pika here.
Ooh. Maybe a Pikachu knockout onto the Zorak would be pretty solid.
Not too bad.
Taking another 2 prizes, because then Ryan can just go take 1 now and take 2 later, or take 2 now and take 1 later.
Let's see what he's looking
Especially
at. He's
since
trying
he has
to
a-
Ultra Ball something.
He has Boss in hand. He has Sparkling Crystal, so he can really emphasize the fact that he wants to take out the Darkness energy already on the Zorak, and then force Colin to find more cards. So that's another possibility. I'm waiting to see what Ryan's searching for off of this. It's probably just going to be a Noctowl, though, and he's probably piecing together. Okay, if he retreats, then what does he need? He probably needs Energy Switch from the Rotom onto the Pikachu, and then an Energy because he already has Boss in hand.
Yeah.
So he can either grab a Night Stretcher for the energy he's going to retreat off of the cornerstone. So if he retreats the grass off, then he goes retreat the grass off, energy switch the lightning to the Pikachu from the Rotom, then Night Stretcher for the grass that he retreats, and then attach it manually with the Sparkling Crystal, and that's 3 energy. Boom, out of nowhere.
Yep. And then can take out one of those Zoroarks on the bench.
Yeah, then again, using the Night Stretcher is kind of rough, though, because you want to save it for later just in case a Noctowl gets discarded or like it's another out. But if it doesn't really seem like another out later in the game, then you just right now play it. So Ryan grabs the Noctowl. He's probably just going to slam it down and then use that Jewel Seeker ability. He's just really finalizing what he's going to grab off of that Jewel Seeker ability instead of, making a rash decision and not really planning it out. Because you should always plan your turn ahead.
Definitely. And this is definitely one of the harder decks to play. And being able to kind of plan out what you want to do turns in advance will definitely reward you with, better results. So looks like we are activating the Jewel Seeker here. Just need to kind of see what we want.
All right. I do like finding the Night Stretcher because then later in the game, as you have more energies in your deck, the Earthen Vessels are more powerful. It just does seem unfortunate if you got Iona to 1.
Yeah. Looks like we're grabbing the Crispin here. Which means that so we're not going to be using the boss's orders. And looks like we're going to be bumping actually the Ent's Castle, which has been in play this entire game so far. So that'll enable Ryan to have a larger bench as well. At least that's what we're thinking about right now.
Yeah, exactly. You're forcing your opponent to have more resources on the response, and if they don't respond to this Pikachu or your board state in general, or even your Area Zero Under Depth, then that's better on you. Now, okay, he's
Yep.
grabbing Crispin, Nest Ball
Ooh,
for
Fez.
Fez. Okay, he's playing around Iono then.
Yeah.
He's keeping one Hoot Hoot active, and he's
Ooh, looks like we're getting both energies for the
all right.
Pika.
Crispinning for both energies.
Yep.
So the only thing though is that if Colin finds reversal energy, Defiance Band, and this is why I wanted to see Colin preemptively go for that Defiance Band, because now all he would need is reversal rather than reversal Defiance now plus an Iono, is that if Ryan attacks with this Cornerstone, then he just goes reversal, Defiance, Iono, knockout Cornerstone, knockout Hoot Hoot, and Ryan needs a lot of cards off of the Pheasantipity draw. Was there? There was a knockout last turn. There was. It was on the Hoot Hoot. Never mind. So
Yep.
Pheasantipity is pretty good to draw extra cards too. Let's go ahead and see what happens.
Okay. The Crystal. Oh, Crystal's coming down right now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's
Seems
just
like there's not,
preemptively putting it down. There's no reason
yeah.
to
There's
leave
no
it in
reason
your
to
deck.
hold it. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's not like this Pika's getting one shot anytime soon by anything.
Exactly. Oh,
Yep.
okay. And yeah, that
Yeah.
was the knockout. Ryan's at 2 prices left.
Yeah. And
Colin's
the
at
Ends Castle is
5.
still in play, too. Yeah. So let's see what Colin grabs
All right, Colin
here.
needs the stones, as they would
Yeah.
say.
He needs a lot here.
Starting
So
with the Buddy
trade.
Poffin. Oh, no. He's going to trade away Buddy Poffin.
He gets Boston energy.
If he had Iono in hand, I just want to see the Iono play right away.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent has like a, 5-card hand and they're playing Noctowl deck, you just want to make sure that you go ahead and just grab those.
Yeah, definitely.
Grab those cards, put them to the bottom. And, all right, Colin's eyeing up his decisions. Or he's eyeing up his play. He probably has
Ooh.
Palpad in his hand.
Yeah, it looks like we're trying to get the boss and the Cypher back.
Honestly, I would probably just not play the Palpad yet.
Yeah.
I
Gotta
want to
dig a
draw
little
the
bit more.
I want to draw the max amount of cards.
Yeah.
Countercatcher's pretty good.
Yeah. I do like the catcher. And then the Fez is the last thing we can use here.
Yeah, you can go Countercatcher. No, you can't Countercatcher the Pikachu.
Yeah.
Dude, that's rough.
Yeah.
Because you want to attack with the Darmanitan.
Yeah.
So I think you just... man, I would
Ooh.
like to see the Iono as the first action played.
Yeah.
And force your opponent to have boss's orders. Like, the deck doesn't really play too many boss's
there's the
orders.
reversal.
Okay, there's reversal. Reversal's huge.
Yeah, that's part of the play we need.
You need reversal, Defiance.
Yeah.
So now you can go attach reversal, maybe Ultra Ball to Thin first, grab a card,
Yeah.
and then you see Defiance Band is in there.
Yeah.
So he needs Defiance Band. He can Ultra Ball away for one of his Pokemon. What's that? The Reshiram?
Reshiram, yeah.
He can even go and just bench it.
Yeah. Zoro's not bad too because that can eventually turn into a
Yeah,
Zoroark.
if he gets to play one more turn, that's
Yeah.
Zoroark. Plus he has only 3 on bench, so he has 2 bench spots open. He can go Zorua, and then if he has a Nest Ball for the Reshiram, and then he can go attach reversal.
Yep.
Play Iono, retreat, Defiance Band, knockout Cornerstone, knockout Hoot Hoot. And then from there, Colin only has 2 prizes left. That's a 3-prize turn.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, he plays the
What?
boss.
Brother.
What's going on here?
Colin.
Okay,
Okay. Good.
Good.
Ryan's being a homie,
Yeah.
letting him. Oh, I guess he thought it was the Ends
Oh.
PP up. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Or in
There
Spanish,
we
it's
go.
Mas PP de en.
Mas PP DN.
Yeah. That is the Spanish
Yep.
version of
Based.
NPP up. And okay, so Colin just thought his
Yep.
boss's orders was that card.
Yeah.
Okay, silly Colin.
Okay. Looks like we are dropping down the Ursaluna.
I guess it knocks out the Pheasantipity the following turn. I would like
Yep.
to bench the Zorua.
Yeah, we're
It's
just
another
waiting.
card you
We
just
just
get out
gotta
the
wait for
way.
this Iono though. Oh, we're putting down the Petch.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things because if you bench the Zorua and then you get a Zoroark next turn, then
There we go. There's the Iono.
that's cool and all because then you have to find a way to get Zoroark and
Yep.
to draw 2 extra cards because in theory you could draw 2 extra cards, but I think the big thing is playing the Iono
Yep.
and forcing your opponent to have 2 cards in hand off the top deck and Pheasantipity. That's gonna be 6 cards total, and they have to find a boss's order on that 6 cards, and you're gonna knock out a Hoot Hoot. So
Ooh.
let's see, is it in there? Defiance Band,
It is.
Oh my goodness. Good job, Colin.
There we go.
And all that Ryan needs is a boss. All right, Colin. Do it to him,
Do it.
Colin. Get revenge for your homies. Okay. Playing the Buddy Poffin to shuffle up his deck. He probably just had some cards like the
Yeah.
boss's orders that he wanted to see in there. And yeah, discarding the energies
Yep.
off of there.
Getting that last Noctowl out of play is also, or that last
Exactly.
Hoot Hoot is huge here. Ooh.
That looks like Water Pond and Research. Now, if it's Research, though, Ryan cannot really do anything because they're
Yeah.
tied on prizes. There's no counter catcher out. And it has
Yeah.
to be the... I think you just promote Pikachu and pray.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing 4 extra cards now. You're going to see one with the draw for turn.
Ooh, looks
Yeah.
like we're going with the Rotom here.
Yeah, Rotom or Pikachu. Doesn't
Yeah,
really
not
matter.
terrible.
But
But getting
this
the
Fez,
Area 0 is huge
this
here.
Fez needs to be a boss. And yeah, Bundle goes hard. So maybe you just play these Ruidon in case of Bundle.
Yeah.
That's also another thing. It's like you don't want to lose to an S ball. You want to mitigate your opponent's win con to only boss's orders, and they have to raw draw it.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
Ooh,
It is
no,
not
it's
there.
not boss. That Iono was huge.
So Ryan can still technically. I mean, he can force Colin to have a boss's orders. He can attack with Pikachu into the Darmanitan, but then it just
That
becomes,
doesn't feel great though.
yeah, it really doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Well, on the bright side, right? Colin cannot take 2 prizes unless he uses energy on Blood Moon and then play
Yeah.
boss's orders. And the Darmanitan's now stuck too. Ooh, he can saw block it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
actually
not-
pretty huge too.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I think you just research, rip the hand, and assume you're gonna hit energy or Night Stretcher,
Yeah.
and then try to get the boss for next turn. But yeah, you can saw block the Darmanitan and kind of seal up the game. I'm like switching my
ooh,
game plan every
yeah.
5 minutes.
I'm trying to see if Colin plays Turo. I feel like you have to.
He does. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you play minimum 1.
Yeah, I feel like you have to play Turo in this deck.
Yeah, just look for.
Yeah.
You probably just play 1. I don't know if Colin got rid of it, but he does have the Pal Pad at the bottom of his deck if he
Yeah.
did get rid of it. So let's see. It should be right here under Hector's. Nope, it's not.
Nope. Oh. Nope.
Okay, it's gonna be handwritten. So let's go ahead and find out where Colin's list is.
Yeah.
And then watch, he just emailed it. We're gonna see if that
Yeah.
happened. But yeah, right here, Brian's still deciding what to do. He has the Earthen Vessel for the energy, so he can still sob. And
Yeah, he definitely emailed it.
okay, well, let's assume that Colin has a Turo, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. If Colin has a Turo, what is he looking for?
I mean, he's just gonna, if the Sablock happens, he's got to Turo up the Darmanitan and then go into the Zoroark. And at that point, I feel like you just hope that you can get like,
Or Blood Moon Energy.
yeah, Blood Moon Energy, or what's that other option you can do?
I think
maybe
it's just that.
the Reshiram. Does the Reshiram kind of get you there? No, it doesn't
No,
do
it
enough
would be
damage.
170 base. But
Yeah.
Colin does play the Binding Mochi, and I believe he still has that in his deck.
Yeah.
So if he goes Binding Mochi onto the Zoroark and then play the Petrarunt, switch it to... Oh,
Yeah.
wait, you can't get Sob. Petrarunt.
Oh, Petrunt.
Petrarunt, yeah.
Petrunt. Oh yeah,
Never
Petrunt will
mind.
force it up.
I'm a silly goose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
So, Petrarunt just saves Colin.
Yeah.
So if Colin has the Nest Ball in hand, does he have the Binding Mochi? Colin, show us your hand, please.
Yeah, please.
Let me telepathically speak to him. Colin, show me your hand. Please do a hand shuffle, Colin. Do a trick. Okay, never mind. Wrong person's
Yeah.
cards, Colin. Yeah.
Ooh, goes
I think
with the Mew.
I think he sees high rarity cards and he's attracted to it.
Yeah.
But right here, we're just gonna end up seeing Ryan probably go for the Sob. I mean, if he benched it, he's going for the Sob
Yeah.
at least. But let's see. Okay, Colin does not have the Binding Mochi in hand. He does have Nest Ball for Petch though if he needs it. It's just a matter of Petch doesn't really get you there. Well, it does, because if the Petch gets you there, because then you put up the Zoroark, manually
Yeah.
retreat into the Ursaluna, attach the energy, and then boom, you win the game with Blood Moon.
Boom.
And I think Ryan's gonna think like, does Colin have an out to it? Or he can just force Colin to have boss. There's nothing wrong with swinging for 70 because you two-shot this Darmanitan. And, I mean, I really don't think you want to
Ooh,
two-shot it. You just want to play
did
to...
he pass the turn here?
Okay.
Oh, okay. So here's the the patch.
Yeah, and then Colin has boss's orders in deck.
Yep.
So, as long as Colin can find boss's orders, we're going to see. Does he have any more deck things to do? I don't think he has an Earthen Vessel in hand or anything.
So the shuffle goes through. So is he gonna finish the game with Ursaluna then?
Yeah, he's going to finish with
Yeah.
Ursaluna Blood Moon. Hit the...
Is he?
Let's see. He's going to play the Hellpad. And then
For
draw 2 more
boss.
cards. It's this last Zork draw.
Yeah.
All or nothing. Well, maybe not all or nothing.
Yeah.
He can still also just put Ryan down to 2 cards again and then force Ryan to have boss's orders yet again.
Yeah.
But I think if you're calling, you just want to go ahead and only put the boss back and mitigate the odds of drawing Iono. Because
Yeah.
like you put your opponent 2 cards closer. 3 with their draw for turn. So I'd rather just play for the boss.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. It depends on the amount of cards. Because if you have, 7 cards left in deck and you put 1 more, that's 1/4 chance you draw into it. But
Yeah.
then you're drawing 2 cards, so it's like you draw 1 and then it becomes 1 and 7 or 2 and 7 if you don't draw it the first time. I think that's the stats of it.
Yeah.
I need Zayali to help me with that because Zayali is really good at stats.
Okay, so we have the shuffle coming in here.
Yeah, it looks like about an 8-card deck though.
Yeah.
So, it's like a 2 and 8 to draw it, and then so it's like a 1/4 basically.
Yeah.
And then if you don't draw it on the first one, technically it's a 1 and 2 and 7 to draw it on the second draw from the trade, even though you draw
Yep.
2 at a time. 1
Oh,
and 2, and we
was
see
the
boss
first one.
is order. No, oh no, it's
No,
Ends
it's Ends
Castle.
Castle.
Dude, they all look the same.
Yeah, Ends Castle's not bad. Okay.
I mean, the
Do
Ends
we put
Castle.
the Ends Castle now?
I guess you do. It doesn't matter. You just want less cards in your deck.
Yeah.
Because if you put the Ends Castle in play, you bump your opponent's stadium. They can't really bench out for many things. I guess you just, thin your deck of cards that you don't want.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh,
Colin
looks like he
passes.
passes the turn
We're gonna see
over.
what happens. Is that boss? Bang.
Oh.
Called it. Colin, don't shake the
Oh,
stream
man.
setup, buddy.
Yep.
But yeah,
Oh.
let's go ahead and see. It was the next card? It was the next card.
It was the next
Aw.
card.
Here's the
Oh,
world's
man.
smallest violin.
Top deck.
Oh my gosh, it
Oh.
was double boss.
Double boss.
What?
Oh, man.
I guess it goes to show that you should just
Yeah.
play the alternate art bosses. Sorry, Colin.
That's tough.
You lost to your opponent having higher rarity than you.
Yeah.
Boo hoo. And that was round 5,
Yeah, round
though.
5.
Ryan advancing to 5-0.
Yeah.
So we're seeing Ryan at 5-0. Colin's X1. Collins can still get that top 4 and qualify for the Invitational. Ryan, I think, sealing up a spot now for that Invitational.
Yeah.
But I think Ryan wants to go for bigger and better things and actually win the league challenge, getting
Yeah.
some store credit.
Some store credit, too, would be really nice. Yeah.
Some store credit would be swell. Speaking of store
Yeah.
credit, is there anything you're eyeing up in the case?
I don't know, actually. Oh, I mean, there was, like, some stuff that I definitely can't afford.
Okay, like
Yeah.
what can't you afford?
I mean, they had the Pika with the Greyfell hat.
Okay.
Yeah, there's that.
So I actually got one of those already. I already
Yeah.
have one from if you remember Alex Moy. Shout out to Alex Moy.
Yeah, yeah.
He ended up snagging I think like 2 or 3 of them
Oh,
from the
nice.
drop,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, bro, I can just sell you that at retail for the product you got." So it was the Murkrow playmat.
Oh, nice.
He never actually gave me the Murkrow playmat because
Yeah.
he gave me the Pikachu, and he's like, "I assume you want this." I'm like,
Yeah.
"I mean, the playmat's cool too."
Yeah.
But hopefully he gave the playmat to someone else
Yeah.
though. Because I did want the Pikachu for my collection because I went to the Van Gogh Museum.
Yeah, definitely.
The like immersive Van Gogh Museum. It was, I mean, such a spectacle. Like
Oh, yeah,
even though it's in
definitely.
one room and it was just like a rotating image, like you see how the images come together, and I thought that it was really, like, I don't know. For me, I love going to museums,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I thought it was
definitely.
really awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't know. So it was just like something I really wanted to have. The museum was awesome, and I really want to go to museums going in the future. And speaking of like, so you didn't go to Atlanta, but I went somewhere
Yeah.
that is really special to me because I went to the arcade, or I said arcade. I went to the aquarium
Yeah, definitely.
and I saw my favorite animal. I saw otters because
Yeah.
otters are awesome. I'm not a super big Oshawott fan. I think that Pokemon's like mid,
Yeah.
but I do like otters a lot. And I got to see otters, and I got to see beluga whales, and I got to see penguins. So it was really sick to
Yeah.
actually see like all the animals. Like I'm easily
Definitely.
entertained.
Yeah.
I can see if I could pull up a picture for the stream of me.
Yeah.
Maybe not me with an otter, but maybe
Shout out to the
just an
aquarium
otter
though.
in general. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, I love aquariums. They're
Yeah.
so cool.
That's the one I wish I went to in Toronto. Because
Yeah.
like my whole room scrubbed out of the event, so we were thinking about maybe making a trip to the aquarium.
Okay. Well, I don't have a picture of that aquarium, but I do have in the Chicago aquarium.
Ooh,
There's a picture of me with an otter right there.
what
And
a
then,
what a handsome young fellow.
oh yeah. And then I got to see the dolphin show. Here's a picture of the dolphin show. And I got to see that. And it was really cool because the dolphins jumped
Yeah.
really high out of the water. And yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Being around the animals, it's like people might think like, wow, it's only for kids, but like,
Yeah.
act like an adult. But it's like, you're healing your inner child.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
get to go and see some cool animals. There's some people who don't get to see that spectacle, and it's just an addition. It's like, does it hurt to like see animals and like,
No.
dude, it's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And so the
Definitely.
aquariums, maybe it's targeting the primary target audience is going to be like the younger children who've never seen like a whale for the first time in their life,
Mm-hmm.
but also I've never seen a beluga whale in my life, and then not until this previous summer, and I saw a beluga whale and I thought it was really awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
And additionally, I am looking for another photo of me at the aquarium. Oh, I saw a turtle. Okay. So that's uh, I'm getting very excited over a turtle. But I saw a
No,
turtle,
it's
dude.
so
And then so I was posting it. I was like, "Yo, it's Crush from
yeah, from
Nemo."
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, and that's like a part of my childhood, dude.
Yeah.
And then I saw some rays, some manta rays, and those are
And
cool.
that's what we really love about this hobby because I like to tell people, especially at work, because I'll tell them it's like, oh yeah, I went like here or here for like Pokemon and stuff like that, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like super interested about it. And I was like, yeah, I mean this like hobby gives us a reason to travel.
And then I saw a
Yeah.
penguin that looks like it had better days, and I said,
Dude,
"That's me."
Delibird.
That's Delibird.
Delibird.
Full circle. Okay, but it looks like it has some rough days. That's me when I wake up for round one and I got
Yeah.
no sleep.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting no sleep, so basically I made this is a little story,
Yeah.
right? I start my day 0-1, and then from there I get two more ties like sprinkled throughout the day,
Yeah.
and then I have to win out, right?
Yeah.
I'm like I'm 0-1 to 0 or to 1-1 to 1-1-1 and then to 2-1-1 and then like to 2-1-2 and then I win out from there and I go
Yeah.
to 5-1-2. And then my local Felipe is like, hey, I did see this Rapagos Pez. And then my local was like, hey bro, do you still want to go to the soccer game? And I was like, bro, I already signed up for it and I paid you for the ticket.
Yeah.
We're going to that soccer game. And so we went to the league game and it was so
Yeah.
cool to go with. Like it was maybe like 15,000 people in that
Yeah.
stadium, like I said. And right now we're seeing the
Yeah.
final match of the league challenge.
Oh man.
Monkey Dory. And with that Monkey Dory start, it's a draw pass on Dan's
That's
side.
me. Is that Felipe? Game
Yo,
is lit.
yo,
Yeah.
that's Felipe.
Oh, shout out to
It
you.
was definitely more than 15,000.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It was so many people. I can show a video for the stream if we do a recap, but also maybe I'll post it on Twitter. But I
Yeah.
think I posted a picture of it on Twitter to put my Twitter out there,
Yeah,
PTCGMO. But yeah, it was such a spectacle, and it was such a cool experience because I've never been to a soccer game that was like that hype. I went to a
Definitely.
I went to Chicago Fire game versus Columbus Crew, but it was a tie, and there was no one scored.
Yeah.
So it was-
That's how people were like when because there was a Chicago Fire game recently and Messi was there because like they played against
Ooh.
They played against what is it, Inter Miami,
Yeah.
and Messi was there, and it ended up in a tie also.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I want to see a win.
yeah,
I also want like whoever I'm rooting for to win, and like Felipe was going for Tigres, and then Tigres ended up winning. But I mean, when they scored the first goal, there was some adult beverages being
yeah,
thrown, and then Pumas scored
yeah,
on a PK, a penalty kick, and then
yeah,
with like 10 minutes left, Tigres scores again, and it was absurd.
yeah,
And Ryan's going through his actions, trying to get the donk off, but I
yeah.
don't
I
think
don't
he
think he can.
can.
I don't think so
Yeah,
either.
he couldn't find the. Well, does he have Crispin?
No, no
No, he's
Crispin.
just gonna sob though. I think going for Rotom, Fan Rotom sob is pretty powerful because your opponent's not really doing much either. So next turn,
Ooh, is this?
aw,
Oh,
okay, Iono.
okay, okay.
Let's see what's happening. He can also go for just a Mind Bend this turn, unless he plays like the TM Evo. But we're gonna see what
Dan's
happens.
just throwing all his cards over.
Um,
See if he gets something here. There's a
we
nest
see
ball. There's a
Nest Ball, we
Zorua.
see Ultra Ball, we see Zorua. Ooh,
Man,
there's
that
Ultra Ball. I think
yeah.
that's a research in the
Those
hand
arts are
too.
so pretty though. Makes me want to play that version of Guardy.
Hmm. Okay, well,
Yeah,
I don't have the alt arts of all that, but I have the alt art EXs if you'd like
yeah.
that. Do you have the alt art EXs?
I have the Paldean Fates
Oh,
ones,
my bad.
the
I'm
blue
sorry. I'm
ones.
sorry you're rich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to question it. Please. Do you have the gold ultra balls?
I have the Sun Moon ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been
I
using.
have the
Yeah,
sun and moon ones.
yeah.
I'm Brian. I'm rich.
No, nah, man. I'm anything but that.
Yeah. You're, well, you're wearing Birkenstocks. You're
Yeah.
rich.
No, no, no.
You get your Birks on.
I love these though. If
Yeah,
anybody is out there who doesn't have Birkenstocks,
that's me.
you should get some.
I was gonna get some huaraches.
Yeah,
And then I like there was none that really like spoke to me.
yeah,
And we didn't really have time to like go perusing for a lot. It was more so
yeah.
whatever I saw on the street, so I didn't get them. But
Definitely.
I'm a huge slide fan. Speaking of,
Yeah,
like it's just a matter of like the ease of it, right? When
yeah.
you're playing a tournament, you got to be comfortable. You
Definitely.
cannot play, you know, there's some people who cosplay at tournaments, and all
Yeah.
power to them because personally, I could never do
I could
that.
never do it either.
I need to be as comfortable as possible.
Yeah,
Like Ryan right now, right? He's wearing the Magikarp bucket hat.
yeah,
That's how you know when he's gonna go attach this sparkling crystal, attach an energy, bosses up one Ralt, he's gonna knock out double Curlia. As long
yeah,
as he hits heads on the confusion flip, of course.
yeah. Definitely. Ooh, looks like we're going for it.
Yeah. This is gonna be a huge flip though, because if he flips tails, that's not really cash money of him.
Yeah,
Well, there's a switch in hand. He can also just play the switch.
yeah.
I think you
I think you
probably
go
play
like
the switch.
yeah, and you get like nest ball and you like Noctowl for nest ball and area 0. So you can get oh.
No, you just play the switch and then retreat the energy off of the Ogre Pawn.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you have the boss's order crystal, so you probably just retreat the one energy because
Yeah.
that's all you need, and then eventually, if your opponent does anything else, then you have the Ultra Ball for the Noctowl anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
As long as they don't hit you with yet another Mind Bend or even an Itchy Pollen, but I think being able to advance your board state that far is pretty important.
Yeah,
So we're
definitely.
gonna go.
So we're grabbing the Noctowl here.
All right. I think that's just playing around Badoo. You want to minimize your opponent's ways to come back in this game. And yeah, I think the switch has to get played though.
Definitely.
Because if you hit tails, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, one,
That's-
you damage yourself, and
Yeah,
then
30 more
yeah,
damage on it, and then you'd be at 120 HP remaining, which it's not too relevant, but it's relevant enough.
definitely.
Did he just grab? Oh no, okay. I thought he only grabbed one thing off of it, and I was like, dude, only one item or one trainer card off of the Noctowl Jewel Seeker. I was like, bro, just grab the other one. And okay, it's gonna be Night Stretcher, Crispin, and he's probably gonna play the Night Stretcher after he plays the switch, retreat the energy, and then he's gonna go and Night Stretcher the energy back, and then use the. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
He Night Stretchers for the energy, and then he uses that energy that he retreated in order to attach it to his active. Okay. I wasn't familiar with your game, Ryan Prusik.
Yeah, Ryan doing some big things. All right, we see the research coming out. We need to find a way to get these Ralts back into play. We need the Night Stretcher definitely helps.
Night Stretcher, Buddy Poffin. So Night Stretcher for one, Buddy Poffin for the other, as long as
Yep.
you didn't prize your other roll.
Yeah.
So, Dan, let us
Oh,
see.
Hey,
Show me a Ralt.
come on, let's see it.
Mm,
Ooh.
show me Badoo.
There's Badoo. Badoo.
Show me Voodoo. But I don't think you want a Badoo. I
Yeah.
think that you want to hit another Mind Bend because since your opponent already blew their one switch,
Yeah.
you just want to hit another Mind Bend right now.
Yeah. He definitely did prize the other one. Which is
Definitely.
tragic.
Nothing tells your opponent that you don't have another one more than
Yeah.
you going Buddy Poffin. I can grab
Yeah.
2, but I already have 2 in the discard, and the deck only plays 3. And I've got the other one somewhere hidden. Somewhere deep, deep in the price cards.
Yep. And he's just taking another check here.
All right, just another price check, seeing if if his eyes, you know,
His
are
eyes are
lying.
deceiving him.
Eyes are deceiving
Yeah.
him. Yeah, let's
Oh
see.
man, Felipe, Dan's living your round 6 nightmare.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I know, buddy. It's
Yeah.
okay. They can't hurt you anymore.
Yeah. That was only an 8-round day 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 5-2-1 made day 2
Yeah.
as opposed to 6-2-1 normally. It's okay, Dan. They can't hurt you. I think in this case, then, well, you're ending your turn with a Mind Bend, but if he has that Nest Ball in
Yeah.
hand, I mean, maybe grab the Zorua, so then that way you get another draw supporter in the later turn. So you grab a Zorua, and then you can also use the Nest Ball in your hand if he has that Nest Ball for Fezzidipity to draw cards.
Yep. Ooh, are we
Because
just going in?
maybe he can draw into another Night Stretcher. And then Night Stretcher for double Ralt, even though he's also down a Gardevoir.
Yeah.
Okay, Ultra Ball. Are we going to see Fezzidipity? Show
Oh,
me.
Mew. I was thinking maybe that or
Oh.
Zorwark.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's another thing you can do.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
It's not.
Yeah.
But
See what the restart will grab.
this restart's got to be insane.
Yeah.
This restart for 1.
Do you put the charm on
Okay.
there?
Restart for 2. 1, 2.
Oof.
Ooh, Gardevoir's pretty good. Because next turn he can
Yeah.
Morty's Conviction, draw
Yeah.
a bunch of cards.
Especially if
Drawing
Area
minimum
0
5.
comes down too. That's huge.
Yeah, minimum 5, and then he should be able to find Rare Candy Guardian as long as this Ralts is not knocked out.
Yeah.
Which, with the Crispin, Brian can put it on a coin flip, and this coin flip would be pretty huge.
Yeah, definitely.
But
'Cause, I
not as
mean,
big as the last one. The last
yeah.
one would have been big, but now I think Ryan should be able to go ahead.
Yeah. Are
and
we
build
going
up
with
his
the
board state.
Crispin here maybe?
Yeah, he either builds his board state up, or he's gonna. Yeah, maybe he's just gonna Crispin to the active. We're gonna go ahead
Yeah.
and see what he decides to do. I think both options are good, but it seems like he's just gonna go ahead for a Terapagos attack. And with that being said, he's gonna be able to be at 3 prizes remaining, and then his opponent's gonna be at 6 prizes
6,
remaining.
yeah. I mean, and I think as Dan, you really like seeing that as well because I mean, you still have another, it still gives you a chance. You're still in the game.
Exactly. There's always a chance because he can go. What's the math, man? He can go double energy, or no. Rare Candy, Guardy,
Yeah.
Bench Monkey Dory, Darkness Energy, put 30 onto the Teal Mask Ogre, or the Wellspring Ogre Pawn, and then use something like Screamtail to knock out another 2 prizer.
Yep.
With or Screamtail or the Drifloon, right? So he takes 2 prizes, and then the Wellspring goes to 150 damage on it, and then presumably Ryan's gonna go ahead and knock out something, even if he takes 2 prize cards. Then he's gonna go down to 1 prize remaining, and then Dan's still gonna have 6, and then Dan's gonna have 4. Sorry, thinking out loud. And then Dan's gonna go bench another Monkey Dory, Darkness Energy if he can do that. He needs like double Monkey though, and then he's gonna go 60 damage onto the Wellspring, knock it out, and then knock something out for 2 prizes. So it involves a lot of monkey business, and it involves Rare Candy Gardevoir, and it's probably gonna start with this Morty's Conviction to draw That a lot of cards.
Yeah,
A
definitely.
lot of cards. Drawing 8 cards off of this Morty's Conviction. Let's go ahead and see. Off the flip,
Ooh,
Countercatcher's a
Countercatcher's pretty
pretty good
solid. Yeah.
card. All right, rip that Morty, Dan. So you can't
Yeah.
lose next turn. It's not possible to lose next turn, but it is possible to lose
The
your
following turn.
Gardevoir next turn.
Ooh, so we're going for the Mew here.
Okay.
Morty.
All right.
Drawing a bunch
3,
of cards.
6, 8. Rare Candy Gardevoir.
Rare candy.
Dan,
That's
oh
not
my
rare
gosh.
candy.
One for the theatrics.
Oh wait, we got Zoroark. We can still draw.
Dude, if he whiffs this rare candy, there's Secret Box and candy in his deck.
Yeah.
Plus Nest Ball for Fezandipity. He can put a 2-prizer down. It doesn't matter. Because his turn needs to be huge right here.
Yeah. So what do you say? Do you put down the Fez first or do you trade first?
I probably play like the Earthen Vessel's a pretty good play,
Yeah.
thinning your deck. So he's gonna count his deck and see. There's no more energy. There's still Secret Box, and I believe
Yeah.
there's
another.
2
Yeah,
candies.
you can play another Earthen
So yeah,
Vessel.
let's go ahead and see how many candies are left. I believe that was 1 candy,
Yeah, I
1
think there's
Secret Box
one.
left.
Yeah.
1 candy or 1 Secret Box, no Dark Energies.
Yeah.
So in order to go for the Monkey Dory play, he needs to grab Dark off the prizes, if he's even doing that play.
Yeah.
It might also come down to like Countercatcher, I don't know, Noctowl, Iono, knock out
Ooh,
the
looks like there's no Fez.
Latias. Ooh.
Yeah.
I would have liked to thin the Zuru out last turn when he filled the Buddy Poffin. It
Yeah.
would have been 2 more cards that he's drawing off of the Zoroark
Yeah.
if he evolved that one as well. So let's go ahead and see. It needs to be rare
Trade.
candy. Candy.
Oh,
Candy.
no.
Oh, man.
No. So tragic. Not even a Curlia here.
No, that's Curlia in hand.
Oh, is that Curlia?
That's Curlia in hand. Evolve to Curlia. You maybe just...
You just like, oh, but retreating into Zoroark feels so bad.
It does, but it means you don't lose next turn
Yeah.
instantly. Oh, man. And if Ryan just has boss, it's so
Yeah.
unfortunate. I guess you put up the Ralts.
Yeah. Gives you another opportunity. Rare Candy Gardevoir. Oh, man.
Oh, Dan. It's okay. Candy's probably the next card, too. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Retreating to Zorua, I guess it gives your opponent the easier prize card, but I'd rather just retreat. If you retreat to the Zoroark, then it means that you need the rescue board or Turo the next turn. And
Passes the turn on.
all right, Ryan can also, if he has Energy Switch Crispin or Energy Switch Energy Attach plus Boss. I mean that's curtains.
Yeah.
So let's see. He has energies. Does Ryan have a way to use Noctowl to get Boss Energy Switch? That would really just seal the deal and make the game
absolutely.
unwinnable, and he would go down to 1 prize remaining. So if
Yeah.
I'm Ryan, if I have those cards, I'm playing it because I don't think there's a way you lose from there.
Yeah. I mean, plus you have a Terrapago set up that can also clean up pretty much anything on the board.
Exactly, and you have all these energies in play, or you have Latias in play with all these energies remaining. That it seems so hard to lose, and I think he's
Yep.
going for that play, energy switch, and let's see a boss's orders. Even if it's
Yep.
not even the boss's orders, but he just goes
Ooh, do you like?
knockout Curlia.
Do you ever like
knockout-
Ultra Ball for nothing, or do you just go for the play here? Oh, you don't even need the boss. Yeah.
Yeah, you force your opponent to have a rare candy guard you plus a million other cards.
Ooh.
I don't think
Let's
Dan
see.
can win here,
Yeah.
but Dan's
play
playing
the
to his outs.
Iono first.
Iono is definitely the supporter for turn. If you're playing
Yeah.
to your outs, you're going to Iono, and then you're going to Zoroark EX. And right here, the next card's probably going to be rare candy. I'm calling it. The first card's candy. So we're looking at a third card. Oh, no, it's Countercatcher. Okay. Candy's not even in the hand,
Uh-oh.
bro.
Still no candy.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
tragic.
This is a sugar-free Gardevoir deck with no candy. Candy.
Oh.
Candy.
Oh no.
And no Zorua.
No Zorua.
Oh my goodness. Dan. It was the next card.
Yeah.
It's always the next card.
Oh,
Additionally speaking, the Gardevoir EX at the bottom of the deck is the only Gardevoir because he had to discard a Gardevoir.
Yeah.
He had to Ultra Ball away turn 1. So that's the only way to get Gardevoir. So he has to shuffle his deck and then draw cards later. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Like
I guess
Ryan's
if you
just
bring up
way too ahead.
And I guess if you bring up Zoroark, then it could get sobbed for a turn or two, so then it forces you to Turo. So I guess that's the reason why you don't bring Zoroark. But Ryan basically has an out to this.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can bring up the Zoroark. I mean, now I feel like you bring up the Zoroark because it's the only thing
Yeah.
that can tank a hit.
That seems to be
The
play.
consensus,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're going to go ahead and see what's happening over here.
Okay, passes the
Okay,
turn.
Dan, pass the turn and see if you get
Let's see if
sobbed.
we get the Crispin. Oh,
Noctowl.
man.
What does
Noctowl.
that card do?
Boss.
Noctowl boss
Alright.
what? Play the cards, man.
Oh, man.
Oh,
They're going
my
over
goodness.
it.
That card was candy right
That's
there.
got to be the candy.
Boom. Nope. Where's the candy?
Oh,
Candy secret box.
yeah.
Brother. It's okay.
That was tragic. Do we have
I
another
mean,
game, Bryce?
Dan's going to 5-1.
Yeah.
He can still win this league challenge, technically,
Yeah.
off of resistance. Or, even if he gets top 4, that still means that he gets invited. So, that's pretty good. And
Auto invite's always nice.
Exactly. Auto invite's really nice. And Martin using the monkey. Monkey's pretty good.
Yeah, Monkey's pretty good in this matchup, too.
Especially when you confuse a cornerstone. That's a way to get there. Confuse a cornerstone, make it damage itself. It looked
Yeah.
like the 30 on there was from Martin already damaging his cornerstone.
Ooh.
Ooh,
What are we
let's see,
looking
let's
at?
see.
Okay, looking to
Retreat.
grab the Hoot here. Ooh,
Evolve.
Noctowl. Turo?
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 Turo? Show me Turo.
There's Turo.
Show me Turo. And, okay, it's Turo something
Turo.
else, but maybe like Turo. I don't know what the second card
Yeah.
would be. Maybe like Turo Crispin to
Yeah,
get
or
another
like-
attacker
Or
later
like
on.
Nest Ball. Yeah.
Turo Nest Ball is pretty cool too. You get another
Yeah.
Hoot Hoot.
Not bad.
Let's see, let's see. Martin's doing some other, just a little bit of prize checking or seeing like, not really prize checking, but just seeing what resources are down, what resources are left. And it's between Iono and Nest Ball, it seems. So
Okay, there's the Iono.
I guess it's Iono. And the reason being, if Mark is going to accumulate some resources, then maybe you just Iono him, put
Yeah.
him to a clean slate, and then hit him with the Demolish with the Cornerstone Ogrepawn.
Definitely.
I do like the Nest Ball a little bit, though, just because with the Nest Ball, you're going to throw up this Noctowl, get a Hoot Hoot back down, and then you can Nest Ball for another Hoot Hoot,
Yep.
which just means that you have versatility to be able to play around your opponent, like bossing your single Hoot Hoot, even though I think any Gust is better than no Gust. And for Mark to even take 3 prizes, maybe there's like some Gust cards already down.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a glare on him, so I can't really see what's in his discard pile, even though it's like 3 cards revealed only. But thank you, Martin.
Yeah.
The
There's a
GOAT.
lot of energy in there. That's all I can see.
A lot of energy. There's one
Yeah.
boss down.
There's you see that Dodrio line?
Oh, man.
The zoom and draw?
Bro's cooking.
Yeah.
It does have an ability, though, so
Yeah.
it cannot attack through Cornerstone.
Iono.
Iono's cool. Maybe play the Nest Ball first if you want
Yeah.
to spin something. I don't know if there's anything.
You
You know, get yourself a Doduo.
maybe evolve that Gimme Ghoul?
That would be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Unless he's going. Well, that's minor error running. It's not even continuous coin toss. Does Mark play the baby Goldingo?
Maybe. Maybe that might be the play here. Oh, because Goldango can EX can't attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, through the cornerstone.
maybe
So
he
you
plays
need the
the
gold. Yeah,
baby
the strike
Goldango.
it rich, or is that what it's called?
Strike it rich. There's
Yeah.
gold in those hills.
Yep.
Okay, I see.
Okay.
I don't see Mark's list.
Yeah, I don't see Strike It Rich either.
Oh no.
Yep. Fez.
There's always a chance.
Oh no, not looking like it.
It's not looking like a Strike It
Yeah.
Rich angle.
Okay, there's another draw here. Ooh, Pokegear. It's not Strike It Rich.
It's not a Strike It Rich angle. No, but I want to Strike It
Yeah.
Rich.
Okay, Mark passes it on back to Martin. Bryce, I think you spelled Martin's name wrong. You spelled Martian.
Well, he's just playing a deck out of this
Yeah,
world.
he's out of this world.
Whoa.
There we go.
Alright.
Moving the damage.
Martin.
Monkey
Moving
Dory
damage.
goes to 6 there.
Going absolutely bonkers right
I think
now.
do we just demolish here again?
I think you just
Yeah.
demolish.
I feel like Cornerstone just wins you this matchup so hard.
Right. And I
Yeah.
looked through all those lists, but none for Mark.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Mark, we assume you're playing honestly, and maybe you just emailed.
Yeah, it was funny. I was talking with Michael, and he's like, if any of the players on the top tables are making it past round 2, there's probably no deckless error.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah. That seems legit.
Yep. Oh, there's a boss.
Ooh.
There's a boss. Not
I
bad.
like Boss's Order. That
Yeah,
card's good.
Boss is pretty good. Take out maybe the Hoot Hoot or the Latias. Not a bad play.
Boss does mean that you can probably just take out the Latias.
Yeah, the Latias, so you can save the boss in hand for the last knockout.
Oh, or you countercatcher.
Yeah.
The countercatcher means that you can bring up really whatever you want. The Latias is not like a super big threat.
Yeah.
Because like it's, you have energy on your cornerstone, so it doesn't matter if you're for trade or not.
Yeah.
So either countercatcher Latias or you just countercatcher up say like one of the Hoot Hoots if you go like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna be playing Iono or something, so
Yep.
go countercatcher and Martin has to have the Wombo combo.
Okay.
All right.
Probably discard that TM Evo, grab you some more energy.
Yeah,
and
I
that
don't
should
think
be.
I don't
Oh man,
think
I'm
you need
dropping
that
my
Team
phone so
Evo.
much here.
The games are so invigorating
Yeah.
that you need to make sure that your phone's okay.
Yeah.
You're just testing out your phone case, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Dropping it. We know you're rich, so you could just buy a new phone anyways.
Nah.
I chucked my phone the other day accidentally because I was like laying on my side
Yeah.
and I like sleep with a plushie by me,
Mhm.
a plushie or a pillow, whichever is nearby. And so that way I don't roll over. And then I almost dropped the plushie and I chucked my phone and caught the plushie.
Oh man.
And I was like, what am I doing with my life? But I ended up, my phone was okay. So
Yeah.
that's all that matters. Because
Was it a Squishmallow? Gordon?
no, it was a Piplup.
Oh, Piplup.
It's
That's
just
cute.
a big Piplup. And it's like enough to like make sure that I don't roll over.
Yeah.
Just because that way I like hurt my back, which didn't sleep with it last night or put a pillow by me and
Yeah.
I hurt my back.
Yeah.
So yeah, old man problems.
I know, right?
You sleep weird and then you're like messed up for 3 days. So this is day 1 of it. So
Mhm.
maybe tomorrow I'll go to like a chiropractor or something. Or I'll just use my massage gun
Yeah.
and put it on my back.
Yeah. You know what was a game changer for me? For my anniversary, my beautiful girlfriend booked a massage for me.
Ooh.
It was an hour massage. It was a game changer.
Well, we do have the massage place next
Yeah.
door, so maybe after this I'll go over there.
Bryce was sitting there shaking his head at us. He's like,
I don't
"No."
know. It's a little late right now,
Yeah.
so I don't want to get misconstrued for the wrong crowd. But
That's so funny.
just a massage.
Yeah.
But or I'll just use my massage gun. I think I'll be okay to use that instead of going anywhere else. It's late as is. The only place I'm going after this is out with the boys, if that's in the books. But
Yeah.
it is also very late and it's a school night, so
Yeah, that's true.
I still have an hour drive home. So let's see. Martin, Buddy Poffin.
Playing the Siono
It's
here.
basically the last turn of the game, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think Martin's just trying to thin out and then attack with Demolish and then
Yeah. I just hope that nothing
force
happens.
Mark not to have anything for 1 turn exactly.
see the Iono here. Oh, okay. We're going for another Ultra Ball
Ultra Ball, just to
fail.
shuffle the deck. Real gamer hours. So is there like not Terapagos?
There might not be. I think he's just looking for the
The disruption aspect of
cornerstone.
it, right?
Yeah, and just to play it slow.
Yeah, I think like having a backup attacker
Yeah.
doesn't hurt. Also, Terapagos is like kind of tanky because
Yeah.
it forces more than just, you know, one energy on the other side. I don't
Yep.
think there's gonna be a bundle on Mark's end, but you never know.
Yeah.
If there's a Dodrio, there could be anything. We
Ooh,
saw the Alicia's
Arvane.
appeal. We saw the Dodrio.
Do we
You know,
ever
there's
just
so many things.
Ooh, how do we go about this turn now?
Bro, he's gonna whip out Prime Catcher, bro. It's
Yeah.
cooked. Okay.
Do we like Ultra Ball?
You can Ultra Ball to shuffle your deck if you want to, but I don't know if Mark has it in him to really piece
Yeah.
this together. We'll have to see what happens. What is he
Because we
digging
can
for?
see 5 more cards here.
He needs.
He needs boss and like
Well, there was
probably
no
superior.
knockout taken.
Oh, there was no knockout
No,
taken.
so
Yeah, it's the
he
only
needs
thing
to
too.
draw boss SER right here.
Oh,
Bro, so close, so close. Oh man.
oh man.
Can you like Ultra Ball
You
for
can,
like Ultra Ball for Mew-EX? Do you play that in your deck? I mean, you play Dodrio. Maybe you play Mew-EX.
yeah, maybe just boss for boss Noctowl and like hope he doesn't have it.
Yeah, that Martin doesn't have the one
Yeah.
energy. To be fair, Martin's down a lot of energy, and Martin Ionia himself to 2 cards.
Yeah.
So there's a chance. Martin
he
has
does.
the
Yeah.
fighting.
He's got the energy.
Martin's got the fighting. Bro, Martin.
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
Okay, I think he realized.
I think he realized that's the game.
Martin. You're so silly.
Yeah. All right. And that just does it.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
We're
our standings.
waiting for our standings.
Yeah, we're waiting for our standings, but if you look through our Twitter, we'll post the standings later, and we'll get the updated board done as well once Rafal looks through the
The board, it's
yeah,
like this.
the board, and then
It's like
we'll
this, and
update
then it
it, and
has
we'll put a picture.
Pokemon player names, Pokemon players' names,
Yes.
Pokemon player names, and it has numbers by it. And those numbers mean how many points they earn.
Yes.
How do you get your points?
You get your points by showing up. At least.
What?
At least if you show up and you play through all the rounds, I think you can get like 4 points, or no, like 6 points or something like that. And
Yeah, because you play every round. That's 6 rounds.
yeah. And
So-
then every win gets you an extra point.
That's 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6.
And then as long as you're not tying and you go undefeated, I think you get an extra point as well. So
Okay.
yeah, it's not a race; it's a marathon.
It is.
Yeah, so it's like a endurance race kind of thing. So we'll keep everybody updated with the score and the board and everything like that. Just want to say thank you to everybody who came out to watch us today and toughed it through the technical difficulties that we were having. We appreciate all of you as well. We'll be back next week as well because everyone's trying to get their prep done for Milwaukee. So we'll have one more stream before the Milwaukee regionals and all of our players go up there. So hopefully we see some of you guys up there in Milwaukee. Come say what's up. I will be there as well. It's going to be one of my first events in a while. So I'm excited to see everybody. That's the nice thing about this community. There's so many people that we know from all over the world. So looking forward to seeing everybody. Thank you again for coming out and watching us again. And we will see you all next week.
After we ended on one more guess that flavor text.
You want to do one more?
One more.
We could do one more.
Okay, this is really easy.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I might get it wrong, right? Its form changes depending on weather. The rougher the condition gets, the rougher blanks disposition.
Is it cast form?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you want to just say cast
Show
form?
set. Lost origin. It's a basic. With the attack weather force, is it cast form?
Cast form does have that illustration rare, right?
Boop.
Yeah.
And it is cast
It is
form
cast
with
form.
Sharon. And this
Alrighty.
is the weather reading cast form that does some things. And we do some things here at Nerd Rage Gaming. You should
Yeah.
pop out if you're ever in the Buffalo Grove area. Also, if you're flying in early to Chicago because everyone flies to O'Hare to go up to Milwaukee, then you should definitely come out to Nerd Rage Gaming because I dropped my phone but you don't have to drop your phone here.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop from the tournament. You can get some sick cards, sick prizing. We have a vending machine here.
Sick practice.
And we have sick practice.
Yeah.
Sick prize. Sick prize. Sick cards. Sick practice. The 3-6.
Yeah.
And hopefully you don't get sick because we wash our hands here.
Yes. Cool.
Nerd Rage Gaming out.
Nerd Rage Gaming. Thanks for watching.
Hit it, Bryce.